At first, there was peace, then came the Night Reign. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Elden Ring, Night Reign, the Night Hunt.
I'm Jake Lyon. I'm going to be one of your hosts here helping to take you through this show. And it's an honor to be here standing alongside you guys. I've been a fan of these games for 10 years now. And so to be here and help showcase this first in-depth look really into the entire game of Elden Ring Night Reign is really exciting.
It's absolutely amazing. My name is Shio Wager, also joining beside Jake today. Also a big fan of the franchise, a big fan of breaking things down related to casting, analyzing. It's going to be amazing. Beside me as well, the very stylish, the very legendary Dan Tack. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm a member of the Bandai Namco Entertainment America team, and I'm here to give you the deep dive insights into the gameplay we're going to see today.
Amazing, so good. Now, when it comes to the actual game itself, if you're not really familiar with Night Reign, you're coming in, you're asking, what is this game? It's releasing very soon. What do we have in store, Jake? What is Night Reign?
Yeah, so we know a lot of people probably tuning into the stream have been watching like all of the possible content we've been dropping so far about the game and are looking to get into the nitty gritty. We will do that, but to get everyone up to speed, up to the baseline, this is a built from the ground up multiplayer experience. You're going to take on Night Reign in parties of 3, going after a round and challenging a certain Night Lord each time. If you're able to survive the first day, the first Night Boss, the second day, the second Night Boss, then you'll survive and challenge that Night Lord, of course, to see if the run is ultimately successful or if it ends in defeat.
Yeah, it's a day-night cycle, 3-player co-op, very fast-paced, lots of action inside this game. It's absolutely amazing. Night Reign is actually available on the 29th at 3 p.m. Pacific. At the same time, also at 9 p.m. Pacific for PlayStation and Xbox. It's going to be amazing. Now, there's a pre-order also available. What's that all about?
Yeah, you'll be able to get a unique gesture if you pre-order in time. And like you said, you still have time for that. Get the It's Raining gesture, which I love. And also, of course, we've got different versions of the game. We've got the deluxe and the collector's edition for those who want to get in on the DLC, who want to, have options. As far as the collector's edition is a pretty sweet Wilder statue that fans are going to be able to cap. I know a lot of super fans are going to be snapping that one up right away.
Yeah, and now the big thing about this game itself, right, Dan, when you're playing it, when you're jumping in, there's a decision to make before you get into that field of play, right? There's classes, there's characters actually inside this game. Talk to me a little bit about the characters. How did they work inside the game?
Yeah, absolutely. So you have a selection of 8 different characters to play as, and they sort of represent different fantasy archetypes. So you can get in there, like if you're like me and you like to play a big bonk character, hit things really hard. The Wilder and the Raider are great choices. In fact, The Raider is one of my favorites. You can actually you plant your feet in the ground. You can actually punch some of the biggest bosses in the world. Just hit them. Actually punch them. I really like the Wilder because he's really versatile and he's got a lot of survivability. He can get in and out of battle really easily with his grappling hook claw shot.
Nice.
And he also has the ability to basically cheat death. So if you're an aggressive player and you like taking chances, the Wilder gives you that extra chance a lot of the time.
That's amazing. So characters are in the game, they have passives, an ultimate, an ability. When it comes to some of these characters, Jake, do you have any favorites yourself? Any characters you look forward to playing?
I think some of the characters that the fans are going to love the most are Iron Eye and Recluse. For me personally, those have been really interesting because Iron Eye brings this ranged bow user playstyle really into the forefront. So people who want to specialize for that, have unlimited arrows in Night Reign, so they've really built that playstyle to be viable from the ground up. And I think strategy-wise, it's going to be a very strong character that not only a lot of fans are going to jump into on day one and really love, but also some of our teams here in competition might use to great effect in challenging some of the Night Lords.
Absolutely. Now, the Executor was also revealed a little while ago. Talk to me about the Executor, the parry mechanics. So much fun, stylish in terms of play as well.
Yeah, I mean, you could turn into a giant wolf creature. So that's pretty
crazy.
Freaking sweet, right?
You thought you were the boss, like I'm the boss.
Yeah,
now.
you actually become a boss of your own. And if you do like parrying, it is an excellent push-pull. You can sit there, you can do a couple of defensive blows, and then you can actually hit back with extreme strength. You can actually knock the boss out with that.
Yeah,
Just have your whole team bully him after a good parry. That's a lot of fun.
It's absolutely amazing. The big thing, too, with it being a 3-player co-op is you're talking about team compositions now, Dan, right? So when it comes to playing as a team as well, are everyone kind of, slotted to we need one Wilder, one Raider? Can you actually stack some of these characters together? Have we seen like crazy comps like that happen?
Yeah, absolutely. There's no limit. So if you want to play three Wilders or three Iron Eye, 3 Iron Eye is a really great range composition, by the way.
Yeah.
You can mix and match as you please. So
Nice.
you can make the group that works for you and supports your play style or your group's play style.
Yeah.
In fact, however, though, we've only shown 7 of the Night Fair.
7. There were 8, right, Jake, in total?
There's going to be 8. Are you telling me we've got something to reveal today, Dan?
I'm telling you, we're going to reveal the 8th Night Fair right now.
Let's do it.
How can you see into my eyes like open doors, leading you down
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Come on, that is too sick.
So what we have here is the Revenant, our
Yeah.
8th Nightfarer. Sort of a backline necromancer or summoner class.
Nice.
So if you're interested in that kind of play style, this one's for you. Now you got a little interesting taste of it there, but why don't we get more into her abilities and see how she actually works in gameplay?
Yeah, let's dive right in and look at some of the abilities, the class entirely of what is Revenant inside NIGHTREIGN. I mean, that is just wow. That is amazing. We got Dan changed up into Revenant Blue as well, you know, matching the pace of a Necromancer. I mean, that's fun. Talk to me a bit about those abilities as well. So the main one for her is what?
Absolutely. I can't wait to see her in play today.
Yeah.
So her passive ability allows you to actually resurrect slain opponents.
Oh, nice.
So when you're in the map clearing camps and taking on foes, they'll appear as your allies. So you're actually turning your enemies against you.
Wow.
This is actually really pertinent in some of the boss fights too. If they have adds to summon, you're gonna get advantage from those as well. Not only that, she has 3 core main summons, the family.
Yeah.
Okay, and of the 3, the highlight is Sebastian, the giant skeleton.
Yeah.
And so her ultimate, not only does it res your fallen friends, okay, it also gives you basically an invincibility buffer that won't let you go below 1 HP.
Nice.
So
yeah.
a little bit extra survivability, but it also will trigger whatever active minion you have out will do a special ability based on the one you have out. So I think we'll get to see Sebastian's special ability today, if we're lucky.
Yeah, that's huge. So Revenant will be being just played today on stream. You have a few of our creators are gonna be rocking her, and it can be different every time, right? A lot of people online were talking about it, Jake, you know, what does she scale with? I believe it's Faith, and that's really important to have that in the game as well, right?
Yeah, and so typically a lot of your damage on Revenant is gonna come from spell casting, although like pretty much everything in NIGHTREIGN, you can take a character and build it in for a certain run in a way that maybe it wasn't fully intended for. If you find the right loot, if you decide to go that direction, you can play a melee Revenant. We're not gonna stop you. It might not be the best idea considering you don't have that much vigor to work with, but
yeah.
I guarantee you there's gonna be some wild players out there willing to try it all, but of course you really wanna scaling on that spell casting, and think about the backline damage dealing threat. That buff could be great for some allies that wanna get in aggressively. Dan, what are some of the strategies that you've seen around Revenant that have made it look the most effective for players jumping in?
So Revenant can be challenging because obviously she doesn't have a very high health pool. So you want to stay out of the way of danger most of the time, but you've got your minions to kind of do that for you.
Nice.
Sort of the Necromancer fantasy, class fantasy in a way. So you're gonna be getting in those camps. You're kind of a support for the rest of your team. You're kind of like a team commander almost in the sense of a traditional Necromancer backliner, where you're like watching what's happening, you're filling in the gaps where you need to be, and of course you can dish out some extreme damage.
Yeah.
Absolutely, from the backline, using magic, using spells. Definitely a good pick for casters, but also, again, if you like summoning stuff, this one's for you.
Yeah, it's a huge thing. Lots of micromanaging, lots of big brain stuff. So, me personally, love the Raider, turn the brain off, go punch bosses. You have a big brain, pick Revenant, maybe pick Iron Eye, it's a big deal. For all the brains that are watching here today and the 8 captains that are with us playing, I want to break down the format of what we're going to be looking at, what the challenges each year are going to be coming in, and what the overall rules for the game so far. So Jake, you've been over it a little bit, right? But the format for the game, there's a day, a night, a day, a night, then a Night Lord. So 2 days in total of gameplay, 2 night bosses, then a big Night Lord, correct?
Exactly, and for our competition, exactly here, how we're having these 8 teams compete against each other is that they're gonna play 3 full runs against 3 different Night Lords. And so they get 1 shot at each Night Lord, and we're gonna be scoring them based on the results. Which Night Lords are they able to take down? And ultimately, it'll be curious to see because we've got some very strong players in here. There could be teams that clear it all. We've got some tiebreakers in store, should that be the case. But I mean, we've seen a lot of runs fail in NIGHTREIGN. It's got that signature challenge that fans of the series have come to expect, and I think maybe even some of our most experienced streamers here today could find struggles depending on the run that they're on.
No, absolutely. We've talked about it a little bit too and seen it as we played the game, all of us in total. You could fail in your preparation in the daytime. A night boss could take you down in the nighttime as well. When it comes to the score too overall for these teams, looking at the score breakdown as how things are going, they're gonna have to just run at this 3 times in total, right? So while they're playing this, they're trying to get these points up. The harder night bosses you're fighting, the harder night lords you're getting as well. You can see it on screen here. These are the 3 night lords we're looking at today. So a lot of people have seen Gladius. It's like a 3-headed dog beast. It's really, really cool. That's 1 point, one of the earlier night lords in the game. After that, Libra, who Dan, I think you've said is, I think maybe even the hardest night lord inside the NIGHTREIGN, right?
We're gonna see Libra today.
We're gonna see Libra today. And after that, Caligo as well, that none of these teams have actually faced or know much about. So we've kind of kept this last boss from them. They've had some practice on the previous ones. But at the same time, you know, when it comes to playing for a score, playing for things here today, these 8 teams, what are they gonna be winning, Jake? Because
it'd be great if we had some kind of like trophy or like a prize.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That would
thinking.
make a lot of sense, right? Given that it's a competition. Luckily, we came prepared.
Just a little bit, yeah. So the team that wins this is not like a first, second, third place thing. The number 1 team that wins this, the 3 players that win today, get Guardian's Great Shield that Jake's holding over here, doing a really good job. I see the muscles being flexed. It's a heavy thing right there.
These things are for real, man.
Yeah. We got Wilder's
swing that sword around.
Yeah, Wilder's Great Sword, like completely down to every inch of detail and scratch. And then Wilder's buckler as well, which I would say
this is what you execute the buckler parry with.
Yeah, you can parry your problems away, parry the competition away, but amazing real-life replicas of these items in-game, which I know mean more than money to some of these players who've played for so long.
I mean, this is an incredible competition, an opportunity for these teams to come together and play. As you mentioned, a lot of very long-time fans of the series. We had talked to some of them at PAX, and players were just super stoked at the chance to compete and you know, be in this officially recognized challenge for Elden Ring NIGHTREIGN. I know a lot of fans around the world are also tuning in to get their first glimpse on it. So it's awesome to have the community involved as we dive deeper and, I mean, reveal the Revenant for the first time. I know people are really stoked to see that game.
Yeah, we'll find a way to get these items to you in a sense. Maybe they might stay in our living rooms for a little bit and then end up in theirs afterwards.
Guys,
but
I'll keep them in my car until we need to bring
Yeah,
It'll
exactly.
be fine. Don't worry about it.
But we've talked to you guys a lot about these teams in general. We've used the word team over and over again. I want to dive in and see who these teams are. So for every team, there's a captain, 8 captains. Each captain's picked 2 players to play with them. We'll dive in for Team Blue so far. Fighting Cowboy, Ouroboros, Scott Jund. If you're a fan of the Souls-like series, you can know and understand these are some big names, some heavy hitters coming in on Team Blue.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be one of our favorite squads, but the hits, they keep coming. Team Tan, led by Lil Aggie, followed up with Parkin Harbor and Star Zero Chris. This team, I think, is also going to be a very serious contender. They've got their eyes on the Sword and Shields.
Yeah, the styles are all different. Team Green, Wolnef, Myth, Asu. The content is here for this team. We did some listen-ins in practice. They're really funny. I can't wait to see how they approach the game compared to our season's experts. It's going to be wild.
Team Bronze, led by Luality with teammates Gino Machino and It's CBD. We'll see what they're able to bring. I mean, a lot of strategic diversity in NIGHTREIGN, so every team kind of brings their own unique flair to the competition.
Yeah, lots of chemistry in that one. Past that, Team Gray, Team Clout, Afro Senju, Lord Balvin, Moonski. When it comes to style, this team has it locked in, and I feel like could be a dark horse coming into today to even take away the whole competition.
Team Purple is going to be led by Zentreya with teammates Doki Bird and Lima Licious. They're, styled after the Recluse, but I'm curious to see if that's a character that they would actually bring out in the competition.
Yeah, absolutely. Team Cyan as well. The big boss, maybe even Distortion, Spicy, Lobos Jr., all experienced with so much just Elden Ring type gameplay. I'm hyped to see them play today, Jake.
Yeah, that's a squad that gets very locked in when they play. Definitely one of our favorites in the competition. And lastly, it's going to be Team Violet, led by Saikuno with teammates Garek and Raditz. We'll see if they're able to bring that heat as well. I know we talked to Saikuno yesterday. We're pretty stoked to be part of the competition with so many well-known names here from the creator community.
Yeah, a lot of these creators we saw coming in had varying levels of just success. We didn't see too many fails, but a lot of success all across the board, approaching and having a little bit of expertise on every single squad. Dan, when someone's new coming into NIGHTREIGN, what advice do you have for them just jumping in for the first time?
Oh, for the first time, your first few runs, it's going to be a lot of learning.
Yeah.
Like a lot of other roguelikes, you're going to have a combination of acquired skill and knowledge as you go through the game. It's going to help a lot.
Yeah.
So just getting a sense of how the game plays is really critical. But I'd also like to say, maybe start with Wilder or Iron Eye.
Nice.
They're a little bit easier to play. Iron Eye, you can stay back from the action and just shoot away. It's a fun play style. And of course, Wilder has the ability to survive.
Yeah.
And that's, again, as you're learning the ropes, that can help a lot. especially when you're going up against the first combatant here today, Gladius.
Gladius, yeah, no joke at all if you make a mistake. That's the big thing about this type of series, right, Jake? It's like, it's such a perfect idea to make it a roguelite as well, because you want to try again. You want to have that repeat, and we know how many times you have deaths to bosses, like 600 on some of them as well. It's going to be fun to see how these guys go in here and try again against these bosses too. Here are 8 teams on screen for you right now, and they're all just waiting at that round table, maybe at the sparring grounds for that expedition to start, to lock in with Gladius and get things going.
Yeah, everybody's getting prepared, and this is the area of the game where you're going to be able to access your different cosmetics, thinking about different things you want to level up. We talked a little bit about some of the roguelike elements. Maybe it's a good moment to bring that up. Dan, talk to me about some of the relic system that players can expect to sink their teeth into when it comes to specializing, optimizing their builds.
Yeah, so even though you're going to be starting every run at level 1, you're making permanent progression as you play through the game. These relics can range in quality. So you're looking for the large gems to give you serious impact on your run. It could change your ultimate ability, just give you more stats. There's a huge breadth of diversity in what you can unlock. For example, I like to play a support build. So even when I'm on Wilder, I have it set so that when I drink a flask, my teammates get the flask. When I use buffing food, it also buffs my team. So when I go into a boss fight, I'm just like, here's all the buffs, and here's all the healing. So it makes, again, you can kind of spec your character to your own personal taste above and beyond what the character offers.
Yeah, there's like some colossal weapons in the game. I'm a big Raider main, and like I did an intelligence mind Raider build. I know it's like blasphemous.
That's
but
illegal,
I was casting
that's
like
the rules.
I was casting some crazy spells playing Raider long range. So like you can really tune your character to whatever you want it to be, and then have 8 different characters to play. The just skill tree paths in this game are endless, Jake.
Yeah, there are so many options. So our teams are getting ready to play. I think another aspect that we're gonna see come to bear as they start to queue up as it runs, looks like they're all starting to kick off here, is this team composition. You're seeing everybody start to lock in their heroes, and this is where the teams are making their first really major differentiation in terms of what strategy they're gonna bring to Gladius, this first Night Lord.
Absolutely. Looking at a few Iron Eyes all across the board as well. We see an Executor, I think towards the bottom left there. We're tuned in with little Aggie right now. See what they're rocking. Double Iron Eye with a Duchess.
This is an extremely high damage composition.
Very fragile though,
They're
right?
not gonna have any frontline support whatsoever. The Duchess is gonna have to be nimble in and out of combat. And one of the things that the Duchess has, not even counting her abilities, but she has a double backstep, which is fascinating for getting out of trouble. And the Duchess is gonna be in a lot of trouble here because they're not gonna have a frontline without it. But that said, the amount of damage output this team can deal is absolutely absurd.
So Dan, we're right here at the very start of a NIGHTREIGN run. When everybody is hopping in on the 29th, they're gonna be able to start a run much like this. And what should we do on this first drop in? We know we're always racing against the clock in NIGHTREIGN, so give people a head start.
You are, but for first-time players, I wouldn't really worry about the time element at first. Just try to get a handle on what everything is and how things work. That the time can come in later. That's sort of a thing you perfect rather than try to mess with it early on. So clearing out a first camp, this is a very traditional opener, if you will. This camp will take you from level 1 to 2, give you some introductory consumable items and weapons to start off your adventure. You basically want to be level 2 before you start any other content.
Yeah, we go over to Team Green here as well. You can see that it's not just the camp you start off with. There's also churches available all around that can give you more flasks. They just hit one and walked away. So towards the top left now, that's where flasks are in total. They got 4 flasks to start things off. The rest of the team should be at things like 3 and whatnot. We can go and tune over to Team Blue as well. Look at how they're taking over their camp. Just started a little bit later, but when you have Revenant in the pool, you can just go through camps so fast. They just landed, by the way. This camp's already done.
Yeah, it's cleaned out already. And again, the Revenant is really great at clamp clears because of not only does she have her family friend, but she's also going to create minions from fallen foes. And as you can see, they're going for the church there. Depending on how the structure of your map is at the beginning, you may hit churches up early, you may hit them late, or you may bypass them entirely.
Yeah, I want to go to Team Purple right now to look at just what happens in some of these other big cathedrals, not even churches. We're gonna lock in with them, taking on a Guardian Golem that spawns here. Some other teams so far have also gotten to this point and taking things down. Now again, I know this seems like a very big BR thing. There's a circle closing in. We have 8 different teams. They're all doing their own runs. It's not all the teams on the same map. So every single team is in their own seed, doing their own run, kind of racing to see who can take this boss down. It's kind of like a yes-no check system every single game. Did you beat the Night Lord? So that's what we're looking for. That's what we're following. I know you see everyone's kind of on the same map, but they're in their own type of games right now.
So yeah, they're all going to be facing Gladius at the end of this.
Yeah.
But how they get there is going to be very different.
True, very true. So towards the end of night 1 here, Dan, that means that if Team Purple, we're looking at them right now, they could be facing a different night boss compared to, say, someone like Team Violet, who's looking at something else entirely.
Absolutely, and again, the route that they take there is going to be very different depending on the map. You can see some of our players, when we looked at them earlier, they have the crater spawn in the middle, in the top of the map. That will significantly change your game plan if you decide to go down that route.
Yeah, I want to tune in with Team Gray right now. Again, they found a Guardian Golem in a very different place, and now you can see kind of the differences inside the game. We found a Guardian Golem inside a cathedral. This one spawning in at the top of a fortress that these guys have to scale from the basement to get all the way towards the top of. We can go to Team Tan right now. Again, I can show you the differences in this game. That's Executor, a double Executor team with an Iron Eye.
I love it. That's very bold. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm rooting for this team now.
Oh, they got a Nagakiba as well, so they're going like the perfect item for the Executor. This is nuts. So yeah, again, like the differences for every single team are crazy with the compositions early. Let's slow things down a little bit and just talk about day number 1. I talked about fortresses, cathedrals. Sure. What's available on the map for teams to do?
We're going really fast here. Yeah. So there are all kinds of different like camps of different varying strengths.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to determine with your team, like, okay, we're level 3. How aggressive are we feeling?
Yeah.
Do we want to take on a castle? Do we want to go to the castle and check that out? Do we want to go to a fort? Do we want to go to camp? Do we have Stone Sword keys to do the Everjails?
Yeah.
And the bonuses that they provide?
And then, yeah, the big thing too is every single camp inside the game on the mini-map, if you see it pulled up, it has a little emblem next to it that shows you what type is in that camp, what type of weapon is available. So if you're going up against Gladius, I believe you're looking for holy weapons as his weakness, right? Every Night Lord has a weakness, so you might go for a holy camp. You might go for a fire camp for a certain amount of weapons you like to have. So that's a big thing too.
100%. And especially if you're just starting out, getting those weapon vulnerabilities is going to help a lot. So if you go into that fight with Gladius with holy weapons, you have a much better chance of victory.
Yeah, now Jake, when it comes to some of these camps, the one big constant, because the camps will change all around, is the castle. Talk to me a bit about that castle, Jake. What's available in the center of the map? It's a big place with a lot of loot available.
Yeah, the castle is definitely something that a lot of our runners are going to take on because it's one of the most powerful, dangerous challenges in the overworld, but it also has some of the best rewards. Right now, Team Bronze, they're challenging an Everjail, so they had a Stone Sword key to open this one up. It summoned a random boss fight, and I mean, what's crazy is with how many runs we've personally seen Chow at PAX East and here, this is the first time that I've actually seen this come out of an Everjail, and we keep saying that every run. Like, there's always something new, even for us, who we've seen like close to 100 runs at this point. Talk to me though about this little mechanic there. Right at the end of that, they defeated the mini boss and they got that boss reward. That was a blue rarity, but tell me a little bit more about that looting rarity system when you defeat mini bosses and major world bosses.
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever you beat a boss, you're going to get options. And depending on the strength of the boss, the options will be more powerful. Those can include, obviously, weapons and other things like that you can equip. But they also include like permanent sort of skills. So they can be passives, sort of like that have a big range, right? You could get 10% HP, 50% HP, or, you know, lightning whenever you roll, or stars that fall from the sky while you're walking. There's a lot of different variables in those, and you're going to build a completely different character composition every run.
I love that. And right now you can see that, yes, one team went to go for an Everjail. They fought Stoneskin Lords. It was very contained, kind of in a boss arena. Now we're invading the camp. A different team decided to go for the Red Maiden Knights. This is Team Cyan, Distortion's team. They're rocking Recluse here. Talk to me a little bit about Recluse. I mean, we see spells being casted, we see channeling happening. This is a very different type of ambiance everyone else has been watching, and these mobs are going down fast.
So Recluse is basically the core caster of this game.
Yeah.
The archetypal mage. So pretty sensitive to damage, but has an incredible depth of skills. In fact, she creates a magic cocktail based on the elements that are available, and you can create like a dozen different spells out of that. And her ultimate ability is amazing for your whole team. It puts a curse on the enemy, and every time the enemy gets hit by anyone on your team, they get health and FP back.
Oh, that's nuts. So you just get to sustain.
You can just chain your abilities over and over on bosses, just empty everything you got on.
And she hits so hard. I want to jump over to Team Bronze here. Once again, just looking at a team that's taking on something very different from everyone else inside this night hunt right now. So they're actually inside this castle. You can see you're not going to be looking at a boss health bar down below, but a lot of these things that spawn in the castle are just strong. These are the Crucible Knights, basically a mini boss, and there's like 5 of them that spawn in.
The castle has sort of mid bosses, like this one that will drop perks after they. So if you can clear the castle, you're going to get a lot of XP and a lot of loot.
There it is, yeah.
You see here, you know.
And this is the big thing too when it comes to this game, right? So Iron Eye, you can see the inventory is already full. We're still making decisions here. Every single weapon has a passive that can help you. So increased two-handed strength, increased jump attacks, less FP consumption. You're thinking about min-maxing 24/7, even if you found the perfect weapon. And also, when it comes to fall damage, inside this game, there is none. So scaling this castle, getting out of it, a lot easier inside Night Reign.
There's no fall damage, and there's also, you can grapple up sort of walls and stuff by jumping. The traversal is paramount in this game, and you have lots of ways to move around. You can sprint super fast. You have slipstream jumps to get you across. You can jump to the top of this castle if you want.
Let's look at the bottom of the castle real quick. Team Purple, want to tune in with them ASAP. This is the very basement of the castle we're watching right now in a different world entirely. They're facing the Royal Revenant down here, struggling a little bit. A few players going down now. Jake, the Revenant, usually we fight him in a big open field. In a claustrophobic dungeon like this, it's so much different.
Yeah, and Limu trying to clutch this one out is the only player left alive. You can see their teammates are down, and you attack your allies when they're in that down state to get them back up in the fight. But there you see it. The second time you go down in short succession, there's twice as many attacks, as much damage necessary to res you back into the fight. And oh no, they're leaving
They're running away.
They're leaving behind. Guys, help!
Oh, here we go. See that? A benefit of the Iron Eye, getting your friends up from long range.
Look at the Revenant, though.
The Revenant's got a problem with that.
He's not letting him get it for free. If she does go down, she's gonna die and lose an entire. The Revenant's left the dungeon, chasing him down through the hallway. Oh no.
Luckily though, it's not the end of the run when you die in the daytime. So when you die at this phase, it's a setback. You're gonna lose a level, but you are gonna respawn as at Site of Grace. And it's also a big decision point. It's like, do you want to go back in and take on that challenge that just bested you?
Yeah.
And try to, kind of get back into the run? Or do you want to cut your losses? And some of those decision points are really key when it comes to the end game and how far you can get in a run of Night Reign.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing we noticed there in that one, Duchess was using her ultimate there, so it makes her invisible. In fact, can make your whole team invisible. So that's a great way to get your allies up or to get a surprise initiate on an opponent.
I want to stick with Team Blue here as we get over towards what seems like an Evergel, just to see what boss spawns out of it, so you guys can see kind of the diversity we're locking in with. We had the Stone Skin Lords before. Same type of Evergel here, you just need a Stone Sword key, and then they'll lock in with this one too.
We can also get to see some of this Revenant gameplay. I mean, this is a new character we're showing for the first time, so let's see how White Cowboy takes on a classic fight.
A couple of favorites here.
The Godskin duo.
There
you go.
Spawns Frederick.
That's a tankier summon than
Looks like they're gonna try to aggro, pressure that boss down. The summon can maybe hold some of that aggro, create opportunities for the teammates.
Wow. They're kind of using the apostles.
The bell-bearing hunter has also joined the fray here. So that's when you're traveling around in the overworld, you never know where you're gonna run into.
And they immediately ask to just disengage, and get out of there.
These are some of our strongest players in the competition. I think this is actually great for fans to see that one of the key decision points in Night Reign is picking your battles, deciding sometimes it's better to come and take on a smaller camp. I mean, they're only level 4. Fighting the Godskin duo plus a Bell-bearing hunter at the same time
it's a lot.
Is a lot. It's seriously a big risk you would take, but coming to clear a couple camps, getting a little bit stronger, maybe they'll return and take on that challenge.
You can come back later if you want. Yeah. So that's absolutely viable.
And the damage actually sticks when they come back later.
Yes,
so
it does.
The Noble, even if they come back on day 2, they're going to be rocking this one, which is huge. But I've never seen these many boss bars on a POV board.
It's a lot of boss bars.
Yeah,
a lot of boss bars.
Lots to micromanage. Well, look at Team Bronze here next, just to see what's going down, or actually even jumping over to Team Gray. I know we're bing-bonging here afterwards. We'll check in with Bronze for a second. They're taking down the castle. If you guys want to see the Godskin Nobles taken down as well, we can tune in with Gray. That double Executor gameplay, I know they're experienced with the Godskin combinations when it comes to some of their movesets, so they're going to be parrying maybe even the roll a lot over and over again. So, yeah, here we go with Team Gray. Evergel, by the way, in a completely different section of the map.
Yeah, and you don't need to be a parry wizard to use the Executor's parry in this game. It's much more flexible. It's one of his special abilities. So you basically set it up and then unleash.
Gotta watch out though.
But yeah, you do need to set it up.
You need to set it up.
Noble's a huge threat. Moonski's gonna have to get the res. Iron Eye, I think, is another great aspect. We saw another team do this too. The arrows are really flexible to res. One pro tip we've seen a lot of teams do though is even if they're running more of like a melee focused build, we've seen some of our stronger players still have a bow in the back pocket, one that they could tap into if they want to get a res off in a difficult scenario. But this team also is not feeling that smoke, which wants to chill out and go for a more challenging camp.
Biting off a little more than they can chew and seeking other opportunities.
Yeah.
Which is good. You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them in this game.
It's different for them too, because they actually cleared this camp before doing the Evergel. Very different to what we saw from Team Blue, tapping in to Team Bronze now. This is just a world boss that might spawn around. I know a lot of us ignored it when we first tapped into Elden Ring.
A true
and
OG.
went past by. But yeah, we got the Executor just going into full beast form.
Yep.
The entire team just working down, rain of arrows coming in. They're doing a good job here, Jake.
Hey, Team Bronze is solid right now. Level 10 is a fantastic place to be
That's
in this
incredible.
run.
Yeah.
If you're level 10 at the end of day 1, you are sitting pretty. That's incredible, actually. I don't know what they did.
I'm telling you, when the Crucible Knights are there in the castle, you get so much XP.
It's true that if you can clear the castle has tons of stuff. Again,
Yeah.
risk-reward balance, right?
Absolutely. And we're throwing fire pots here, bringing Iron Eye close range in the business. Her dash leaves a mark, which lets everyone on your team do so much more damage. This Sentinel, it's butter in a microwave right now. Kind of the same color, right? That yellowy, meltish orange. And it's about to be real tasty for the team. Get a big boon here.
It's going to be 11 at the end of day 1. That's absurd.
I don't think I've seen that before. I genuinely don't think I've seen 11 on day 1.
So as this first day turns to night, you can see that sky is darkening around us. That also means the zone is closing in, forcing our teams to that night 1 arena. Dan, walk me through what happens here as this zone of night comes in and we get towards that final arena. What can we expect next?
Sure. So as the circle closes to the final, which is doing right now, they're going to have to face some lesser monsters, which are going to indicate what the boss they're going to be fighting is. So it can actually give you an advantage. You'll be like, oh, I'm fighting. Let's see what we have here.
We got to see what's up. While these guys lock it down, maybe we tune in to Team Violet really quick. They're actually inside the zone and looking to get to this position. We'll tune right back with that team to see what boss it is. But yeah, here's the issue.
Super risky deep in the zone here.
Yeah, they went
Yes,
for a troll and like
this-
they locked in too much.
You see this a lot. When that night is falling, you have to make the choice. Do we want to spend extra time here and race against the clock as it closes in on us? The additional risk, as you can see, does not always pay off.
Yeah.
And again, if you just go to the circle right away and you just sit around waiting for the boss, you're like, oh.
And then you might get to the Night Lord and not be as strong as you would like to
Right.
be.
Yeah.
So they're still gonna have that chance. Looks like
Here's the
Team
first
Tam
one.
with Lil Aggie are gonna take on the Bell-Bearing Hunter, and this is one that, I mean, they look so comfy. Lil Aggie is just locked in, not a problem, especially with the Iron Eyes, right? Double Iron Eye
Double
this
Iron
strategy.
Eyes is just so potent.
Look
Yeah,
at
they
this HP bar.
They can really kite.
Look at that.
100
What was that?
So I'll tell you what that probably was. I didn't see it. But between the 2 Iron Eyes and the Duchess has one of my favorite abilities in the whole game. It's called Restage. And what it does is it plays back all the damage that was done to the target
Yep.
in a very short time frame. So if you watch your friends and wait to see what they do, and then just tap that, you're doing all that damage again. So all your damage, all your friends' damage, all at once. Just huge chunks of damage. That was
That's actually
very
insane.
clean.
Yeah.
Speaking of the team synergy there, another thing I noticed from Team Tan is they pick up that boss buff. That's going to be some of your most powerful passive buffs or sometimes active buffs that come in after a night boss. That they have actually the poison and the Scarlet Rot in their build. So playing up those status effects, having different members maybe grab a different status effect, being ready for the Night Lord you're going to face off against is really potent. And Team Tan, they're really showing their experience, looking like one of the clear favorites right now in the competition.
Then we got to tap into Violet to see the other type of boss that could spawn in. So we saw the Bell-Bearing Hunter go and fight. Now we're going to be looking at the Demi-Human Queen and the Demi-Human Swordmaster. So this is a bit different, right? It's 2 bosses at once.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about the Queen so much, but the Swordmaster, he's kind of sneaky. You got to watch out for him. He can kill your whole team if you're not careful.
Yeah, you got to
He's
be.
very small and very dangerous.
There's Garek there with the Revenant playing like distraction duty.
Yep.
And so making sure that, no matter what happens, the rest of the team's going to be able to take on the Queen successfully. And yeah, you can see the POVs now. Revenant kind of soloing the Swordmaster, the rest of the team trying to make quick work of the Queen.
And I mean, one of the key factors in Night Reign is that even some of these familiar enemies still have reworked movesets, or the boss has been, the fight has been reworked, i.e. having multiple enemies to face. So you need to coordinate that strategy of sometimes we've seen a lot of teams split up the aggro, having, so that both bosses aren't aggroed on the same person at the same time, making dodging a little bit easier. It's one of those key strategic factors that when you hop in, and whether you're playing with friends or playing online queuing up, that coordination, the communication is a key aspect of your success in a given run of Night Reign.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and even if you're just playing on randoms, there's a lot of really interesting data that is on the you can see on the stage. So like you noticed there in the Demi-Human Queen, she had a rot debuff. So you can actually see the debuffs on the targets and the buffs, so you can coordinate with your team that way silently. Like if you see the rot on there, like, okay, my teammates are gonna put rot on the target, I'm gonna take perks that support that.
Let's look at Tan real quick to get a just jump in as to what could be happening for Team Violet even, like just in 5 minutes. A Deathrite Bird kind of just spawned on the map on day 2. The bosses get a bit scarier. A few more field bosses end up spawning in. Right now he is staggered, he's not sleeping.
I mean, with again, this double Iron Eye Duchess comp just has the damage, just
It's melting.
absurd damage output potential.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a great spot to see. We're gonna tap in here with Team Violet and watch them. So a lot of our teams are on to this second day phase, but this is sort of the process you can expect, right? After you beat that Night 1 boss, you're gonna have an opportunity to pick your perk. Sight of Grace will spawn in if you have the runes to grab the level up, or you can reset your flasks and your FP and your HP, and then now on to the next day. Something we have seen, a little pro tip for people who want to really min-max, is we've seen some teams run off into the fog before it even clears.
You can do that.
Try to start into day 2 as quickly as possible, but now pretty much everyone is on to that day 2. Let's join Team Cyan. Looks like they're taking down a gargoyle right now, and tell me about where they are on the map right now. Let's go to Team Cyan and we can show that for POV, because
The gargoyle's already dead.
yeah, the gargoyle's already down.
What is happening?
This is crazy.
This is the unique
Common
Raider
Azure,
map event,
Glintstone
right?
Staff. Yeah, I mean, okay, so we have one of the best spells in the game to take down Gladius or any boss. It's on Distortion, by the way.
It's a very powerful spell.
Yeah, and
always
he's-
has been.
And the reduced FP skill cost for the passive, that's so potent.
Yeah,
Or the Recluse.
and he
is
has
a
another
really
thing
great
to
item
pick
for
as
the
well.
meta.
Dude, he's going
We
crazy.
talked about this a little briefly, but yeah, even though you're only going to be wielding 1 or 2 things at once, all 6 of those slots matter.
Yeah.
So you can stack all kinds of things. So if you're a caster, you can stack FP consumption perks and other things like that.
Yeah, and then I'll slow it down again once more. Day 1, we talked about exploring, going to POIs, seeing what's
fall
up.
damage.
On day number 2, and yeah, there's no fall damage. Something that happens sometimes in these maps is called shifting earth. So a crater spawns in, there could be a mountaintop that spawns in, a biome of rot even. We'll see some cool things throughout the day. This is the crater, and on day 2, you can spend the whole day scaling these things. They'll spawn, very unique field bosses. We just saw the gargoyle. Now we got a falling star beast coming in. Maybe that's why this whole crater was made.
Maybe.
I mean, this is huge. You never see this in every single run. These guys are choosing to be here. They could be across the map doing something else entirely, but they're making quick work of this boss.
So they made the choice to come into the crater, which means they're probably going to go below, but it really depends. Everyone is different, strategy is different, and they evolve over the course of a game.
Yeah. We can tap in really quick to Team Bronze just to show you the kind of juxtaposition and the differences in how a run can look. They're on the complete opposite side of the map, in the castle, all the way at the top, taking out a Deathrite Bird. Now, we saw this Deathrite Bird on the hills for a different team. We saw these guys in the crater. These guys are now in the castle instead on day number 2, kind of working backwards compared to every other team did.
And I mean, the roof of the castle, like we mentioned that they're on, really tends to have some of your biggest challenges in the overworld very consistently. And so it's a place that some of our more confident teams are gonna reliably be coming to seek that challenge out, get some very powerful perks. And it looks like we even got a couple legendary weapons for the Teenage for Geno Machino.
very
and
good
CBD.
stuff there.
Yeah.
Those could really play to your build. And that's the type of thing where you find that loot earlier on in the run, you find that legendary weapon and you start to build towards it. You never know which drop is gonna lead you in that direction and give you that purpose overall for how you're gonna build and take it on the Night Lord.
Yeah, I want to actually go to Team Blue here specifically real quick when it comes to how things are looking like on the opposite side of the map inside this crater. So they've kind of gone way past where we saw the other team take that Fallen Star Beast down. They're past it even more so, taking out these big priests and going for a drop per every single mob. So the amount of loot you have in here is plentiful. After that, we got to keep moving. Speed is of the essence.
You do, because
time is of the essence.
If you're going down into the crater, remember, you have to have a plan to get back out.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're gonna keep walking forward. Here's Revenant. Again, the specialty is taking out mobs with absolute speed. And you can see that happen again. Everyone going down. The rest of the team maybe just looking around to see, what we're gonna be looking at towards the bottom of the crater. They're still moving. They got more stuff to get past over here.
I recognize this golden fog ball, guys. That's definitely a
Where have
signal
I
of
seen that
something.
before?
Now they're gonna tap in on their side. I wanna go to Team Cyan real quick, who might be doing something very similar. Again, still looking different though, right? They're also gonna tap in, in the exact same place, this time with Recluse. Let's look at how fast we can get through a mob like this when you have a spellcaster that's kind of focused on that single target damage.
Wow.
I'm in the prelates.
I mean, these builds are really coming online. This is one of the things I talked about with Recluse, right? Is you have so many options, so many flexibilities. If you start getting the right perks, the right passives together, and you become this monster late game damage dealer. And so the hands of somebody as expert as Distortion, we really get to see what's possible. I think Recluse with all, we talked about it a little bit, we can say more though about that first skill. The ability to pull the elemental damage that you deal to an enemy, you pull that out of them, and then you're able to deploy that depending on its combination to send it back on an enemy in different unique spell combos. So there's gonna be so much depth in that. I think
You can cook a lot of different stuff up in the magic cocktail.
Absolutely, yeah. shake and stir it, do whatever you want with it, and you get some crazy combinations. Right here, so this is about timing, min-maxing. Lots of fire carts, we take our time to take down, but Dan talked about it, the crater. You have to solve its mysteries. You have to be upkeeping with time as you move around. There's hands clawing at you, parts spitting flame. You are skipping as many of them as you can because there's something towards the end of this that you really want to have, just grab your eyes on.
Again, it's always about choices, right? Like,
yeah.
You could be halfway through the run and be like, okay, we got halfway through the crater, but the wall's coming in. Maybe we should exit now.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens. But a lot of these teams, it looks like they're going for it.
Absolutely. We can tune in back over to Team Blue. I like going back and forth to see exactly how they're making decisions here. So Distortion is going all the way forward. Cowboy instead has actually taken out every single fire cart. Looking at these hands as well, he's kind of delayed a few meters back from where we saw the other team, but has more runes in total, so they'll get another level up, go up to 9, and now they're moving through all the hands. So it's very different for both teams. I want to stick with Team Blue here as we see them go so much closer to that crater, almost all the way.
They're going right to the bottom.
Yeah.
We can actually hop over to Team Cyan to see where they're ultimately going to be going, the final challenge. Although I think Team Blue.
I think we stick with Team Blue. I want to see them.
Team Blue's about to run in and show off some of the loot to be found in the crater.
And there it is, both of them side by side.
On the crater here, taking on the magma worm here down at the base.
That is just such unbelievable damage, man. Like I can't. They're punishing the magma worm. That is a thick monster. Okay?
Oh my God! Both teams actually. These health bars are absolutely getting decimated. I mean, Recluse with these spells is just every single time she casts one, the magma worm staggered as well. Going to take a big crit there too. I mean, it's just nuts from both sides. Now, Dan, talk to me about beating this magma worm.
Cowboy went down in one hit.
Oh, no way.
That's what you got to worry about, right? You're mentioning this, Dan.
Revenant
on
is
the
frail.
Revenant.
Yeah.
You don't want to get too greedy with the spell casting, right? You could be in trouble if you take that one powerful hit from an enemy.
Hey, Sebastian's out.
Wow, Team Cyan, that is ridiculous. I looked away from the screen for a second, and they already cleaned the magma worm. And now, tell me about what they get here at the bottom of the crater.
So if you complete this aspect of the crater, you will actually be able to take any one of your items, any one of your weapons, and turn them into a legendary.
Wow.
So this is an incredible buff to go into the final battle with, because again, you look at the boss's weakness, you're like, oh, I've got a holy item. And this isn't even a holy one. It doesn't matter, right? It's like, if you've got a legendary weapon, very powerful.
Yeah.
And so you can make any one of your weapons legendary at that little service down there if you beat the magma worm.
And that's huge, right? If you're playing Recluse, you pick up a weapon, make it legendary. If you're playing Iron Eye, you love your starting bow, a gray item.
Yes.
Make it legendary.
This is not, we talked about the relic system very briefly before we started going. So let's say I have a relic that starts my bow off with fire.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to pick up anything because I want fire, right?
Exactly.
You can make that legendary.
And it does so much
And all of a
damage.
sudden your starter bow is now a legendary item.
Yeah,
So
that's amazing.
there's all kinds of different routes you can take. And again, this is only when the crater's in play.
Yeah, and it's still all earned, right? We saw these teams go all the way down. They have to practice actually going through this crater a couple of times as well. I've been lost, Jake, going into this crater sometimes. I have no idea. The first time I was in here, I had no idea what was going on.
These teams had been clinical about going down here. It's actually, there's a lot more places you can get lost and other places to explore. You gotta find the right paths and causeways around to get through there.
Yeah. No, it's huge.
Looks like everyone's going to take their chances. Let's look at some of the level scaling. We see Team Blue is around about level 9. Team Bronze level
It's 15.
15. So, I mean, this is an amazing run. I think Bronze and Cyan are both hitting level 15. Like, guys, we've seen a lot of runs. That's rare.
That's the
for
cap.
our runners to be
So yeah,
hitting
just so
the
you
level
know,
cap.
the regular level cap is 15.
Yeah. They're done. Like, there's supposed to be a Night 2 boss that gives you XP as well.
Well, yeah, obviously.
But there's still going
It's
to be
not over,
chances to spend your consumables. There's special merchants around the map, so you don't have to spend your runes on leveling up if you want to. You could go for more of those consumables. You could play towards that, and even, of course, we'll be able to see that closer to the final Night Lord. There's going to be one more chance to spend your runes. So you don't have to be too desperate.
To talk about that a little briefly, the runes, you can use them for all kinds of different things, including you can get more item slots. You can actually buy gear directly from a shopkeeper. And of course, consumables. I know for a lot of first-time players for this, you might not think about consumables too much. I know when I played Elden Ring, I didn't use them at all usually.
I'm saving them for the next round.
You save them for the next round, right? But in this game, use them.
Yeah.
Use your consumables. They're very good in this game.
Team
Absolutely
Green,
huge.
they're going to take on the Valiant Gargoyle. And honestly, this could be a great time here for a listen-in.
Level 9 Gargoyle.
This is a challenging fight. Yeah, let's see if we can listen in with Will Neff and see how they're taking on this engagement.
I got Myth. Don't worry. Distract him. Oh my God. Get Myth. Boys, he is absolutely clapping my balls.
All right.
That's the gargoyle experience, man. Look, that's the gargoyle experience.
There's
Look,
a dagger!
You know what you're taking on when you come against the gargoyle. You got to be ready for that.
Please!
so close.
There it is!
They got it. They got it.
And that's a key comeback fight for them, right? In this run, like they're level 9, they needed those runes, they needed this loot. They took the risk, and this time it pays off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as you can see here, here's one of the, we're hovering over it. You know, if you have teammates who are putting poison or rot on people, you can have +7 continuous HP recovery. That's a lot.
Yeah, serious.
It's like having a flask pretty much the entire time.
You also can drop loot to your allies. Here, Distortion, looks like on the Knight 2 boss, they grab the Deathrite Bird, and this is a tricky arena for it. He's up on the high ground, casting these devastating range
Knight
attacks.
is coming in.
Yeah, that might be a foe that maybe they're not ready to challenge, especially in that position when he backs off into the Knight.
They probably feel it's not worth the risk, considering they're probably going to be 15 after the Knight
Yes,
boss.
maybe no reason to take on a challenge. I mean, if you lost a level now at 14, that would be incredibly costly. You can see that circle on the map is zoning them in towards the final arena. But I mean, 14 right now is amazing. I have no question in my mind that these guys are going to survive that night.
I think
to the Night Lord.
Yeah, I think Gladius should be afraid of these teams, not the other way around.
There's a different type of Night Lord just walking around. Here's Night Boss number 1, by the way, for a bunch of other teams. And
oh my!
Just
if you blink, there's bye bye.
Absolute wow.
Seems like the run's going pretty well for Team Cyan. All right.
Definitely seeing some really, really high-level Recluse play here. I can't even imagine the effects they have stacked, but they're very serious.
It gets insane. And again, the one good thing about Recluse is that she never really runs out of FP, right? Especially with that ultimate.
Yeah, look at that. Look at all these passives are improving those sorceries. They're stacking the damage and reducing FP costs. So you can just let loose.
Yeah.
The thing is, your build is going to be different every game, right? You might be led in a different direction. You might be trying out different spells. And I think for me, you know, as someone who's a huge fan of Elden Ring, that I didn't fully explore like all of these different ways to play and fight in the game, and NIGHTREIGN really brings that to bear. And I think for a lot of players, it's going to be a great opportunity to really get the full breadth of the experience, to try all these different strategies and builds. And there's a reason this run is going so well. It's not because they needed to hit exactly this build, but it's because these players are able to adapt to whatever the game throws at them, and they're just really displaying their skill. Team Tan, I believe this is the Knight 2 boss for them?
Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. Level 14, taking on the Tree Sentinel. Not even worried about using their ultimate right now, little Aggie.
Sentinel and friends.
Yeah, I mean, you got to just divvy out again. Park and Harbor, Parky, she's on the back, right there taking over some of the cavalrymen. Aggie's focused with Chris to take on the big Sentinel, and the Sentinel looks weaker than the cavalrymen right now. I mean,
They're going right for the big one first. Just the punishment that 2 Iron Eyes can put out with the Duchess. Again, I'm used to seeing this kind of composition with a tank in front, but using the Duchess means this is just unbridled damage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, you know, in a boss fight, I don't think Gladius is going to be a problem. But in a larger boss fight, it might, you know, if you go down once, there might not be a chance for recovery.
This is the highest risk for like one of the highest rewards ever. Also, that's so sad. I feel like if the cavalryman dies, we should let the horse live. You know, just be able to ride off into the night. But we gotta put the horse down too.
Look, you need those runes, all right? This is about business. We standing on business here for Team Tan. They're gonna take their last perk. And tell me what's spawning in right here. Tell me what we can expect to happen next here, Dan, after this second night boss.
So basically, the night cycle's over. There's no more roaming the map. After you've beaten Night 2, you're going directly to the Night Lord. You're going to have a chance to level up and use a shop and use a blacksmith. So all those amenities are in this shelter that they're going to next. But there's no more map. We're just going to the boss.
Let's go over to Team Blue. Look at that Revenant gameplay again. We looked at just one of the night bosses. That's the Tree Sentinel. Well, we'll go there in just a second, actually. It's true. Let's look at day 3. We're talking about consumables as well. So this is one of the places you can get the best.
Basically, again,
game.
no more traveling the map. This is where you get set up for the big encounter. Everything's been building to this, the Night Lord. And so this time we're facing Gladius, which I'm pretty sure this team right here is absolutely going to eviscerate in seconds.
I've got some very potent builds brewing on many of our team members.
And you can see here again, don't ignore the consumables.
Yeah.
You can see they all stocked up. This stuff is all really good in these boss fights.
They're endurance fights, right? These are like some of the longest fight of the run is going to be that Night Lord. It's going to be
these are the biggest challenges. You want to have every advantage possible going in. Level 14 though, they're sitting pretty, honestly.
It's the biggest advantage possible, yeah. This is nuts. So, open that white door as well. Duchess double Iron Eye, sometimes you don't get the biggest value because, sometimes there's arrows being shot at multiple mobs, but against just one Night Lord, right? That Duchess is going to be repeating so much damage.
I can't tell you how much I love the restage ability.
Yeah.
It's so satisfying. Obviously, the Duchess is kind of like the rest of this team, kind of fragile. But the restage ability playing back all the damage your entire team does. Even if you're not communicating with your team, you can just watch visually when those giant arrows shoot.
Whether it's like a blood proc or a big repulse.
Doing it right after a bleed proc is the most. The boss's health bar it's gone.
Yeah. Eviscerated, evaporated, melted. Choose your way to have your boss, I guess.
And this is going to be our first look of the stream here at this Night Lord. I know for a lot of fans who maybe haven't seen so much of what to expect in NIGHTREIGN, get ready. This is Gladius, the Beast of Night.
Three-headed dog going crazy. And again, the mobility you've got here. This is where we really put the players to the test, right? So Night bosses might be a bit slower. You might be a little bit stronger compared to them in terms of your vigor. Over here, Dan, this is what you're talking about, right? When you have a squishy team comp like this, one bad mistake is a third of your team down.
Can happen.
Yeah.
Now, it's not going to happen on this one, but it can happen. It can definitely happen. Again, Gladius, he's still quite challenging, but should not present a problem to this particular team.
And level 14 is great. I mean, honestly, you could be in this boss at level 12. We've seen people clear it even lower than that and still feel pretty confident about your chances. So the fact that your run has gone so well up to this point, it puts you in a position of massive advantage. And now Gladius goes into the second phase.
Yeah, and every time you get here, you won't be at 12. Sometimes you'll be at 15. You might be at 9.
Yeah.
But you basically have to figure out how to do it with what you got.
You're
going to have different tools every time.
So I see what they're doing. Iron Eye's ultimate is this big bow shot. Every single dog gets kind of collateral with that bow. They double ult back and forth and deal quadruple the damage. That gets, I think, power to the 9s by restage. The mathematics elude me, right? It's my Night Lord.
Maybe we can bring in Cyan
Very
here.
powerful math.
Yeah. And yeah, Cyan's here too. Who's gonna actually beat this first? That's the big question.
Cyan is a little bit ahead. It looks like Cyan got the first
battle.
Wow.
Cyan eliminated it. Started it, I think, almost the latest.
I don't even think we got to see that one because it probably just evaporated.
These are crazy places to be. Amazing first run here for Team Cyan, led by Distortion 2. It's a great start, but it's expected for these squads. Team Tan looking to get the cleanup as well on Gladius, but this is going to be the one they're most familiar with. This is really your introductory run, your warm-up run for these squads.
Yeah.
Again, still a challenge, but these squads really know what they're doing.
These are some of the best players in the game, right? So when I hop in, it looks a little different, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm usually lying there on the ground.
Level 15 as well for Team Bronze. Man, there's going to be some very serious competition into some of these more difficult runs.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see how things shake out because when they start, those runs are going to look very different than the one we just saw. Again, different variables every time.
Lock in with Team Blue as well. We're going to be looking at just the way that these guys might be starting a bit later. That might not be due to just the speed at which you're playing the game. You can spend your time planning on how things are going for this Night Lord all the way towards the very end, right? You can spend your merry days having dinner at that smithing place or just that free bridge right before the Night Lord happens. You can still see the damage we're pumping out here on Blue, and it's absolutely amazing.
This is a pretty cool build from Fighting Cowboy on the Revenant. We talked about how squishy Revenant is and how worried you are about taking a big hit, but it looks like he's grabbed a great shield. I think this is the Bell-Bearing Hunter's great shield. That can be really potent in this fight. It's hard to dodge all the attacks from these split-up beasts. And so this is giving him a bit more flexibility, a bit more staying power to be close and engage on the boss, showing that your builds could be different every run. I mean, I hadn't thought about using a great shield on Revenant, but it seems to be working right now.
It might have good passives. I'm not exactly sure why he's using it. Maybe because he did go down earlier, right?
Yeah.
Defense.
I mean, he's already blocked some powerful attacks with it. Staggers now, though.
Whoa!
Attack.
Holy! That's insane! Never seen that in NIGHTREIGN before. And Gladius is down again. I mean, huge. Team Blue wiping it out. We can go to Team Green, Gray, Violet, whatever we want to go with either. I mean, everyone's starting things at a different time. We'll lock in with Green for now. Their side of Gladius this time is going to be, again, a front line with an Iron Eye all the way in the back.
This team's got a lot of heart. I like this. This is my favorite one to watch.
they are so fun. The engagement is so, like, look at Will Neff. He is so locked in right now, but they're down at level 11, so a little bit like less than where you'd want to be in this run. Still absolutely winnable. But maybe we tap in and see what the comms are like here from Will Neff and the gang on Team Green.
They're on me. They're all on Ba. They're all on Ba.
Yeah, so you can see that red circle kind of shows you who's taking the biggest aggro so far.
It does. So
Yeah,
if you see that red reticle on one of your teammates, that means they have the eye of the enemy.
They gotta run.
Could be a big opportunity for you, depending on your situation.
Oh,
and
no.
Also, it tells that player, run. Yes.
Yeah.
I got 2 on me. He's rejoining. We have to get Myth right now.
Nice, so good strats there, but Gladius
Gotta be
doesn't
careful.
stop. Yeah.
I can't see. All right, he's on me. He's on me. He's on me.
And I mean,
pressure.
they're able to res back into the fight, right? So that's one of the key elements really in these boss fights is the resurrection, getting people
I'm
back.
not
But he's
approaching
out of
these
heals,
guys.
right? So now you got to play this very clean. And this is a healthy Gladius. So this fight is really coming down to the wire. It needs to be very sharp from here on out.
And as you can see, yeah, these can become duels of attrition.
pumping.
They're out of flasks.
Halfway.
Looks like they still got a few consumables.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't know that those boluses are going to help Will out too much. Though.
I don't think right now under pressure he remembers.
But that's the thing, he doesn't realize he's got the warming stone in
Yeah.
this moment of pressure. And like, it's good that you're hitting on this so much, Dan, because I think a lot of people are like me. Oh, never mind.
There comes the warming stone.
The
In
caster
fact,
curse didn't work.
there is a relic that lets you use the boluses to heal yourself as well.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Yeah. That's huge. Now his ult is back up, so can use the iframes from that. Will slowly walk away, get hit a little bit.
So low.
Boys, it's been a
Spam
fucking
rolling.
pleasure.
The ult might come in at some
I'm
point.
going arrow. I'm
There
gonna
we
try
go.
to hit all 3.
Always if he hits all 3, that's huge. Look at the damage. Wow.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Okay.
It was a good shot.
Dude, we love this squad. They're so much fun to watch.
So we're gonna see what
They're all on me.
Maybe we
Nathan
can
Boyd
tap
doing.
into-
Oh my god!
It's okay. It's okay. I'm on it. First dagger. First dagger.
Maybe we can tap back in with Team Green in a sec. Team Gray, it looks like they're about to get their Gladius kill
Come on, baby.
as well.
Come on, baby. Dial.
See how Afro Senju and the group are doing.
Yeah, this is that double executor team, so lots of fun, lots of parries, lots of close range action from this one.
Looks like they got it.
They're in a great spot, still with a few flasks left. And Afro Senju's wasting no time, but a couple big hits going in here. Yeah, let's bring in the audio. Let's listen in here for the final moments of the fight.
Ooh. That Gladius very mobile.
How do I use the item? Okay, I'm using Warming Stone. Do you guys need it?
Yeah, out of HP, sometimes you gotta rely on your
I can't do
team.
anything about that.
Calvin down,
You get it?
Gladius,
Moon?
5% HP, about to split.
Oh!
No, Moon.
All down to 1. Moon has to go for the rest of the dodge
Clutch.
full lunge by any moment now.
And it feels like the res on Baldwin might be too difficult. Maybe better to just go for the kill here on Gladius. Risk reward. Under pressure right now from Afro Senju. He's just sending it on the Gladius.
Let's go! Let's go!
That is what
Nice.
I'm talking about.
Well done.
Oh my
That
gosh.
was well
bro.
played.
That is
Oh my
huge.
gosh. Let's go.
Maybe we can
Oh, I
go
just
back
had my
here
ult too. I
to
had
Team
it all, we
Green
had it
and
all.
see how their fight is rolling. Still a bit of health bar left on Gladius. I mean, Wilnev has been dodging incredibly well here in that engagement. Keeping
God,
the HP
I
up
love that
despite
this one is
lacking
still
flash.
going. I can watch this one all day.
This has been the longest one we've seen so
Oh.
far. Will going down again, but that health bar has been put into work.
Right.
I mean,
So
you
you can
got
see
3
that-
players, but Gladius is matching that heat right now.
It's his 3rd time down, so you see the wheel fills up.
Team Violet,
No!
Team Violet wiping Gladius on 5% HP.
No.
That's so incredibly
That was
close.
the easiest boss.
They're not able to get the win there. Oh.
I'm telling you,
Look,
you
the
have
comeback
to
can
be
done.
careful.
The comeback
Yeah.
can be done, right? That's
Yeah.
only 1 point, so they're not out of it yet. However, it does put them on the back foot, and with some of the impressive runs we've seen so far, that's a blow there to Team Violet.
Listen, I was talking to Saikuno, he just doesn't want to come last. He wants to be top 4, he wants to stay inside the business, so
Fair enough, podium finish.
Yeah,
That's a good
podium
goal.
finish.
Team
Wanna
Green,
go
though,
for it.
looks like we got 2 down on Team Green, and they
No.
defeat 2, so another fail on Gladius. That is a tough one. Team Purple, I believe they're our last competitors, still fighting this round on only level 9. This is going to be a real endurance battle for them.
Yeah, it can totally be done at 9.
yeah, it's
Can
very
be done, but it
true.
certainly doesn't make it easier.
And it's
right?
only the first down for Zentreya, so they still got a shot here.
War of attrition though. If they were like level 12 by now, that damage has been done. Could have been enough to take down Gladius, but they're gonna have to work that extra little bit now.
Yeah, we
Just
talked about
because
this a
they're
little
on a
earlier. When you go down the first time, it's very easy to get you back up.
Yeah.
But you need more and more damage to get them up.
This is a nice perk actually to have when you're under leveled, that when you get low here, I believe Zentreya has the perk where it summons Holy Ground under you to heal you. So it could be really useful in this fight where, you know, they're deceptively having a bit more resources than they might otherwise expect. For now, they're playing it slow. Maybe the Wilder Ultimate could get a stagger on the boss, an opportunity to deal damage, but they were able to get Limo back in the
He's
fight.
blood stepping all over the place.
So stylish.
Nice dodge. The poison proc is going to be crucial if they want to play this as that war of attrition. They want to try to stall it out.
A little bit of lightning damage on this.
They've got poison on him.
Yeah.
That's something.
It's ticking down slowly. Oh, the restage there as well.
Although you're always racing against the clock in the day phases of Night Reign, here in the Night Lords and the Night Bosses, you can play things a little bit slower, but of course, your resources are finite, so that is a risky strategy in its own right.
Yeah,
the trade gets caught.
There's no clock to fight.
Yeah.
Fighting the main bosses.
The bosses are hard enough, all right?
Yeah, exactly.
Please don't make them harder.
3 dogs now all over Doki Bird. Rolling away really well, not taking even a lick of damage. This time, no fireball to stop Zentreya.
Trying to heal up. He's now holy ground, but I mean, when Gladius splits, we've seen some teams that like full kite. Nice roll,
Yeah.
but got caught by the other dog. The flame breath attack.
This one is going to be close.
Yeah, this is going to be a very close one so far. 2 teams still left playing so far. It's purple, or just purple, I guess, who's locking in for this one. The last POV we have. So low right now.
Oh, and they stopped the split just in time.
Nice.
Team purple.
That was clutch.
Yeah,
A little bit of an
very
under-leveled run, but with the skill, they bring it together.
Yeah, amazing so far for, I think, every single team. Wipe or not, memorable moments in that first session of a Night Lord.
That was fantastic to watch. A lot of incredible. Every team was different. Every run was different. Again, all getting to the same place, but very differently.
Yeah, very. Some teams were in the crater, some were not, Jake. It's nuts.
It's a beautiful showcase of the incredible variety in Night Reign, and we are going to play 2 more full runs of Night Reign, so there's going to be a lot more to see, but I hope that was a great introduction to start getting people in. I mean, and the fact that a couple teams fell to Gladius, I'm not super shocked. It's still a stiff challenge even for people with experience.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Believe me, I've died to Gladius a lot.
same. Guilty as charged. At the same time, too, right? It's not a short forward thing. You can be level 12, you can be down to 5% HP. You have to be locked in these Night Lords. That being said, it's not just the Night Lord that we want to focus on. We're talking about the day cycle, the night cycle. We have some replays overall for the entire first session we saw across the whole board of 8 teams. I want to tap right in and look at it. Team 10, we saw one of the best shows so far, right? They were the first ones to finish. Looks so good on Aggie's side. They were nuts.
I think the composition here, again, I haven't seen that, 2 Iron Eyes and a Duchess.
Yeah.
So absolutely no tankiness, no sustainability at all, just all damage. This is
Perfect rolling, baby. Just perfect rolling.
This is glass cannon mastery right here, and you can really see the Duchess's restage being used to facilitate that Iron Eye DPS.
Yeah. It's melting in a microwave, but that microwave's like inside the sun.
The fact that they went here in this boss fight for the Tree Sentinel first really shows your strength. We see most teams try to play this one a little slower, clear the cavalryman first, and maybe kite the Sentinel around, but they were just full confidence. The arrow riposte there also pretty sick.
Yeah, they weren't even using their ultimates on these night bosses.
They didn't
were
need to.
Yeah, it's crazy.
The sustained damage they have is absurd. As long as your Duchess can backstep in this and get out of the way, you're set, apparently.
Absolutely. I mean, that's just Team 10's run kind of from start to finish. Started out doing things. Aggie even knows about the speed as well. Team Cyan as well. Now, we looked at what things look like when you have a lot of bows in the business. When you got some magic rolling in as well, there's a lot of speed there too, Dan.
Some amazing Recluse play here.
Yeah.
And again, while I stress that the Recluse is a pretty high skill cap character and takes some getting used to, look what you can do with it. I mean, this speaks for itself. When you can chunk a magma worm like that, that's incredible.
Yeah, and her ult lets the entire team sustain. We got a Raider close by as well, and of course, Jake.
That queen didn't even have a chance to live.
That is ridiculous, that amount of nuking on the health bar. And then especially in the AoE fights, where some of these spellcasting become especially powerful. And I mean, he's just standing and delivering.
Look at his HP bar.
Who is the boss here? I don't think it's not the Teresa.
Oh my God!
We were the villains all along, like straight up. This is that story. I mean, even when the dogs are split up by 3, your spells are hitting multiple dogs, doing all the damage. That dog's trying to sleep. He's a peaceful boy.
He needs a nap.
He needs a big nap after that
They're going down for one real quick with Team Cyan on the case.
Yeah.
Level 15, I mean, dude, it's crazy how much these teams have improved, how much of like a skill growth there is. For them to be level 15, I mean, I had only ever seen that like once before in all the runs I've seen. And the fact that they got it here off the rip in the first run of the competition says to me that this is a super serious contender for the title, a team that very well could fell all 3 Night Lords today.
Absolutely. They got 2 more left in the docket. Team Bronze as well, doing quick work on everything that's on the board. One of the few teams to actually end up running Executor as well, and they did it kind of in silence, like, right? I like it when Executor kind of looks like just all the other characters as well, kind of in its own lane, doing the parries, not getting in too much trouble. That beast pops out, goes crazy. It means you're doing your job super, super well.
No! Guys, I got kicked.
Kicked off the top 2 though, but this is one of the things
I love that.
actually
It's a good thing
yeah.
to showcase here.
Yeah.
If you played those Goblin Jerry Knights before, you can use that mantling system to attack their vulnerable critical spot. Great showcase here from Team Bronze, and they were also able to chunk through the
GG,
Fell Omen
high
as well.
Good job.
Very nice from Loyalty there. And yeah, we got up against Gladius as well. Quick work there too. I mean,
Let's
just
go!
huge from Team Bronze. Over at Grey, they started things off different, up inside the castle, going for that golem, or I guess one of the fortresses going for the golem. And then after the fact, also just ended up playing, I think, one of the most unique styles we saw so far, double Executor dead. It's
Yeah,
nice.
I'm really interested to see if they're going to stick with the team comps for the rest of this. I know everyone's playing to win, so maybe they will, but really interesting class diversity on this initial showing.
I don't know what's the strongest, but I'm trying to use the Executor role, man. That is too sick. Turning into like a full-on Elden Ring boss.
You literally go beast mode.
It's so cool. Like, honestly, just for the swag factor alone, I've got to be an Executor main when this game drops.
Yeah, when it comes to the items they use as well, like so many dex weapons, multiple katanas, twin blades, lots of bleed.
Bleed weapons. And who
Yeah.
doesn't like bleed weapons? Come on.
Love.
Dude, you can see what it means to these players to compete here.
W! What are you talking about? I do it in my sleep, chat! I do it in my sleep, chat!
I love it. I love it, guys.
I can't wait for Apprehension to wake up, man. That's gonna be crazy. If that's him sleeping, that's gonna be wild. Violent locking in as well. I mean, the big thing for this team was being careful going into things, right? You have a Revenant, you have an Iron Eye. That's where you're getting really close, nitty-gritty, uncomfortable with some of these bosses.
And
You know,
losing some lives here in the day phase, dropping some levels, starts to really get costly, right? You start to fall behind in levels. That Night Lord fight starts to drag on. You run low on resources, showing how those day phases, playing it clean, playing it smart, working together with your team and having good strategy really does play into that Night Lord fight.
Yeah, this is how the Night Lord fight started. Was looking really good for the team. They're doing a good job dodging. At the same time, every hit you take, right, that's one flask down. And the more you go down like Garek over here, the harder it is to pick you back up. You're out of kind of resources. Even at the last moment, that was rated his first down, and unfortunately.
I swear,
That's just heartbreaking,
it's always
that
the
one.
low HP boss.
Always.
That gets you, right? You just want to get in for that one extra hit.
We might be able to just. Oh, I probably shouldn't have tried to revive.
Yeah.
Not always
though.
the right call.
Yeah.
But usually.
Team Heart up in the business, I guess, for us is what we want to maybe change the name to.
Dude, I love watching them. I love watching these guys play. It's fantastic. Like, I'm rooting for them.
Yeah, honestly, and they were one of the ones who were also there trying their best to take down Gladius. Day 1, day 2. This is kind of what your POV might look like, right? You're looking at exploring the map, taking in the sights as well, being very explorative and really trying to see what's there for you.
They are just zooming through and just, again, your first few play
Down the
sessions
air!
probably won't look like this.
No! Can someone? He is absolutely clapping my balls.
Yeah, we saw that with the Gargoyle. They got the revenge though.
Look, the gargoyles do not play, guys. If
They do
there's
not.
one thing I have learned from playing Elden Ring Night Reign is that you better, if you swing at the gargoyle, you best not miss.
If you fight the gargoyles, I think we'll put it best.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, we can't add more to that. We can't add more to that. Just leave it as it stands.
and this is their Gladius run as well. Yeah.
Oh.
Sadness, despair.
Highs and lows, man. The game is challenging.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't hide that fact. It's one of the signature aspects of the series. Team Blue, we're able to check out some of their replays. Took on the Godskin duo and the Bellberg Hunter. They were
I
like,
said nah.
maybe not, guys. This is a lot.
Yeah, they skipped over. This is kind of like what we saw, and we're teasing at the start of the stream here, Dan, the Revenant gameplay, right? This is what everyone wanted to see.
Love to see the Revenant in action. Hopefully we get to see some more Sebastian.
Yeah.
I want to see Sebastian do his thing. I don't think we got to see it yet, but it'll happen.
Absolutely. They also can show you the highs and lows of Revenant gameplay. You'll notice a lot of the times, even if you tune in with Cowboys comms, when he goes down, there's not really a gasp or a surprise. These Revenant players are so used to like one misstep, I'm knocked, it's okay.
It's very
part of the
calculated.
play.
You know,
Yeah.
if you're playing the Revenant, you already know that if you don't want to get hit.
Yeah. So it's not a big deal if that does happen 1 or 2 times. Your team gets you back up, and yeah, a great shield Revenant, Jake. Haven't seen that before, but
I mean, that's the thing about Night Reign. Every single run I see, there's something new, there's something different that we haven't experienced before. And there's always going to be that challenge in every run. You're always going to have to follow, what you find, what kind of item do you get, that legendary weapon that you try to build towards. Do you get some passive that you try to say, okay, that's going to be the core of my build. Maybe it's consumable items that you want to play for if you've got the relics to buff those up. So there's really so many ways to play in any given run of Night Reign. I'm confident we're still going to see new builds from every team, every single run from here on out.
Absolutely. Talking about those builds as well, right? What does this all lead kind of up to? It's the score overall. We went over it in the beginning.
Look,
every Night Lord.
The teams want those trophies. Man.
Yeah, they want the
those
trophies.
are pretty cool.
Each Night Lord has a certain amount of points. For Gladius, it's 1 point in total. So far, every team has cleared Gladius except for Team Green, which is Will Neff, and Team Violet, which is Team Saikuno. So everyone else has a point on the board. The others have 0. But at the same time, Jake, that's not the end of the world, right?
There's 5 more points left.
There's 5 more points.
So the points are going to increase through the run. So our next run, taking on Libra, is going to be worth 2 points if you're able to fell that Night Lord. So you could very well come back. There's still a chance for other teams to slip up. But I think it's fair to say some of our top dogs look pretty locked in and look like they might be able to just take this all the way.
Yeah, that was the top dog we looked at in the game as well, Gladius. Let's look at the top merchant in the game now. Libra, Dan, is nuts as a Night Lord.
So Libra is going to represent a much more significant challenge than Gladius did. Libra is actually one of my favorite and most interesting bosses, I think, in the entire From Software catalog.
Wow.
Because he plays Let's Make a Deal. And the player can choose to take the deal or not. He's going to offer you substantial power. But that power comes with a very serious price.
Yeah.
And not only that, but his fight mechanics are much more complicated than Run Away from 3 Dogs.
Yeah, that's very true.
So I think even some of the best teams here might be tempted by his choices because he literally offers you some really interesting
Could be
choices.
a powerful boon, right? It could save your run.
You have to make choices. It's like roguelikes are full of choices, right? So now you have to make even more choices before you even fight the boss. Will they take the power, and how will that play out? I am very interested to see how that happens.
It's going to go absolutely insane, Jake. The big thing for Libra as well that, I think me and you have had an experience watching this over at PAX, playing with some of these creators as well. It's the one boss in the game where at any time, just like we saw with Team Violet, you could lose. Like one mistake against this boss is a wipe across the team.
It has some very powerful team wiping mechanics, and even a team in a run that's going amazing, fantastic, like you're super leveled up, you're pumping damage, you could be in trouble. So you've got to be locked in. And like every run of Night Reign, right, it all starts from level 1. So you come in, maybe they've got a few relics they can bring into this next run that maybe give them a bit of an edge, start the farming a little bit on a faster pace, but they still got to grind and try to hit those upper levels.
Yeah, for Gladius, we saw people going for, like, I believe it was holy weapons, and that does a lot of damage. For Libra, Dan, what are some of the weaknesses we look at?
You're going to want madness.
Madness, okay.
So it's very,
kind of a rare effect, right?
It
You
is.
might have to dig deep to find that, or maybe you won't in the run.
You don't need it. Again, we talk about these weaknesses. You don't need it, but it really helps.
Yeah, I mean, let's tap in once again. We're looking at the Night Hunt round number 2, kind of a third ways, almost halfway through that competition. Gonna be very exciting to see how these teams break it down. Now we've seen some experience. Some of these teams were, really, really well-versed, really veterans of Night Reign already, been playing for about a week, know what's going down. Some of these other less experienced teams kind of have a feel now of how the day cycle looks, how the night cycle looks. They'll be switching up their compositions for Libra as well. Dan, one of the coolest things about this game is that you get to choose your Night Lord first and prep for that Night Lord, right? If I'm fighting something that flies, maybe I want some Iron Eyes. If I'm fighting Libra, maybe I want stuff that's up close and personal, some big boom ultimates.
Right, one of the things you will know for sure which Night Lord you're going against.
Yeah.
That's one of the only absolutes that you'll know when you start a run.
And look at the changes right now for Team Blue, right? Instead of a Revenant, now we have Iron Eye, we have the Raider, we have the Wilder. One thing, Jake, that all these 3 have in common, a big ultimate that staggers the boss.
Yeah, it could be really useful at some key phases, which we'll talk more about once we get into Libra. Team Tan sticking with their guns here. That looks like a double Iron Eye with the Duchess. Still amazing for incredible DPS. I mean, both the Iron Eyes have some powerful staggers, and then the Duchess has been so far fantastic. I mean, the fact that Starro Chris has been able to hold that aggro on Duchess and just rely on dodging rather than inherent tankiness speaks to the skill of Team Tan.
Absolutely. I love seeing the Duchess work. It's one of my favorites.
Team Green looks like Will Neff is going to head over on the Iron Eye as well. See if the Guardian and Duchess on his squad are able to hold that front line down, allow him to have space and time to deal damage as everyone's run is just getting started. We'll tap in with all the teams as they get into that cycle.
We'll tap in with some of the other teams as well. Look at how their prep is going on that day number 1. Bronze, gray, purple in tow as well. All these teams have a point on the board too, so they're looking at maybe trying to take home those replica items, that shield, the sword, the buckler, to place behind them, or to use them as, letter openers, door stops, whatever you want to do. Night Lord fellers as well. If there are some that appear in real life, we have to go back to these creators and tell them to get busy.
Team Gray looks like they're going to be challenging an early fortress. So see if they're able to fight some tougher enemies. Looks like there's an abductor virgin here at the base of the castle, one that they could clear for some loot, but this is kind of a scary fight here at level 2.
Yeah, I think one of the most feared like bosses aesthetically.
Instant stagger? Okay, maybe not.
But yeah, one of the quickest one to get down as well. We go over to Team Purple. They're looking at going through one of these fortresses as well from the bottom all the way to the top instead of starting inside the middle.
Yeah, and there's different enemies down here to face each time. It's going to depend on what you end up rolling, which points of interest you decide to visit. And we've seen some teams actually even choose to just walk by some of the weaker enemies and just go straight for the boss rush, which can pay huge dividends, can really get you into a massive spot in terms of level ups. However, it can be risky. Team Cyan already opening an Everjail, so off to a very hot start.
This is one of the most, I would say, inhibiting in terms of time. Things you can get out of the Everjail. At the same time, these guys are making quick work of it.
They don't care.
It's like an ever-ending army, and there's so many of them, and they're just breezing through.
You got to put some respect on Team Cyan right now. I'm not sure what's going to really be the test for this team.
I'm not sure there is a test out there for Team Cyan. I really don't know.
Well, here's my thing, right? If you have Recluse, that's one less ultimate to maybe face the Night Lord with. And again, we're going to go into it a bit deeper, but the bigger boom ultimates you have, the better chance you have against Libra. So that's the only place I see.
I mean, getting a stagger on Libra is really nice because he's going to keep the pressure on.
But again,
a lot more pressure than Gladius, and we'll see that.
Yeah. We keep rolling through, though.
We can maybe head over to Team Violet right now. It looks like, we can see them as they follow this Mausoleum Knight head coming down into the basement. And I mean, whoa, okay, wait, hold on. He's gone.
Yeah, so the Mausoleum basement kind of guys are pretty good for level 2. You know, it's kind of like in your flow. It's a pretty traditional starter, if you will.
Yeah, like just after that first camp, you can take on one of those weaker mini bosses at a relatively smaller point of interest, one that fits the level you're at in this moment.
Let's take a look at Team 10 now, who show us one of the mob/mini bosses in Elden Ring. Some people had a lot of trouble with in this game.
A favorite.
It's a favorite. It's going to be buffed up a little bit too to take on 3 people in total. Crucible Knight.
I mean, I feel like this is another team that is, look at those arrows sticking out of the Crucible Knight. He's getting absolutely farmed. Beautiful dodge by Aggie.
And you'll notice they have both Rot and Poison on him. Again, you can see the debuffs on the health bar. And this is like 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
This is a crazy spot to be able to see the choice here.
I mean, they got to do some
20,000 runes is pretty serious, especially this early. I mean, Aggie's level 5. This early, is a great snowball effect. We could see Team Tan take on some stiffer challenges, more quickly because of that early power spike that they got off the Everjail.
I am super impressed with this team comp. I don't know if I'd ever have the brass to run it myself because it's, but God, I love it.
And honestly, tell me what comes out of those scarabs though. We didn't see Aggie looting.
We haven't. We have not talked about those. So those scarabs are really important. If you see them when you're walking around the map, those are what the talismans drop from. So you have 2 talisman slots, great passive effects there, tons of HP, all kinds of different effects can spawn in those, kind of like rings in the other games. So yeah, you definitely want to get talismans.
This is also a good moment for Aggie to show off the traversal system, something necessary. Oh, well, looks like we're gonna head over Team Blue. Okay, they're gonna be taking on the Night Huntsman.
And not for long.
And it looks like, this is one of those invaders.
This is, so they found an invader camp, which is gonna have great loot from the appropriate classes. So they just beat an Iron Eye, so he's going to drop Iron Eye-oriented loot.
Yeah, this is actually, I believe, one of the remembrances that's also inside the game. So Team Blue doing the Iron Eye remembrance, where there's a story for every single character that's inside the game, which is really, really cool. So you set that objective as you go in. I think one person gets to do their mission as each match goes on. And in this one, Iron Eye is kind of investigating a thing that's going on with their story. So
that's right. We haven't talked about any of the story components here today, but that is how it works. So there is a lot of story to unravel doing the remembrance quests.
And they're going to do it while you play. That's the crazy
thing. When you're just watching these guys melt bosses, you don't see it. But there is a whole story component campaign for every character.
Yeah.
So if I was playing solo and I'm like, I want to try and get the entire Iron Eye story quest, can I still do that if I'm just queuing up with randoms?
Yeah, absolutely.
You can do it with randoms, you can do it with your friends, or you can even do it solo if you want. You don't even, for the story content, you don't have to beat the entire run. You just have to go and do the thing. So you can actually do the remembrance content without clearing. So you don't have to beat Gladius or anything. You don't have to rely on that. You can still, for folks that want to focus on the story. Depending on the story quest, you won't have to beat a boss.
That can also give you permanent progression inside the game when it comes to certain relics. There's crazy stuff. You will get rewarded for doing these remembrances, which is really, really cool. Past that too, so looking at some of these other teams that might have some active as well, they end up giving you runes as well. So you're not even inhibited for doing these side quests almost inside the game. You get rewarded pretty heavily for going through for these detours. Look at Team Bronze real quick, who are taking on the castle. The first day we saw this castle, there were a bunch of Crucible Knights inside. Now, that does not look like a Crucible Knight unless it was doing its drinking milk and push-up challenge overnight.
He's been bulking. The Crucible Knights got big.
So yeah, they got the Troll Castle, which can be one of the more challenging ones depending on your group because the trolls kind of like cover each other by throwing pots, and they're very dangerous, and it can lead to a cycle of, oh, I got hit by a pot, I'm down, and now I'm going to try to get res, but also I got hit by a pot, so I'm down. It can lead to nastiness, but they are very lucrative if you can handle them.
Yeah, you know, being able to clear this castle early was part of the success for Team Bronze, but they're only level 2, so like this is pretty risky for them to go this early. You know, if you start to lose levels now, the run could really be in jeopardy. By the same token, you could also start the snowball rolling, and so far so good for Team Bronze, led by Duality.
Yeah, they have 2 Wilders, so they have a lot of survivability. Remember, don't count that cheat death move out because that triggers every time they hit a Site of Grace. So they basically get a free life every single fight they're doing. So that really adds up, and it can let those Wilders play very aggressively, even in the face of having pots thrown at them.
The big risk with the castle, though, right? Because Jake, I see what you're saying, is that there is no grace in here. There's not an official boss health bar. So because of that, you might get boons like from these trolls. You might get, an option to get a new weapon. You only ever get that Site of Grace if you beat a boss health bar on your screen. So they're going to be locked into level 2 this entire time. When they do hit a Grace, look at the rune count, 68k on the top right of Duality's screen. They will jump up to level 7 or 8, finishing this castle when they do find a Grace. But they have to operate all the way on level 2, facing like level 6 mobs.
Yeah, and they could just jump off the castle and find a Site of Grace out there and come back.
But it's the min-maxing, right?
It is.
Okay, the longer you stay on
really
2, whoa, this is what you were talking about.
Got that purple fog here. What does that signify, Dan? Like, what are we expecting them to come upon here?
Purple fog.
Ooh, I think this is a sentient pest.
Yes, it is. So we missed the first part of this, but essentially, this character came in and started stealing the levels. This is actually a boss from a different level.
Not a Night Lord from a different
level. A Night Lord from a different level, but not in its full form.
Yeah, I see.
This is a very abridged version of that encounter. So basically, this is kind of just, he sent out the Locust to steal their levels. And if you're able to find this guy, which they did, you're going to get a very, very, very amazing perk, which you'll see here in a second.
I've never seen this before myself.
It's very good. It's very, very good.
Maybe we mini-mapped over it for a second. Attacks obtain a great amount of runes from enemies on rare occasions.
And they got this early. They got this early, so this could really scale the run. Like they could be hitting a very high level.
They're going to get 15 this run.
Okay, doing that on day 1 is
very powerful. However, again, we didn't see the first part, so they were threatened.
They could have
So there were locusts that were going to steal their levels if they didn't find and hunt down that pest.
Okay, so this is kind of a payoff to anyone who watched the Elden Ring Night Reign PAX experience. There were locusts taking away so many levels from all our teams. It was that sentient pest the entire time, and now, a month or just a few weeks later, we finally see that pest go down. So Night Lords can appear inside multiple games as well. Yeah,
they're going to appear differently than they would in their own map. So obviously, sentient pest they killed that very easily. Sentient pest represents a much greater challenge than what you just saw there.
Yeah,
but when they kind of invade. They're a lesser form that does different things to try to like
interesting,
hinder your team's progress.
Maybe
love that.
Let's join in here with Team Green, who's taking on the castle themselves. Maybe we can even get the listen in, see how Team Green's doing. I mean, there's a chance they could even go for the rooftop here.
Yeah,
level 6 is possible, but it would be a very big risk.
I think it would be aggressive.
Oh, this has got to be the guy.
That is a guy.
This is the guy.
Okay, so I see what they're actually going for here. They're trying to find that big health bar to see what's up. So this is one of the guys, but the guy's on the very, very low.
Right, he's not the roof boss.
Yeah.
This is a boss though, like a mini boss. Like I said, the castle's full of mid bosses. There were tons of runes.
They don't even know what they're in for yet. They're going to be coming across so many Crucible Knights trying to find this big boss.
Shield if you need it. Oh, there we go.
The jar cannon. I wonder if he's going to take the jar cannon.
He better not.
Do you need a purple shield?
Wait, that's a pretty great shield though, right? You have like a walking build?
Yeah, and this is the big thing, right? So he picks up that shield and he's going to give it over to his teammate who can actually use it better. So all the rewards you get.
It's great for Guardian, right?
Yeah.
You can, especially if you're playing with friends, you can pass the loot. And that's the advantage. We talked about some of these powerful builds where you're like specializing, you have multiple Iron Eyes. But there's a bit of a strategic edge, I think, to teams that have diversity because you can always give that loot to somebody who can use it, whether it's a spellcasting seal or a powerful great shield. Different characters might use it more effectively.
Yeah.
This is going really well. This is a really nice, clean castle clear here.
A lot of runes from these.
Now, they haven't gone for the guy. I hope they don't go for the guy on top.
Yeah,
that could change the tone of this run very quickly.
Yeah, we could see it, but I wonder if they'll even be aware of it, right? Like that's the thing. When I started playing, there's so many different bosses in the
The
world.
castle is actually quite large.
Yeah.
There's basically an underground, a mid, and a roof, and there's little secrets to find in all of those areas.
The speed at which you do it, it's a big thing, and depending on the enemy, that also changes, right? The way the
Marked.
other team was handling the trolls, they were only focused on the midsection.
Right.
And now you look at all of these teams, some of them are not even at the castle.
Yeah,
anymore,
depending
right?
on your run, if you want to do the castle, you can be like, okay, let's do castle bottom.
Yeah.
You're just going to do that, right? It's up to the run, how much time you have, what you want to do, and what other opportunities are out there.
Is that a draconic tree sentinel on Team Tan's POV?
we gotta
They're
watch
fighting
that.
outside the storm. They're kind of min-maxing this one and maybe get
this
some
is
damage
ridiculous.
on.
That's so
This is
risky.
ridiculous.
Oh, they're actually pulling him
Maybe they can-
outside
They are,
from
they're
the
trying-
storm. Yeah, they're trying to pull him in.
You can only pull them so far, though.
Yeah,
They're committing ultimates to this
a lot
one.
Of HP. I don't know if this is going to pay off for Team 10. They are level 9, so all right, maybe.
Right, again,
and they have that
they
perk.
pulled
so,
that. They pulled that perk, so even just every attack is a good thing to do.
Yeah, you have that roll to like gain runes, and I mean they're kind of pulling him now. It looks like there's the zone. No, the zone's still coming though, so it's
still coming.
pretty
We'll see what
scary.
happens.
They're prodding him in. They're kind of just guiding him over. And there's that rune acquisition.
Yeah, you see that? Yep.
That's 15K? You're doubling your runes?
It's a lot, man. It doesn't double, but it gives you a lot.
Yeah.
It
I
gives
mean,
you
they
a
had
lot.
15, so I was like, okay, that's more than double than what they had. That's,
You got
And
10K.
I know.
Oh, all right.
I'm
I
telling
need
you.
this perk, man.
Believe
I need
me,
this
you
perk.
didn't get to see what they went through for the again.
That's true.
When that pest shows up, it's very stressful. You have to find him.
Yeah,
If
you
you
have to
don't,
search.
he's gonna take your levels instead of give you levels.
Nice.
Can I find this in real life to get like free money if just attacking? Not people, I guess. That's crazy, man. With Iron Eye 2, you're attacking so much and you're on always
He's
active,
dipping.
right?
He's
Like,
dipping. He won't be pulled. He won't be pulled into
You
the
know
fog.
what? This is the craziest thing about this is because they had that buff.
It's worth it.
That was still an efficient use of time, even
Yeah.
if they never kill that guy.
Yeah.
I think he's worth less if they even killed him. I'm not gonna lie.
And speaking of consumables, Aggie even has the golden foul foot, so he could pop that when they take down this first night boss. But as they get to this closing circle, it seems like all our teams are starting to get towards taking on this night boss. Some of these ads start to spawn. Oh my god, this enemy.
Yeah, I want to tap in with Team Gray right now. Again, we saw a lot of long-range gameplay, lots of spell casting too, but looking at a gameplay of the Executor once again, up in the business, it's still double Executor, Iron Eye, and this is one way you can play Executor. Not use your main ability, go straight for dex weapons, thwack, 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 kind of like
You
a
can.
Raider Executor hybrid.
There's a lot of different ways to play every character.
Yeah.
Obviously, they have those tools, right?
Yep.
Sometimes you just want to be a giant wolf thing.
Let's see the boss. It's the Royal Revenant now. This is actually, I think, a good matchup here for Executor, going for the parries and switching into the ultimate form and just
Yeah.
start bringing the damage here on the Royal Revenant.
You can see how big your health bar gets when you go into beast mode.
God, it's huge.
so
can
can you
take a
still
lot more
heal with
punishment.
flasks in this mode?
I don't think so.
No, this is like an all-in thing, so you have to be
Yeah.
very careful as to what's going on.
Ah, okay.
Now, they'll fight the Revenant. I want to go over to Team Blue really quickly, show you a different POV of a different boss that can spawn in. It's
Yeah.
the Duke's Deer Freya.
Well, who doesn't love this one? It's,
And all the spider ads.
a returning boss from Dark Souls 2. This one, just as nasty. And
Yeah.
again, in this fight, if you've got a Revenant, those spiders come into play because you can actually take them over.
Yeah, it's
So
insane.
his little friends actually turn against him.
So talk to me about some of the movesets from a boss like this that comes from Dark Souls 2. You know, now that this is, of course, a game that's been built for that three-player
Yes,
multiplayer
absolutely.
experience, what's different about this fight?
About this fight, I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't know if I remember all these abilities. I think some of the other bosses that we're going to see today, yeah, they do have. They've been a lot of the classic bosses that you might remember from Elden Ring, or they have new kits.
Yeah. One cool thing about Freya is that both heads are attacking all the time, and at one point, if you do too much damage to one side, you're forced to just interact with the other.
Right.
And then- yeah.
That'll generally happen over the natural course of the fight near the end.
Yeah.
One of the
Let's go
heads
to
will
Team
down.
Purple. Looks like they've got a
Ooh.
pretty interesting boss of their own spawning in here on this night.
And
It's going to be the Centipede
And
Demon.
So another Dark Souls classic. This one's from Dark Souls 1.
And yeah, this boss as well, as you fight it, deal damage to certain parts of it, they start to fall down and become mobs of their own, which is crazy as a mechanic when it comes to the Centipede Demon.
Looks
Lots
like
of fire
Zentreya has
damage,
like a poison katana here, so able to do some of that tick damage, really potent against some of these bigger health bar bosses.
Yeah,
There it is.
we'll be able to tell with the poison sticks. Centipede Demon doesn't seem to like it.
Yeah. And I mean, level 6 though is a little bit low for this phase of the
releasing that
run,
poison mist.
but they could definitely bring it back here.
You know, honestly, I don't know about level 6. If you're level 6 at the end of day 1, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, we're holding everybody
That's
to
true.
a really high
Like,
standard
we've
here.
We're
like
holding
seeing
up
these
perfect
level
standards.
15s acting like level 15 is normal. I say
Yeah.
it's not normal.
It is not. It is not at all. Level 6 into day 1 is actually pretty pretty good, pretty decent.
Yeah, and looks like Centipede Demon going down. Without much of a fight. Great work from Team Purple. Still in this one. Maybe we can join over with some of our teams here who have started that second day. Seems like everybody has cleared that first night boss. Maybe we can go to Team Bronze, who is up at the top of that castle.
Bell bearing Hunter into. I call this man the aura farmer. Look
at him.
Slow walking.
He's walking.
Taking so many arrows to the chest.
Oh.
And he's got some really, you know, his moveset, it can be kind of, you know, he's got that back,
tanky.
shield drop. Yeah, you never know where it's coming. Yeah, he is. He's the castle boss. So yeah. Oh,
And there it is.
Wow.
So you might say, wow, that boss moves so slowly. I could dodge anything. Boom, you're done. 5-frame sword telekinetic hit from medium range. Good luck with that one.
And they got kind of greedy here. Gino Magino wasn't here in the fight. Duality needs to get rest.
One
It's up in
second.
this one hit. Oh, no, just a second too late.
It's all good, but now see that, you know, the death isn't that significant, but now it commits them because
Yeah,
now
they
they're
need
back
to get
there.
those
They gotta
runes.
go, yeah,
They got
exactly.
to, you know, finish what they've started. And they are actually in a pretty great spot, like level-wise, right? They're down a level, but still level 8, right? So
Yeah, they're
definitely
they're in good position.
run over. Duality's also good. This is great, I think, for fans to be able to see. Okay, how do you get to the top? How do you take on? You know, you found the castle. Duality's going to show you.
Yeah, they're making
exactly
it
how
look
to
easy
get
today,
there.
but you're going to want to explore, take some time
Oh,
to explore.
wow.
What is this?
Yeah.
I've never
Dude,
gone this way.
There are routes.
What?
Yeah,
This is the
there's-
tech. This is that tech for the fans.
That's nuts.
Like I said, the castle's got all kinds of different ways to play it.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so you get up this way. Everything's looking good, just the way that we saw Gino get up.
Yeah, looks like we've recovered here.
Yeah,
This
so you're able
fight-
to grab some of the runes back, continue this fight. Bellbearing Hunter half HP.
He's got a lot of health. He's the
The castle bosses are buff, right?
he
They're like
became
stronger.
the lord of the castle for a reason. He's a big guy.
Let's tap over to Team Blue while these guys finish off what's happening with the Hunter. They're facing the Gargoyle.
Oh, so they got the crater again, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Ooh, and he
Level
hits hard.
12 is amazing as well, though. So Team Blue in great tag.
What in the world?
Yeah, like these runs are. we're like, oh, this will be a challenge for them, and then oh, look at that damage on the gargoyle. What?
I mean,
Welcome to
listen,
Raider.
If you're level 12, I
Yeah.
can't let you say go ahead and take on the gargoyle. If you're 12, I mean, come on.
Oh, so much in terms of options.
Like for context, runs end at 12 sometimes. These guys are way ahead.
Being 12 on the boss, you're like feeling okay. You know, you're feeling. I wonder though if they want to invest the time to go down into that crater. Looks like Team Cyan. There's a sentient pest somewhere. It looks like Distortion just lost the level to one of those locusts.
Oh, okay.
But-
So now they have to find it. If
Yeah,
the
let's-
pest is active.
Let's see how they navigate it. I think they are just searching right now
So
for the
basically, how
pest.
you do this, you have to watch. You should basically just chill out and watch the locust fly, and then follow them.
Ah, okay. This is all right. These are the real pro tips for fans jumping on day one.
Absolutely, this is critical.
That's why we got Danny here to actually help you
This
guys
is
out.
absolutely critical. See that they just spawned over there. They pop. But if you're in a fight, you might not see them.
Yeah.
You have time. You have time to like basically try to get out of combat, look where the locusts are going, and beeline that direction.
Yeah, so he's tracking them down, trying to get that sentient pest. They're aware, of course, that powerful buff they can earn from it. Seems like maybe Lobos Jr. and
They might already be on
found
it. In
something
fact,
here.
one way, you know, I found this after doing many. If
Oh, I see what you mean with the flying locust right there. Yeah.
One person is all you actually need to go kill him because he's not
not that strong. He
the
just
sentient
hides
pest-
away.
Yeah, it's basically just he's an evil, like sort
Evil
of
little guy.
disruptor. Yeah,
It's truly a pest.
exactly.
Let's see, maybe Lobos Jr. or Spicy are able to track this one down. But I mean, this is a big time investment, right? It might be a powerful perk, but it's one that takes time to pay off, right? You need
This
to get
one,
those attacks in.
you know, a lot of the times you're making decisions about whether or not you're going to go engage with something that spawns or
Yeah.
something that happens. This one you pretty much always want to.
Because it's so
Because
powerful.
either it's going to take your levels or give you a ton of levels. So you really don't have much choice.
Yeah, it's such a big area, right, where these locusts can attack.
Right.
So
Sometimes
you know.
it's clear across the map. So it's a lot of commitment. But trust me, it's always better to go for it. The pest is not very difficult in this.
Yeah, in this
Again,
format.
the pest boss is very different than
We'll
what
see
you
about
see
the
here.
Night Lord. Night Lord pest, we won't. You have to see for
pest,
yourself, guys.
Very different than this. This is more of the disruptor pest.
And I mean, we get to see some of the build coming online here for Team Cyan. They had such insane builds in that last run. Continuing to run it back here with the Recluse. Level being absorbed here. Do you get those levels that were absorbed back when you take down the pest?
Oh, it's a good question. I'm not sure that in this build whether they're coming back or not. Regardless, though, the perk's going to get you some levels.
I mean, oh wow, they have insane runes, so they
Right.
must have gotten that. I mean, 169,000 runes is
That's a lot of
ridiculous
runes.
for Distortion.
With this
so.
team, I have no idea. They might have been sitting on it.
Yeah. All right, let's head over now to Team Tan. It looks like they're going to be taking on a boss here on the roof of the castle. It's going to be the Ancestor Spirit. already
Oh, wow.
getting staggers. And I mean, wow, this group
Again,
boss fight is going a lot better for
This
Team
is
Tan.
the ultimate damage team.
Whoa, that black rock was massive.
And I love to see that the Duchess is wandering around with a rot axe. I mean,
Yeah.
I love it. No daggers here.
Improve range weapon attacks. That's, I mean, the dream passive for Iron Eye. Exactly the kind of loot that you want to find from taking on a tough challenge here, like the castle boss. Level 13 is amazing, and you still, you know, one of the
And there's still time.
Exactly. One of the things I like to judge as I'm playing through a run of Night Raid is I'm just looking at the sky and seeing, you know, how dark is it? How much time do we have to work with? Zentreya down on level 8, and this Magma Worm is hitting, man. Already down Stokey Bird. Limu is low. Scary fight. They might need to back out of this one.
I mean, yeah, we saw some Magma Worms get absolutely bodied in the last run, but these are no joke, man. They have tons of health, and they can hit really hard.
If anything, this goes to show how impressive some of those earlier runs were, that they were able to chunk through an enemy as powerful as the Magma Worm. And I actually like this decision from Team Purple. We've seen that you can beat the Night Lord from a relatively lower level. You don't need to be level 14, 15, but if you start dropping down even lower, you go down to like 5, 6, you lose levels in the earlier run, then things are going to get really difficult.
It can make it nastier, and you'll be forced into taking a bargain with Libra too. You might be tempted to take those bonus levels if you.
Yeah,
offer them to you.
those as you mentioned, those bargains with Libra are, yeah, there's two sides to that sword.
Which we're definitely going to see.
See if we can tap in here with Team Green as they're trying to also search for that sentient pest. It looks like seeing what they can find. Searching on the map.
Look. Oh yeah, they
Is
were
there
going to fight.
dragon
Yes, it
too?
could be disruptive.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You could be caught in a boss
can.
fight and at the same time be having to deal with it. Will Nath looking like he's trying to track down those locusts.
He definitely wants to, because if you let this one get away from you,
You're going to be regretting
it's
it.
not going to be good.
Oh, and it seems like
Yeah, I think it's gone.
maybe it despawned from outside the edge of the ring.
Eventually, it does despawn.
Yeah,
So,
you're always in that race against time. Do they have time to take on this dragon? That's also a pretty risky fight with the circle closing in. I don't hate the idea of run past it. You know, I think this is something that probably a lot of people are going to learn the hard way when you jump into Night Raid.
you have to learn it. You have to learn.
You gotta,
There's no other way to do it but
You gotta take
learn
the
it.
risk, you know?
do.
Like, go for the fight at the edge of the fog. See what happens, man.
It's fun to take the risk sometimes, and you know you get better at evaluating like whether or not you should as time goes on.
The pest sometimes forces you to actually take even more risks, because yeah, they're down runes now, so they have to get them back.
Oh,
right?
got
The dragon
dodged.
dodges the elves.
Yeah, man, this one's gonna be really tough.
This
to
is
come up.
tanky.
Especially on the edge of the circle.
And I mean, this type of an arena, right, to find the
Yeah.
boss where he's got this high and
He's
low
got-
ground to utilize could be pretty awkward. So we'll see what Team Green are thinking about. We're gonna tap in on the audio.
We were doing so well, and then we got 3 fucking levels stolen.
Wow, so
The
they were up at
Locust
level
Man.
12. They were up
That
at level
is-
12 up to this point, which is huge
That's actually brutal. Like I
for
said,
this team, yeah.
Risk reward.
the
That's
second
Night Raid.
the second you see that locust, drop what you're doing and
And
go
find it, yeah.
and go. It's worth it.
Dan's coming in with the real pro tips here for the day one gamers. Folks who are tuning into the stream, you're getting that inside look here at Elden Ring Night Raid. But the Dragon of the Hills is taking serious damage. So all right, Team Green.
They are doing it. They're chunking it down pretty hard.
I didn't recognize your game, Team Green. Respect. Oh,
No, they'll take this one down easy.
getting in those attacks in the
I
head.
don't know about easy, but I think they'll take it down.
And you see that Duchess rewind ability is
It's
so
on me, if you
powerful.
can get him, bud.
Myth took a big hit, went down though. Buzz low as well, so
Oh, Myth can't afford to lose another level. That'd be 4
gotta
levels
get him
lost.
up, Myth.
You know,
And-
for as many levels as they lost.
Oh, they got him in.
Nice.
They got him in.
And
That's so
again,
close.
they'll have a chance to make a bargain,
Yeah, that's true.
which will make the fight more interesting.
So
Kind
it
of
looks
all
like
in.
this one's gonna go well here for Team Green. I would love to actually join back in here with Team Cyan, who is going back down to the crater and potentially looking for some of those legendary weapons. They're clearing the fire prelates here, guarding the entrance to that final boss or area. Level 12 already. This is another amazing run for Team
Oh my
Cyan.
gosh, yeah.
I mean, in great position to take on Libra.
They have the pest buff as well, right? So they're going to be 15.
Yeah,
They should be
yeah.
super level. I think they got it a little bit later. Improved charge sorcery is a great find in terms of passives.
yeah, okay, this Recluse is about to hit so hard, and they're already on 13.
I
like,
know. So they're going to be 15.
Yeah, let's actually speed up here. Go over to Team Bronze. Look at where Team Cyan's about to be in just a second. They're going to be skipping all these cards real quick. We go over to Bronze. This is the
Yeah, so
very
they're also
bottom.
in the crater.
Yeah. And let's take a listen in with Luality to see exactly what the team is
So
feeling like.
again,
taking
you're
Worm
not
down.
going to have the crater on every map. We've had it two in a row here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on.
There are different
This is
biomes
smaller, right?
that can spawn into your game.
Did the knight just come in?
Depends on like bosses you've beaten, different challenges,
Right.
different things, different random
There's
experiences.
all kinds of different
so-
factors here. But yeah, it looks like we got crater again.
Ooh.
Since
Again,
when then?
That was very clean, awesome.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna have a chance to get legendary weapons here. Man,
Improve range
everyone
weapon
is
attacks.
playing
That's a
really,
great passive.
really well today.
Yeah, this is a big lock-in. Want to look at some of these other teams who are also just playing super well. Maybe we go back over to Team Cyan, see how they take down this Magma Worm.
It's a big DPS check, right? A boss as tanky as the Magma Worm. We see some of the spells that Distortion is working with.
But
this time.
again, this
Dude!
the damage output is actually absurd.
We only ever see this with Duchess inside.
Like
the
think
team
about
comp as well.
this. Not even using the ultimate. There's no need.
Yeah.
Oh my, okay.
Maybe until
okay,
you're out of
Magma
FP,
Worm.
like. Yeah, we have some person who also has, like, as soon as you sprint, the activation of your sprint can give you an ability as well.
Yeah,
so.
yes.
And remember, they still have that thing where they're getting runes. So
Wow.
45k from the worm, 20k from the sentient pest
18%
passive.
charge
I feel like I'm at a
first
flea
rate,
market when it comes
Okay.
to
Yeah, I'll
naming out
take it.
prices with all the value these guys are getting from this build right now, from this run. This is crazy for
This
Distortion.
team is going to annihilate Libra. I don't even, that poor guy.
Yeah.
I don't want to be Libra today.
I'm not gonna lie, Team Distortion, Team Cyan coming up to a very early lead here in the competition, looking like very impressive pulls. Let's see what the upgrade choice though Distortion makes here. Which passive, which upgrade does he want to get the most there?
Stars of Rain gonna be upgraded.
So,
Or
See
Ruin,
what they're
my
thinking
bad.
about
we
too.
just do Maggie and then go in.
And this is how you actually get out
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Right.
That's
the
fine.
crater. So
That-
we're
we'll
gonna
get
show this
level
first
15
time.
with that.
You get one of these spectral birds. You
Actually,
just hold on for the ride. Don't
we
move
can
your left
maybe
stick.
jump up.
Do
Yeah.
not jump off the bird, guys.
Don't jump off into the lava. But
Yeah.
so these are dotted across the map. These birds can actually give you some long distance travel options. Even though you can move very fast, these are even faster for clearing large portions of the map.
Yeah, and so on the map, they're denoted by these big white swoops, right, that allow you to, like you mentioned, traverse the map much more quickly than normal if you know the objective you need. Maybe you want to upgrade those flasks at a church, but it's across the map. You could use those spectral hawks to help you get the increased traversal time.
100%. And this demi-human queen is just going to have a really bad time. Just a really, like the worst time.
Yeah, this is
Wait,
not,
what-
I'm not feeling very good
What
about
queen? What queen?
Which
Because
is
It's
there's
already
always
gonna
gone.
go on
It's
there,
already
right?
gone.
So this is a really cool perspective. I was watching Team Grey as everyone else was doing the bottom of the crater. They were doing the top and all the bosses around them. So they're also level 13. They might not have the overall like buff, so to speak, when
8
it comes
blasts,
to
though, that's a lot of
yeah.
blasts. They've really got
so
the
they've
churches.
explored the overworld more
8
than everyone else.
blasts?
Yeah. When
What
you
in the
drop
world?
down into the crater, you miss going to all the churches. You miss doing all the extra stuff. So they're up on XP. Might not have a legendary weapon, but this is a completely different way to play the game.
I mean, 8 flasks. I feel pretty comfortable with 8 flasks no matter what I'm fighting. That's a lot of healing.
Yeah, and they're gonna need it, right? Double executor, or executor, just being close range. They have an eclipse shotel. We have a kind of almost a dagger-ish build going on here.
It's a very interesting mix.
Yeah,
A lot of bleed procs potentially. Bleed, pretty reliable of a tool. I mean, there's some bosses that aren't going to be vulnerable to it, but for the most part, always nice to be taking down those big tanky health bars.
Deathfire also gonna be really good on Libra, I believe, because fire might not be one of the obvious weaknesses of the boss, but is one that does do
Yeah,
more
again,
damage.
we've talked
Yeah.
about the weaknesses before, and they, in a way, they are kind of like, they're really valuable to have in those fights, but they certainly are not necessary.
Yeah.
If you've got like a legendary weapon that doesn't have it, it's still probably better than using like,
Nice roll.
a common weapon with it. It really depends.
Yeah.
I mean, Senju's just putting on a very nice clinic here about pumping damage, staying close range. And I mean, one of the things that, I think really is going to highlight your skill in a game like NIGHTREIGN is playing that tempo game, right? Like, you could play some of these fights more passively, more slowly, but that's going to cost you time. Now, the Godskin Noble looks to be the night boss they face. And truly, it's just the Godskin Noble, right? Truly, it's
Of course it is.
it's just the Godskin Noble. Take him on, no problem. He
Godskin-
doesn't bring friends.
Never. He's gonna have to take
He's
on a
going to need
beast.
something.
Yeah, I know,
The
right?
beast is just wailing on him. This power attack is crazy.
Oh, I love the
Wow.
power attack. I love it.
Shotel also getting powered up here.
There we go.
Lots of damage. There's the Apostle. And the cool thing about this game is that you might be here familiar with these bosses. They have all new, brand new movesets to deal with 3 players, to deal with the added pressure that you're putting onto them. So
Big backstab.
the Apostle has this amazing moveset where like he starts to get lightning powers and twirl around the map and do a grab on you that we haven't really seen before. It gets crazy.
Uh-oh.
One goes down, so remember, if you die during the night bosses, you won't be reset with the level, you will be wiped. So you gotta be very cautious. Moonski went down too, so after Senju, putting the carry on in this run, these bosses are still healthy.
This is a difficult start.
Yeah, 8 flasks though.
Again, yeah, 8 flasks is gonna help.
They've got a lot of resources, right? So we expect them to be able to make the comeback. Meanwhile, Team Bronze tearing through the same fight. And once the Noble goes down, the Apostle, just ganging up on him, I'm feeling very confident about Team
always the
Bronze.
divide and conquer strategy, Unless you can just kill the tree sentinel first, like they did earlier. That was hilarious. But
Might be the way. Moonski down again.
Here's that
Triple,
attack
quadruple.
on bronze.
Now the flasks don't matter if you can't drink them, right?
That is a really good call.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, if
the
you go
whole
down,
thing.
right, you get bursted. Some of those squishier characters, it might be harder to leverage the flask. So I feel like maybe if I'm going for a Revenant or Recluse build, maybe I'm not as worried about getting all those flasks at the churches.
Yeah. One thing, too, you're always going to be on your feet for is looking at some of these other bosses. Let's tap in with Team Blue real quick, who's about to finish one of their runs. If it does finish too fast, we can also jump to Violet as well. They were dealing with a Crucible Knight. They got a golden hippopotamus.
They got the surprise hippo. That's
yeah,
true.
level
Yeah.
it's insane.
For Team Blue, again, man.
From here, let's jump to Team 10. I just want to show you the differences in this game. They're all on this Libra run. They're up against a Deathrite Bird, which is a different story entirely. If you're running a bleed build, if you're running some crazy deck stuff, this boss is like your nightmare.
And normally I'd say the Deathrite Bird can be very scary, but if you're level 15 with this team, I doubt you care. I mean, look at again.
He's got 5 flask full HP. This was not a real challenge for Team 10.
Of all the comps that I've seen here today, the double Iron Eye Duchess is the most interesting and the most brutal.
Yeah, I want to tap in with that one.
This is the all-in build. This is either the enemy is dying in 10 seconds or I am.
Yeah.
That's it.
Pre-ante, pre-flop, all-in type build.
That's exactly
it's crazy.
that. That's a wild one. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Break in the game. This is the POV if you don't have. Actually, no. This team almost has that build. I've never seen this weapon before.
Sweet weapon. Looks like it's like the falling star.
Yeah, the falling star. Yes.
Yeah. And again, if you went straight down to the Magma Worm, you wouldn't have the opportunity to have this weapon. So teams like Team Gray, like Team Purple as well, it's huge. You get this really cool gravity move with this as well. It's really nice.
There is the falling star beast in the crater, but there might be other opportunities to find one, depending on things that happen over the course of the game.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah, there's those unique events. And I mean, Team Purple down to level 10. Still a winnable situation, but one where they're going to have to play it very clean, very sharp. We'll check in with them a little bit later. Because Team Cyan...
we have somebody coming in. We're going to play Let's Make a Deal.
Yeah, I mean, and we've seen so many of those roguelike choices throughout the runs, and I love that Libra really plays into that core philosophy of the Night Reign experience.
For this team, I think they're all just going to not take anything.
Yeah.
When you're this strong,
I mean,
it's like, why?
they're so unbelievably powerful.
But here's a cool thing, right?
But maybe you get the dream offer, right?
I love when you get into this POV, into the field.
Right.
Gladius missed Sin. Libra is already here, waiting for you.
With the scale.
He looks pretty chill. He doesn't, I mean, he looks pretty nice.
Make it just so you want to expand your intellect. This will
that's
respect you.
tempting.
It respects you completely to a full int build at the cost of a level. A powerful weapon also has a cost. I want to gain many levels. You gain 3 levels, but every time you take a flask, you lose a level. So the deals get crazy. Every player has a separate deal.
Every player gets different deals.
Yeah, it's
all right,
wild,
guys.
man.
This is Libra.
Here it comes.
And an immediate attack distortion, already timing this one.
Right.
Helping a lot of damage onto Libra. So aggressive with these spells. They're trying to just rain Hellfire here on him. But you gotta watch out for those sigils on the ground. Those have the potential to knock you so quickly.
Yeah, he has an insta TP move as well that comes in with the Crash of Madness. So a lot of these caster builds, you have to be very careful while you're fighting Libra. Already,
for those of you watching at home, this is a difficult boss.
Yeah.
And it's getting bodied by the...
Oh my God, Team Cyan is melting this one.
The DPS is insane with Distortion's Recluse build right now.
They're both level 15 teams.
Yes.
And they look absolutely insane. So right now, when he gets into the sigil mode on Team Cyan's screen...
They already broke it with instant.
Yeah. They have an Iron Eye ultimate able to just take the entire minigame down. Here are the sigils blue on Team Blue.
Yeah.
Oh, they take it down as well. They stagger him with 2 colossal weapons.
Him out of it, yes.
That's insane. There's so many options to approach with this one.
One of the key strats we've seen for teams to break that sigil phase is using the ultimates to stagger the boss while he's passing.
If you can do ultimate timing.
Yeah. You really want to avoid him getting that attack off, because if he does, he's going to get super buffed up and be a problem. He's got an attack buff now, but trust me, that's the better outcome. I promise you, somebody on some of these runs, you're going to see what happens if Libra gets his sigils off.
Yes, we are.
And now we saw a little bit of low FP on Team Cyan getting hit double time, so the Recluse ultimate comes out.
There it is, yeah.
And now HP's not a problem.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're getting HP and FP back on every hit.
And look, it's a multi-hit spell as well. So you can see, while it was up at least, crazy things were coming in. Big stagger damage again with the Iron Eye ultimate. The big bow shot. Libra's mad, but I don't think the team cares.
This is such a masterclass from Team Cyan Distortion 2, looking so impressive. This is
not a single
the fastest Libra kill I've seen, not even close.
Okay, for those of you watching at home, your first Libra experience will not be like that one.
Let's go to Team Gray. Jump to Team Gray. Jump to Team Gray here. I know that Team Blue is also going to be solving this one out. Let's look at Libra from the perspective of someone who might have not seen it before, maybe going for it for the first time.
Oh, yeah, to make different deals, as you can see.
And HP is low. Restore all HP at the cost of reduced max HP. So let's hear from Afro Senju. What is he thinking about?
He made a deal. Wait, no,
Not yet.
Self-proficiency to lag.
I refuse.
If you're not sure, yeah, refusing is a good call.
I didn't know.
I agree. I think this is the right call.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless it's like really perfect for your build,
But
the
it can be.
downsides are
It can
expensive.
be. Yeah, it is.
Bam 2's
But
chat.
we have seen we've seen
I
people
got first
hit
ult.
like level 18 for
But
taking
use
those
ult-
levels
use
and play
ult as a
Iron Eye.
heal
You
if
don't
you
need to
can.
heal. Just play long range. So we've seen it pay off. The deals aren't always terrible. But these teams confident. Level 14, they feel like they can do it with the kit they have already.
We have to respect the mechanics.
I think this one will be a little bit more interesting.
Oh, they're trying to just multi-bleed him as much as they
Yeah,
can.
I see that.
But here's the cool thing about this boss, right? He's a merchant-based boss. His lore as well has to do with
some big
being
hits
greedy.
already.
If
Libra?
you get greedy, you go down. That's the entire philosophy
That's
around this boss.
the concept from the very beginning, right?
Yeah.
His whole I'm gonna
You're good.
make you an
Don't think
offer.
about
Don't think it.
So if you even do just one extra R1 proc, if you just stand in for a millisecond more for an attack,
I'm using my ult.
you're taking half your HP bar. Now you can see the true difficulty of this boss. This team's struggling when they're close range.
He hits like a truck.
Yeah.
And this team doesn't have the coordination for stagger cycles, if you will. Much more advanced play, what we saw from the other teams.
They're still level 14. This is a beefy team.
Yes, this is
The
beefy.
Beast is pumping
Using my ult, I'm
damage.
gonna die.
He's also taking those hits from Libra.
I staggered him.
I love this. This is.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so there's a load.
Do they have the stagger?
They're not trying to stagger
Break
it
the
so they
seals.
can clear the seals.
Break the seals. Break the seal. Moon. Break it. Run into it.
There we go.
Nice.
So that's
See,
one
that's good.
way
Yep. He's
to
gonna get
stop
mad.
it.
Be
Now the
careful.
thing is,
Be careful.
that mechanic scales
It
every
does.
time.
It
so
does.
you'll have double the seals.
There's going to be more seals.
Triple the seals. The seals spawn in the air, so it's a double executor Iron Eye build.
The Iron Eye's going to have to take out the air ones.
Yeah,
Guys,
it's gonna be nuts.
Let's go over to Team Green right now. They just failed the sigils phase. Let's see what goes on if you let Libra get this buff online.
So triple the spells, right? At the same time, the spells get buffed, so they go faster.
Oh,
they
no,
go
this-
further. They stack on top of each other, and they also get buffed to go in 360 degrees when he casts it from his hands.
We need the comms from Team Green right now. Oh, we're not going to bring him in on this time. We'll see what Team Green's able to do. Can they clutch? Oh my God, these
Look at
hits.
the damage.
This
They
is
keep coming.
going to be a world of hurt.
This is a long phase. You got to survive this one. Let that buff decay off. Trying to put damage down in this phase, very risky.
Yeah, he has increased poise, by the way. You can see under his health bar, it's not rot,
He's got the
it's not
buff,
poison. Yeah, increased poise, increased resistance, increased damage. Or not damage, just defense entirely. And every single person getting hit on the team, down to one flask. This is the scariness of not clearing the mechanic on this boss. Now, he starts to drum on the ground. You have to go pick up all those little runes. Naf doesn't know
madness.
about it. You get madness proc if you don't go for it. You can't heal through it either. Almost.
Just barely.
A double hit.
I mean, you kind of can, but he's obviously still got a big madness bar charge.
I mean, he's
here.
out of flasks. This
Yeah.
much HP on the boss bar, and a Madness proc knocks him. This is looking like a really scary fight here for Team Green.
Look at that, Myth and Asu trying to find their ways to get into this spot as well. I mean, they will get him up for now, which is kind of insane. Have a next chance to go for that Iron Eye ultimate, but again, we saw teams saving that ultimate to help with the mechanic. This team's just gonna rage throw it towards the very end. He's trying their best right now.
Team Bronze, meanwhile, just cleared. We can also maybe
Nice.
join Team Violet, who are pretty close to a clear of their own. Remember, this team went down in the first round. They weren't able to defeat Gladius, but getting a win here would go a long way to getting them back in the running here in the competition.
Yeah, they set themselves apart for some of the other teams that failed. Gladius and will flail Libra
Sigil
again.
phase, a lot of sigils.
They're trying to go to just break everything when it comes to the center. They're gonna try for it multiple times. It's not gonna work.
Uh-oh, scary moment, right? They need to clutch this out. Sakuno on the third down.
Not
Gonna take
again.
a lot of hits to get him back up, and he's the Iron Eye. He's the one who's most equipped to res teammates, so it's a scary moment for Team Violet. They've got to stay locked in. They've got to kite this phase well.
Yeah, and with a 3 circle, the 3 pips around the circle, very hard to res.
Yeah. No, this
See
is gonna
how
be
many attacks it takes from the allies.
When you get down that low, ultimate abilities are best used defensively, actually, if you have to. Because that's the only thing that can get that much damage out in that short time.
Garek is low. Last man standing. Takes a hit. Just barely able to tank through it. Needs to just evade these spells, trying to get those reses off. Getting one back into the fight would really help. Okay, Raditz is up. And a great dodge from Garek keeps him in the fight.
still locking in with it. Ooh, Garek down, just down to Raditz now for the very end of it.
Yeah, you can get into a really vicious cycle here when you got 2 down with the 3 pips on the bar.
Yeah.
And they don't have the best ultis to really res back into the fight. Sometimes ultis can be great, but something like the Wilder ulti is like pretty reliable way to res. We've seen that as one of the key skill sets on Guardian and Revenant.
And here's a really cool tech you can actually do if you just focus on the bottom right with Raditz. He was about to get that Madness proc in, uses his ultimate. The iframes from the ultimate stop the Madness.
Absolutely.
He's able to go toe-to-toe with Libra now.
Oh, he's low though.
Ooh, gotta be
Giving
careful.
time for the res here. It was a trade.
1 for 2. And big damage again.
Oh no.
Just like Kuno as he gets up.
I mean, Libra
Libra's low.
is
It's a tough
relentless.
call.
Look at the sigil.
Oh no.
Okay, this is where you got to make a choice. Maybe
Yeah.
you do just go for the res, get people back up into the fight.
I don't think they can go. I think they have to go for it.
Yeah.
Well, they had an ult apparently, right?
All right.
They're all up.
They get him back in, but this is the buff spellcasting Libra.
Yeah, he
might
is
be low,
buffed.
but he's not out.
He is buffed.
Saikuno trying for this does not want to repeat what happened with Gladius, where we saw a very similar amount of HP, and the boss taking and having the final laugh at the end of the day. Libra, though, much tougher than Gladius.
I like that they're playing this one slow, though. They're trying to wait out some of these buff phases. Green, it looks like, just went down, so failing to that second boss. Libra, such a heavy threat. We saw them kind of struggling earlier. Team Violet, though, we're going to stay with them, see if they can manage to clutch this one out. These hits keep coming, though.
Ooh, iframes to stop the TP into the stagger.
This is gonna be.
This is going to
So
be
close.
photo
We're going for the
finish.
res
So
again.
close.
Hit on res. Iron Eyes going to just finish it off. It's going to be huge. Garek is back up. Libra down to 10%. The madness.
Gotta grab these pips. Libra, still incredibly
Double
low.
madness. Triple.
Oh my
the
god.
Wait a minute.
Wait.
We had a res all the way.
Oh, he
Maybe it's a
just barely
legendary
got up.
item. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh, you're
he had. There's a legendary item that can give you a free res.
Looks like 2 teammates already back up, going back over to Garek,
Saikuno.
getting back into the game. Saikuno, everything on the line here. Libra,
He might
not
need to
gonna be
1v1
mad.
this. Although Garek also looks like
Yeah,
has
yeah,
the
yeah.
legendary red, so he's going to be back up in this as well.
He's so low. They're locking in and just doing damage, leaving Raditz on the ground for now. Saikuno, 5% HP.
He's weakened.
So close.
Okay, we
Okay,
have to- do you
back
have
in the
to-
stage. More sigils than people.
Okay, we just leave.
Playing Night Rain right now. It's crazy.
Another
There's
buff
no
on
way.
I think I'm
Libra.
dead.
Another
Wait,
buff
we're
on
fine.
Libra. We're hearing from
Sam's coming
Saikuno.
back. Bro,
What
like
they're
three
talking
hits,
about
three
here.
hits, man.
Continuing the focus now. Looking to get those final hits in, but this is when Libra's at his most dangerous. When you get greedy.
Ray, one
It's
hit,
just
bro,
Garek.
one hit.
One more.
Push any button. Any
Oh my god.
My
Jesus, man.
That was clutch.
photo
Oh my god.
finish
Okay,
from
that was
Team
actually
Violet
pretty
led
hype.
by
That was actually
Saikuno.
pretty hype.
That
Stop.
was pretty hype.
Oh my god, that
We've
was
got a couple
scary.
runs still going.
Dude,
Team
but
Gray,
both
Team
of our
Purple.
reses came in. That was
Yeah, I got to look
insane.
at Purple right now. They're kind of on the brink, halfway through Libra. So close to locking this one down. Trying to find a way to have it secured. These are the last 2 teams who are still fighting the boss. They took a little bit of time to get here
Team
to the
Purple's
stage.
in real trouble right now.
Yeah, Team Gray actually solved
Okay, the res though.
Yeah, Team Gray was the one that had those 8 flasks coming into this.
Right.
I'm looking at 0 right now. Down 3 times as well. This double executor gameplay really putting them to the test.
I mean, it's challenging to use that beast form against a boss that's as much of a threat damage-wise as Libra, right? You
Yeah.
try to get in there, get aggressive, you will get punished. You will get slapped in the face for that play.
Gonna be a close one here, Team Purple. Again, trying to
Wilder
solve
ultimate,
that
maybe
mechanic.
for the break.
There it is.
Nice.
That's lovely.
Just one person left from Team Gray going for one of these reses.
Team Gray, they're
Allowing
giving up
Libra.
the sigil buff. Can they get the res? They need this res. I mean, they've invested so much time into it. Executor, pumping damage and barely dodge rolls in, getting the second player up into the fight, so still a winnable scenario. Libra pretty low.
Yeah, Purple's got some flasks up as well, but again, Dan talked about it. As soon as
Yeah.
one person goes down,
It becomes this battle of attrition.
Yeah.
Right? You can't DPS the boss while you're getting your friends up at the same time.
Exactly.
Most of the time.
Most
now,
of
when
the
you get
time.
really clever, you can.
yeah, the stamina bar also takes a lot of usage in getting people up, so it's not even not doing damage to the boss. You can take damage. You're very vulnerable going for that res, so you have to do it.
Especially with Libra, he's so relentless.
Yep, and you can
Team
see
Gray.
that relentlessness.
Afro Senju, last man standing, trying to hold off, but he takes the hit too.
Anyone have a free
Well, no,
res?
somebody, yeah, well, there's one free res on the field though. Okay, so Team Gray still in the fight, but one man trying to solo this one out. Such a scary spot to be.
Both teams down to one
This
person.
This is when you pull out the cursed sword and go for some big parries.
Yeah.
That's what you go for.
It's time for parry mode. But right now, Libra gonna start stomping the ground. And again, going for that res, taking madness
this
damage,
proc.
trading lives. Duchess look like they're going down. leaving it all the way up to just one Wilder with a tooth sword.
Such a tense fight and so much HP left. I mean, I feel like Team Purple is running really low on gas here, trying to make this one happen. Team Gray, they have a bit more damage done, but that bar really hasn't been moving. They've been struggling to make more progress. You can see this is a nice little strat though. When you have multiple allies downed, having them group up on the ground so that you're able to res them more easily, two at once. Like during this is a sigil phase, okay, there might be the chance to get them back up into the fight. And that's still gonna be a scary buff, but with all three players alive, maybe there's a recovery here in the bars
Once
with Team Gray.
three players are alive, anything can happen.
Yeah,
you can get them three
Absolutely. Get out of that dangerous cycle, but the buff comes in, do you get it in time?
Libra can TP and gets right to the team, splitting them apart. We're able to get one person up, but at the same time, no, actually, no one got revived. There's no chance there. Madness taken over from Team Purple side as well, but no death just yet.
They're down so to the wire right here. Both teams really struggling to make more progress. Centrea trying to hold this one on, trying to get the teammates back into the fight, but a big hit from Libra.
Gosh, that was, oh.
Defeat for Team
Painful
Purple so far.
defeat.
They tried it.
It was a great attempt, I
Yeah,
gotta tell you.
yeah.
That was just, oh gosh.
Now it's just Team Gray trying to see what they can do here. Malvin trying his best to get the team back up, but maybe just do damage himself. They're just locking in to go for the best option. Yeah, going for those pips again.
Gotta grab the pips. A Madness proc would maybe kill him here. It's close.
They're missing the pips.
Oh, he needs to avoid it. Trying to go for the res, but look how, I mean, those spars are huge. I don't know if you can get this res.
It's really, once your friends have been down a few times, right? It just takes so much effort to get them up.
Yeah. This is the most like Benny Hill moment I've seen in
Yeah, you know, I guess the option here is to get your ultimate out and then try to wolf swing at them.
Yeah, maybe that would be enough.
I mean,
but
if you really wanted to go for it, you could try to get a parry strike that involved two of them.
Oh, that'd be
position
nuts.
the boss in front of it.
Yeah,
you could do it. I'm just saying. It is
here's
possible.
the beast, trying to get the reses off. Big hits, cleaving through both allies. A little bit of tankiness, buying them time. Let's listen in with Afro Central. They're up back in the fight. 3 players alive, looking to make the clutch.
Double beast mode. Back at Libra. 2 dogs.
Well, one dog now.
1 dog now.
Maybe he can get the res out while he's cleaving on this big damage.
It is possible.
Has to be careful though, right?
Great
Baldwin
value.
went down.
Great value on this ultimate. Really
Nice.
well played by Afro Central.
Big value. This is great. If these guys pull it
pull it
off, that's
yeah.
amazing. That's amazing.
They've still got some consumables to use as well. Looks like Moon's down right now for the counts. Both teammates gone again. Back down over to Afro.
All pressure on him. Eyes on Afro Central. Low HP, cannot afford to take a hit here. Oh, the spell cast from behind. Tough loss there for Team Gray.
Gosh, wow.
I mean, what a close one. That was one of our longer sessions overall for all players. You can see Libra puts you over to the test, way over the test as well as what's going down. Yeah.
Compared to a little tougher than Gladiator. Lots of things going on. Lots of things.
So many mechanics, and it's a real endurance fight, right? If Libra starts getting those buffs up, you start getting that cycle of trying to res your teammates, getting them back up. It's hard to stabilize from those positions. Felt like the boss really took control of the engagement.
Yeah, no, absolutely. When it comes to what we saw as well when it came to this night, Libra, a big test. You look at the points overall on the board too, it's just kind of crazy. Before that though, I believe replays are also here in terms of highlights when we're looking at some of the teams and how they've been playing. As we get to that one, big shout out for the people who are still watching. I mean, 2 Night Lords down so far, 1 more to go.
Yeah, 1 more to go.
It goes crazy. Let's jump into this session though with Libra, look at some of the highlights, see exactly what went down for some of these teams and how things went around. Jake, you gotta pull them up on your right side. I like that.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm summoning these in, of course, for the fans. We're gonna have to check out some of the highlights. First, Team Bronze, starting off, looks like, taking a rough death, right? But they still recovered this run, right? I completely forgot about this happening to them because they recovered so well. I mean, the Libra fight was a strong point for them. So they're showing that even if you do take maybe not the best start in a run of NIGHTREIGN, it's not over. You can recover.
There's always room for a comeback. Yeah, there is. Well, not always, but all the way up to to the end of day 2, you can still get back in the game.
Until you go down, right? Like there's never, you're never out of it. Even if you're a little bit under leveled for the bosses, you can clutch it out with great dodging, and we saw that here. I mean, really impressive performance by Team Bronze, making mincemeat out of Libra, and there's emerged kind of a clear group of front runners here in the competition. Team Bronze, definitely one of those here with both of the first 2 bosses going down.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest and coolest thing we saw so far on the second session is the variance, right? So some of these jails spawning Crucible Knights, some of them spawning like the Godskin duo, right? It went crazy. And then at the same time, what we saw from
Oh, we
the
didn't
Night
even see
1,
this.
yeah.
There was a Battlefield Commander out there.
Yeah, the Night 1 boss went crazy with the Battlefield Commander. On the castles too, we got to talk about it in our first session with Gladius. We saw it this time, right? Craziness with knights or trolls. The difference is
There's all kinds of, the castle is huge.
Yeah.
There's different elements of it to play in, and depending on where you're at in the match and what your team wants to do, there's different elements to engage with all over the place.
Yeah, it's nuts. Even the way the Night 2 boss went down, there were some Crucible Knights with Golden Hippo surprises, Godskin Duel surprises that we didn't even see coming, and even more craziness with spiders in the fray. It was nuts. Finally, Libra though, Jake. This was, I think, the ultimate test. So many more people failed this one than Gladius.
Yeah, and I mean, Team Violet, they had to snatch it back here from the brink, but they were able to clutch it out on incredibly low HP, which does get them kind of back into competition.
God.
They're going to have 2 points on the board there. So despite
man.
Team Sykkuno losing to that Gladius fight, they're still able to bring it together and take down Libra. Team Gray, led by Afro Senju, running these Executors, also had a pretty good run to start off.
Yeah.
It was a great run
good.
until Libra showed up.
He's the ultimate test, right?
It's a
the
bit
ultimate
of
test.
bit of a theme with Libra, you know? Like you might think you're on a good run, you're level 14. Oh, we're so strong, guys, this is gonna be no problem. It's still a challenge, it's still a serious foe, but they kind of crushed here in the
Yeah,
overall.
they did. The crater gargoyle, they didn't even, they recovered really well from that.
Yeah. I mean, the coolest thing I was mentioning with this team compared to the others is they didn't go for that crater buff. They stayed on the overworld, they got some cool weapons. They were still level 14 coming into Libra without doing a
They had a
crazy
lot of
POI.
flasks,
Yeah,
right?
and
So
8 flasks being up there. I've never
8
seen that
flasks.
before.
I
Yeah.
haven't either.
It's wild.
I mean, they just got caught in this cycle. We talked about it a little bit, while they're facing the boss of trying to res each other, and then you're just never quite pressuring the boss. Libra, he's buffing himself up with those sigils. Those phases get really scary, and you get caught trapped in that phase where you're no longer able to deal damage. But it's a scary thing to try to face the boss alone with both your teammates down.
But that's kind of NIGHTREIGN in a sense, right? Is that this is going to happen to you. You will go to this point, Executor, Iron Eye, Wilder, whatever it is. You'll get to that point, and then you're going to be able to fail, try again, go through new night bosses, new Everjails, and then get to Libra once more, go for revenge. It's really, really cool.
And you'll get it.
Yeah,
You will get it.
And then every single time you're playing, we just saw it with the start of Team Blue there are remembrances you can be doing. There's story mode stuff individually you can tackle while you're playing. Yes, there's a crater now. Could be different the next game. There's a sentient pest that happens halfway through the game. No one else experienced this. It's crazy.
Yeah, the pest certainly messed up some, I think, Team Green, right?
Yeah, they lost a lot of levels to that. You know, it was a rough spot to be here. But Team Blue had another fantastic run here. Able to clear out a lot of these night bosses, absolutely no problem. I mean, level 15 with 244,000 runes.
With runes to spare.
Yeah, that is unreal.
And they
out the shop.
They absolutely bullied this guy with perfect timing on breaking all of his shells to get him out of his phases.
I mean,
there's
the big
levels
thing
to it
too, right? Like with this team, and with some of the greatest teams we've seen so far, Blue, Cyan, Tan, the amount of work they put in to be perfect for Libra and stuff, it takes like a community of knowledge and work. It's crazy. Like, they're not just walking in, pressing one button. The camps they mark down, the entire creator experience they're going through, there's so much prep involved getting to that point, Jake. It's wild.
And I know fans are going to be able to see this and now go back to some of these players who are streaming on their own channels and be able to see, like, what did they do in their run? What can you learn from them? You know, especially waiting for that game to launch. I know a lot of people are going to go back and watch a lot of these runs in full to really see, like, what kind of builds can I be looking for? What strategies are some of the best players, you know, in the content creator community showing for you today here on the stream?
Yeah, making Recluse look this easy as well, not a small task.
Your first Recluse game probably won't go this well. Maybe your second or your third. But yeah, this is just an incredibly impressive play with the Recluse. Just absolutely dishing out incredible damage while also giving your team buffs.
The source is like creating a bunch of Recluse mains who have no idea what they're signing up for.
That is what's happening right now. It's going to be a very different experience when they walk to the first camp and get knocked out.
It literally is not supposed to be that easy. He just makes it look milky smooth. Past that though, Team Green, Team Heart, loved watching them play, and I think it was heartbreak for them this time, right? They were level 12 coming in on day 2, lost 3 levels to the Sentient Pest, and never found it. Like, that's the tough part.
They've got to be preying on the downfall of our other competitors. The best they can do now is if they're able to take down Caligo, going to be able to get... Dude, we love this squad, though.
We do.
It's actually crazy. And yeah, they were one of the squads that got the face sprayer. You were talking about it earlier too, Dan. If you have the Revenant in this fight, you got so many. Her spider army? No, my spider army.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
And I hope Sebastian shows up later on.
Yeah. Hippo was here too. Able to get the crits down. The Night 2 boss quickly kind of just made work of by every single team here, Jake. And they look good going to Libra, but again, it's Libra.
I mean, these teams are all playing on a pretty high level. They're all able to make it to that Night Lord, but as we're seeing, that's a major difficulty spike in the run here. And level 12, it's a doable scenario, but it's still such a scary fight. And when you allow Libra to get those sigil buffs online, especially if you go down, you're trying to res people back up, that's when I feel like the sigil buff often goes off.
Yeah.
And then, oh man, we see this. When Libra starts, triple casting those spells, gets so much more aggressive, that's when things go from bad to worse.
Yeah, one of the coolest parts about Libra for me when it comes to like a boss in a series like this, right? Just the Elden Ring franchise and the Souls-like game is that it's the first boss that makes you want to work as a team better together and review things as a team. It's kind of almost like MMO-like,
Sure.
right? Or raid-like. It's crazy.
But but because all of it is so communicated visually, like he's in his little bubble. Oh, time to hit him.
Exactly.
You don't have to be like, oh my gosh, on comms.
This ping
You
that,
don't
ping that.
need to worry about that. It's just like, okay, I know what to do. I see what's happening.
The practice for it is just so cool, and the fact that 3 players need to now band together and use their skills. It's not just about how you experience the boss fight, it's about how your team is going to attack the Night Lord. So that experience kind of is only available inside NIGHTREIGN, and I think it's what makes the game so unique.
Libra's a terrifying fight. An incredible fight, but absolutely sheer terror.
Yeah, it's madness. No pun intended.
That's good. That's very good.
It's actual madness. And yeah, Team Purple also so close on their run too. But again, you talk about the cyclical nature of trying to go for the reses. If you're going for reses, you're not dealing damage. If you're not dealing damage, you're in a little bit of trouble. So you don't want to be in that spot when you're facing a Night Lord.
Yeah, it's definitely a scary fight, and although some of our teams make it look easy, it's because they're incredible skill here in the game. And we're gonna have one more round of gameplay, but I think it's a good moment here to do a little housekeeping to check in on the status of our competition overall. There's been a clear group of front runners that have emerged that kind of control their own destiny at this point in the competition. Remember that last Night Lord Caligo is gonna be worth 3 points. So Team Blue, led by Fightin' Cowboy, they've cleared both of the Night Lords. They're at 3 points right now. As well, Team Cyan, led by Distortion 2, they've also cleared both very solidly at 3 points. Team Bronze, led by Lil Aggie, also full clear.
Nice.
Two bosses down, 3 points. And Team Bronze with Duality, also with 3 points of their own. So those are the 4 teams that, if they're able to take them this last Night Lord, are gonna be at the maximum possible points. And I mean, it's looking to me like this might need to go down to tie breaks with how intense the competition is.
Yeah, tie breaks, you don't really just want to reveal what it is yet. The viewers and the teams will know once we are done with that final Night Lord. The one story I'm looking forward to is Team Green taking down a Night Lord. The only ones.
I really want to see that.
Them and Team Gray as well. Afro Senju, both those teams sticking to their guns. These guys are going full like weeb mode with it, with the katanas, with the executors. I love it. Stick to that. Want to see you win. One more chance here for both those teams.
Yeah, and the hype and the energy has been amazing. So we got to just send a huge thank you to the community, to the streamers who've been coming out here and showing us their heart, taking on the very stiff challenge that is Elden Ring NIGHTREIGN.
Absolutely, and you can see the differences when it goes from Night Lord to Night Lord. The next one coming in is Caligo, the Fisher of the Fog. This is a dragon, I believe.
It is, in fact, a dragon.
Yeah.
It's an elegant, majestic beast.
Yeah.
That is also very dangerous. Surprise! No, I can't wait to see. I can't wait to see this one. This one can be very interesting. This can be a real battle of attrition. There's a lot of buildup of mechanics in this fight. There might be some impaired visibility.
Yeah.
Other mechanics that we haven't seen so far. So this is definitely a step above Gladius.
Yeah.
I mean, I put him on par with Libra, but very different than Libra.
Very, very different.
So we're going to have a very, very different skill set in order to take this one on.
Absolutely. The big thing, too, as you've been noticing, if you're a keen viewer, is that the things have been changing from day to day and night to night, depending on the Night Lord you choose. So increased difficulty for Night Lords. If you're choosing some of the ones that are at the bottom of the list, your days, Jake, your night bosses as well, they go crazy. They get elevated too, depending on what Night Lord you choose.
Yeah, there's gonna be tougher pools to take on, and that's some of the challenge that you're building into, especially, for folks playing at home. They're gonna be playing these bosses, getting through them and starting to farm up some of those relics, which puts you in a better position to take on the stiffer challenges. Once you get a little bit level, you got some relics under your belt, you could take a build that's more suited to the given Night Lord that you've chosen to hunt.
Absolutely.
This boss especially, there might be some relics that can be very useful against this one.
Very useful, yeah.
But all of the Night Lords are kind of like that in the fact that you can, once you're playing a few games, even if you're getting killed by Gladius over and over, you're getting a pool of relics that you can draw from and create your own builds with.
Yeah.
And that stuff will really help give you the edge you need to cross those hurdles.
Hey, so you have that progression. We want to see what's there. The teams are also getting ready, just huddled around the round table, making sure they have their strats locked in for this final Majestic Beast for this night hunt. And it's been great so far. I think some of the best things we've seen are how teams are kind of traversing the map as well. We saw Craters come in now that a few teams have taken away some of the other Night Lords there might be other shifting Earths that pop in too.
I sure hope we see one.
I
would
can't
love
wait.
to.
I want to lock in. Let's get in and see exactly how these teams are popping off. We have them ready. They're flying in on Spectral Hawks. We'll see what's good. Honestly, for this last one, 3 points on the line as well. We saw the replica items that they're coming in with too. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, this is the moment really in the competition where things are heating up. The teams probably know that, okay, some other groups have felled those previous Night Lords. It's going to come down heavily to this third and final run. So, I mean, as much as this is a showcase of the game, it's also an opportunity for these incredible players to show that they are the best, to take that crown, the sword and shield marking you as the winner of the Night Hunt. So this competition is going to get fierce here on the third round.
Big thing too when it comes to this run in specific is that some of these, less experienced teams now have double the practice available, and these early games will be locked down. When it comes to compositions, we saw Revenant be playing a lot today on a lot of teams.
I love to see Revenant.
Yeah.
I mean, I really, again, I'm really hoping we still get to see Sebastian do his signature skill.
His mega signature skill. I'm also hyped for that one. But the thing I love most so far is the variance from game to game. Now, Afro Senju's team, they're going to be switching things up. Yeah, we had double katanas before. Now we've got the classic Wilder, Iron Eye, Duchess combination coming in. So they really want to take out one of these final Night Lords, take out a few more bosses. And they're going a little bit more traditional, widespread with it, which is really cool. I want to lock in with Team Blue as well, see exactly what they're rocking with too, because they've started with Revenant. They've switched over to Iron Eye. They're looking at different ways to take on the competition as well. So that'll be really cool.
I mean,
any of these teams, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame them at all. They're going. Revenant is a new hero for everyone, right?
Yeah.
So nobody knows what's exactly going on there. So I can see the switch to Iron Eye.
Yeah, and now we got Saikuno's team, who had a little bit of a disappointing, not even disappointing, just a heartbreaking Gladius run where it came down to 5%. They're rocking an Executor, a Wilder, and an Iron Eye. So they're also getting pretty up close and personal. Lots of decks in this build.
They're back in it as far as I'm concerned. They beat Libra, the Gladius thing. If you beating Libra
I don't
after
even remember
that,
Gladius. Well,
yeah, I don't.
Gladius,
Gladius was like a week ago. I'm not worried about Gladius.
Libra's locked in. So now you can see some of the differences on this map entirely too. I'm gonna just keep peering and seeing if I see any mini maps up in the field too. Let's go to Team Saya and see if they're locking in with Recluse still. They're the magical team, I guess, to watch today. And yeah, Distortion, playing that high skill cap character, making it look absolutely easy.
Just incredible consistency from this group today, really.
Yeah.
I mean, expected, but still surprising.
It's just a show they put on every time. And this is a tough camp to challenge as the Recluse, right? These are very aggressive bows. The Banished Knights can really gap pose on you. So the team is aware of that, trying to hold the aggro as aggressively as they can so Distortion can just really get to work with the spell casting.
Yeah, if Revenant's weakness is kind of like the amount of micromanaging she needs to do, Recluse's is just like when you actually go and tap in for your spells. You're locked into very long animations. You have actually a pretty good dodge, but it's just about when to turn things online and when to be offline and in dodge mode.
Yeah, you really know your positioning is paramount, as we say.
Absolutely, and Distortion knows everything about that. His teammates also doing a great job at running distractions, running marks for his spells to do more damage as well. I think Lobos is one of the key players to watch inside this team as well. He's the one taking aggro from all the bosses, staying alive, doing the mechanics, dodging 24/7. And for Caligo, it goes crazy. This boss does not let you breathe, really. Kind of cools you down as you keep moving. It
something
gets
like that.
wild, yeah.
Let's see what else going on here. Team Gray, led by Afro Senju. Looks like they've got the Crystallians here at the top of this fortress. Going down pretty easy, pretty confidently.
That's a really nice starter, kind of softball boss to take on. It's a really good way to start your run.
Yeah.
Get a little bit of loot going before you start having to take on tougher challenges.
Nice to lock it down over here on top of
And
one
you
of
see
these
at those
fortresses.
forts there, yeah, we haven't talked about this. Every single one of these forts, there's going to be a map in that room that they walk to, and that map will highlight other POIs on your map, so points of interest for you to find. It can help you especially track down the little talisman-carrying scarab.
Yeah, it shows you, I think, every single talisman.
It shows them on the map.
So you find that loot, and then you're allowed to, you can go hunt talismans and get something that maybe buffs up the build you're going for, leads you down a certain path.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Even like moving POI to POI. Okay, what is
Do
this?
they want this?
I don't think they want this.
Let's run.
I don't think they want that.
The Black Bay Kindred does not play. So.
Gargoyle, let him chill. I see Gargoyle, I sleep.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be doing the exact same thing.
They're not even
And I
finishing
mean,
the
you
ad.
can come
Just wanna
back
get out of
later.
there.
That's the thing. You're like, okay, we know this is a foe we want to challenge later for some of those bigger rewards, but let's get to level 4.
Hear me
let's
out,
get
hear
to
me
level
out.
5.
Don't come back later.
Hear me out.
Just
Yeah.
leave Don't even just leave the Gargoyle. Leave the Gargoyle. And here it is. We didn't get to see this mechanic before, but these are the churches where you up your flasks. So you just have to interact with it once, it gets crazy.
Team Blue, they're down in the caves here.
Yes, I love the cave.
mines.
So
Yeah,
every one of these mines has a troll in it. This troll will offer you the same.
Not always a troll.
Not always. Okay, sometimes it's a knight, I believe. I'm not even sure.
There's a pumpkin head and maybe some other things.
A pumpkin, yes. But whatever boss it is will give you a smithing stone too. That lets you just upgrade one of your blue weapons into purple weapons. A smithing stone 1 is available at most merchants as well, so you kind of guarantee getting a purple weapon. For people like Iron Eye, who kind of sometimes love the starter bow, you choose relics to get certain armaments on it. If you want a fire bow, you want to bring it in, you can make your fire bow epic rarity.
Yeah,
and just lock in with
absolutely.
it.
So you could kind of hit some consistency despite the randomness of
Exactly,
Night Rain.
yeah.
You
You can.
know that, like, okay, for this boss, I'm gonna have the relics to get the exact bow I want, and I'm gonna be able to buff that up so that it has like a relevant power level to take on the final boss.
Exactly.
Makes a lot of sense when you're thinking about preparing for the Night Lord that you choose to face. So that meta progression in the relic system is something that I think people are really gonna start to take note of and really optimize their strategies for when they're challenging tougher bosses like Caligo.
Yeah, the one big thing for Iron Eye is a lot of the bow drops do end up being blue. And a lot of them, you have to have a lot of options on what you want to take, right? I think against Caligo, fire is a really good option to deal with them. And the big thing with Iron Eyes, there are a lot of bows that drop that sometimes have lightning on them, sometimes have fire. So you want to find that fire bow, get it to purple, do a lot of damage. That chest always has a Storm Sword key in it as well. So the pathing for Cowboy is absolutely amazing. He's soloing a Mausoleum Knight as well.
And are they splitting up here to take a bit of more risk and challenge?
They
to
might
do
be.
more camps. I mean, this is a risky strategy.
It's not that uncommon with this particular camp. Like if you're level 3,
Yeah,
level 3,
okay.
like doing it, this is actually pretty safe. I mean, don't try it at home right away, but it's fairly safe as far as plays go.
I'll tell you why. So the one big thing is that there's some teams that actually don't really prioritize the cave at all. The cave is kind of a detour for most Nightfarers coming into things. So Wilder doesn't really use that smithing stone. A lot of teams want to do something else, while Iron Eyes really love going down that cave. So in playing with Cowboy as well myself, I've seen a lot of times where he sends Ouroboros or whoever's playing Iron Eye to do the cave themselves. Get that buff, and then meet up with the team afterwards.
This is some advanced tech, right?
It is.
Like,
Yeah,
for
it's
folks playing-
very
for
advanced.
me,
Please don't try this on your first game.
I
It will
see
not
it
go
with the
well.
team.
We had 40-minute
24/7.
arguments about this, like over Discord, onto how to do this, and it took 5 tries to get perfect. Because now the team has to come through, pick up the buffs that
Oh, that
Cowboy
timing
does,
was
and now,
clean.
yeah,
It
now
was.
Cowboy will go out and take out all the buffs that they got while they were going themselves, and then they'll go towards center zone. It's an insane setup. Takes a lot of practice, takes a lot of communication, and these guys are pros at it. So now you'll see this Iron Eye going back towards these camps, getting all the boons up again, and then we keep moving. It's really, really fun. Tuning in now with maybe a team like
the blue
Gray,
that's right here
looking at the
to
way that
jump
they
up.
have changed their setup, right? We were looking at Executors 24/7. Now we're looking at a common sense of how to play the game, kind of with a more widespread horizontal front line, back line.
This is a great, like, balanced strategy, right?
Exactly.
Duchess has that invisibility cloak, is great for resetting in scary scenarios, getting some reses off for your team, or letting them traverse through camps a little bit more aggressively, not having to worry about taking enemy aggro. Wilder, of course, can be that tanky frontliner, is great at getting some of those reses, especially with the ultimate or staggering bosses. And then Iron Eye to put the marks on the enemy and amp the damage. I mean, this is a really solid setup. You don't have to be too tricky with your composition in terms of, stacking Iron Eyes or whatever. Like, you can do that if you want to, but these like solid, diverse strategies I think are going to be great for a lot of folks on day one.
I really want to choose Team Cyan here as well. Jake's putting up some really good points on how to attack these things on day one. This is really cool. We haven't really gotten to drop down into this POI yet. These are the ruins. Lots of chests available. Battle mages this time. It's huge for spellcasters and sorcerers to really try to RNG roll a bunch of drops for you. Could be wands, could be consumables, but stuff that'll help you out in your run.
There's actually a sorcerer's tower available most of the time that will have mage drops in it.
Nice.
That you have to solve kind of a little mini puzzle to get into. But you know what? Interestingly enough, I haven't seen any teams utilize them at all today.
I think because they're truly an enigma. You know what I mean? Like going for those sorcerer's towers, they always come with a puzzle and a challenge. Sometimes it's a tree trunk you have to find. There's always a sigil.
It's not a boss.
Yeah.
It's like a mini puzzle. So
yeah.
Maybe they just don't want to deal with that because
There's
it's easier to kill the bosses in 3 seconds with this team.
Yeah, right. I mean, with the damage they're putting out, level 7 is amazing pace.
Yeah, they're gonna
so
go
far.
right. They're gonna just destroy.
There's a
Revenant.
Revenant.
Right
Looks
now.
like a
They don't
church ahead too. So I mean, they're just taking on challenge after challenge.
That's just free runes to these guys. I have this play is
All right,
so
this,
unbelievably clean.
This enemy is like so terrifying to me, and he's just staring death in the face fearlessly.
Again, look at the way Distortion kind of just prioritizes what to do. If the enemy's in his face, we're dodging, we're switching weapons. You one stagger.
Oh my god.
And that's about 80% of his HP gone.
Yeah, this is wow.
This is crazy. They're only level 7, and they're still playing this aggressively, getting the run rolling. Getting a maximum
And you
HP
know,
buff,
hey,
adding a bit of tankiness
that's
so you
perfect.
don't go
Yeah,
down
exactly.
in one shot. I mean,
Exactly.
that can be a difference maker even for somebody like the Recluse who doesn't necessarily want to focus on tanking.
Looking at everything as well, going towards Team Green
that.
now.
Look what happened in Tan's game.
Ooh, hold up. This is crazy. So Tan's locking in with something, but so is Green. This is Augur.
they've both, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a Night Lord also that's available in the game. Obviously invading here right now.
Uh-oh.
They're
Team Green,
trapped inside this dome.
they're outside the fog. That looks rough. Let's
And
see.
Team 10 has Libra.
Yeah, Libra. So Libra, basically, he says, "Pay me or I'll kill you."
Yeah.
So they didn't want to pay him, so they're fighting him. And then of course Green, the Augur, invaded. Oh, yeah.
It looks like their max health has been reduced here. Aggie's down, needs to get rezzed up. And I mean, they're only level 7. Taking on Libra is a crazy challenge.
The Night Lord, yeah, it is. It is. Now, obviously, this isn't as hard as the Libra, but it's still
course.
quite a significant challenge.
I mean,
these
looks to
hits.
be even harder than Libra.
Even
Libra,
the
like,
ultimate DPS team is. Wow, this is the first time I've seen them go down.
It's wild. Genuinely never seen something like this before.
This is going to slow down their run, but it's still recoverable as we've seen
It's
before.
definitely recoverable.
But this fight is going to be a bellwether. Aggie going for that ultimate, was trying to get the res at the same time, but Libra teleported away, pulled the aggro of the ultimate, and got another
yeah, see,
down. I mean, this is starting to get really dicey.
The glass cannon showing the glass off at last.
I mean, that's the risk, right? We talked about reward of the double Iron Eye and the Duchess, but they may need to cut their losses and fall back here.
Yeah, this was again, random factors, good and bad, can impact your game, and
They're going to be losing their levels. Yeah, -1 level, and I don't even know if they're going to come back. I mean, Libra is half. Like, this is a major decision point for them.
I think you go in.
Yeah,
We'll see what they do.
They're confident. They're strong
I think at that
players.
point, I think you go in.
Maybe you have to, right? Maybe you think, you know what? This is the game on the line.
But then again, yeah, they do have to consider this is the last match. So
right, and there's been other
The
teams who
critical
belled
3
the
points,
Night Lords. Maybe let's join in here with Team Cyan, who are still just blitzkrieging here through the run. They've got the Crystallians summoned out of the Everjail. And I mean, they are just destroying here. Still incredibly clean performance.
Crystallion's kind of not a threat at any point ever. I don't think. They're kind of just a farm kind of boss.
If you had like a triple Duchess with like, you know, rapiers, maybe it's tough because no one can break the stagger.
Yeah, maybe. I think they can still happen.
Yeah.
And there's big runes for everyone
Yep.
too. They're really stacking up runes, so they're going to get some extra level ups. And now continuing on, level 8, great spot to be. We're going to join in with Team Tan as they decided to back up here and take
Right.
on the Knights Cavalry. But look at that max health. Is that from the Libra? Their max health seems to be reduced.
Yeah. I think it's from-
they didn't pay Libra, and he's cursed them.
He kind of like
That's
forces like
rough,
his
man.
side of the deal on you.
So those won't go away.
Yeah,
That-
until I think they actually take care of him. So
Right. So
They-
then it's not going away.
Maybe, you think they could come back in
maybe day 2?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I, mean,
I don't think if he's.
I haven't seen this mechanic
Really?
before. Like
I
every
don't know-
run
I don't know
see
if
of
he sticks
NIGHTREIGN, guys, there's something new. Every single run, there's something new. And despite us having like watched and played tens, like probably close to 100 runs, I mean, there's still different mechanics that we don't fully know yet because there's just that much content in this game. And Team Tan are just playing with the down HP, but I mean, this is also a very high skill, very clutch team, so I won't count them out just yet.
I don't even think that loss of HP is going to hurt. It's a team that dies in one hit anyway.
Yeah,
What does it matter?
Just don't get hit. Just roll. Just roll for him.
I mean, it seems like they're finally normal now, but we'll see what happens as they keep scaling up.
Yeah, we will.
Rest of the teams, maybe we can look at.
Team Blue taking on the Castle.
Yeah.
This could be a big moment for them, right? And getting the run rolling, and they are one of our teams in contention for that top spot with 3 points on the board already. And they're playing right at the edge of the night. So maximum greed, but this can also pay off.
Yeah, going in. Hey,
Ooh, they gotta watch out.
Gotta be
Gotta
fast,
heal up.
gotta be
Okay.
we've all done this.
Ooh, max stam 10% is
I'm just
huge.
like, if I'm in the fog, I'm like instantly taking the passive every time. I'm like, no time to think, take
Right.
passive.
And this is what the POV for a lot of your runs might be at home, but this castle, since it's so central and the zone's always changing where it is, you're gonna be fighting against time to take down a lot of these mini bosses and get your boots.
This is great for them too. They're able to get a lot of farm off the castle just before going into the boss. The key question though is, do they have like a site of grace they could reset at before going into this nighttime boss?
No, they don't.
Yeah,
So
they don't need it.
I mean, you're right. You're probably right.
they have
But you can
162K.
wipe. You can wipe on the night 1 boss. I
can.
want to mention that.
You
I mean,
definitely can.
they
People
have a-
will.
They have a lot of levels in the tank, but they can't bring them to bear. Still, level 7.
I will, yeah. It is absolutely, not only will you die in the night 1 boss, it's very possible. Again, these teams all have it down. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if it were anyone but Team Blue, I might be worried, but I think you guys are right. And we can join over here with
Team Green.
Team Green. They're going to be taking on a Gargoyle. Looks like they're getting the better of him. Will Neff switched over to the Recluse and looking to have a little bit better luck on it.
Hold up.
Maybe the Spellcaster is going to be a fan favorite for a lot of people on launch day.
Gargoyle on 6. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Getting that purple buff is nice here.
Ooh.
Crit
A little bit of
Restoration, that
FP
could
passive.
be useful.
Yeah.
FP Restoration on attacks, but do you want, okay, just going with
I don't know.
straightforward passive.
I like it. Okay. You know.
They still got a bit of time to work
pretty
with,
challenging
too.
for him as a recluse. But
Yeah.
Get those level ups.
There's so many funny moments that end up happening when you have certain passives. Like, hey, don't hit him,
True.
don't hit him. I need the crit.
I need the
I need
crit.
the crit, please.
let the recluse walk up.
Ooh, Team Tan.
Check
Let's
in,
check it
yeah,
out.
with Team Tan. They're going to be taking on, looks like the ulcerated tree spirit here. And
Sure.
despite the reduced max HP, they're not taking damage. Perfect rolls on everyone. Beautiful boss kill.
Right.
We blinked.
Again,
we
we
blinked.
blinked that it's because
Let's go to Team Cyan, actually. So this is one of the things we see with Team Tan. They're taking out the big tree spirit. The Smelter
Demon.
Yeah. Okay, so this boss is really cool. He gets hotter and hotter as you fight him. So I know there's a limited time to fight a lot of these Night Bosses and Night Lords, but he will start doing so much DOT to you, especially after phase 2. We're not going to see this mechanic.
We're not going to actually see it, but he does the blue. He does the blue version.
That thing right there.
So those of you who played Dark Souls 2, you know there's a Smelter Demon and there's the blue Smelter Demon. So this is kind of both Smelter Demons, sort of.
In combination.
Sort of.
Yeah. But like, the longer you fight that boss, the harder it takes, or the more damage it ends up doing. It gets really hot in the room. These guys are cool to the bone, and you can see them min-maxing there.
Distortion's
into
just
the
going
zone.
like max DPS, but he's going for like bleed on low HP on Recluse, which probably won't come into play, but that's just a full show of confidence. They're just playing for absolute maximum damage threat. Team Cyan, you can see like the Recluse is already just headed off straight to the cave, tanking some of the night fog, knowing that, okay, daytime is coming, and it can get just a little bit more out of the map by pushing into that fog early. Great experience. I mean, again, some things I wouldn't necessarily recommend you do on day one, but it's cool to see some of the best players in the game, the innovations they're already discovering.
This really is the like next level kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're already out and they got the next boss pulled the day when day breaks.
Look at Team Grey right now. They just broke. The logo for day 2 popped up, and they're already fighting
a magworm.
A magworm. So yeah,
but they may be walking away from the magworm. I don't know.
I mean, this is a scary foe. Level 8 is like doable, but this is where you're on those lines, and when you're at home, you're thinking maybe you optimize this differently. That's part of the fun of Elden Ring.
It really depends how you
Everyone,
feel.
can control that for themselves, for their own group.
In this particular circumstance, I would drag my team into it. Maybe I'd get him killed.
I would. You know what?
I don't know.
I won't back down.
But at 8, I'm fighting that magworm.
Yeah,
I'm wiping at least twice before I back off. All right, I'm blowing the run and before we back off. You know.
But again, it's just a fascinating set of decisions, right? You're constantly evolving and adapting to the situations the game throws at you.
Yeah, and everyone's going to be different. I mean, we've seen a huge variety already, and it's still only just a slice. Different shifting earths, different biomes are going to appear. Different challenges are going to be on every run, and there's something off in the distance there. And after Senja, I saw a little cyclone in the air.
We've only seen the crater today, which was like I was hoping we would see some of the other shifts, but hey, the crater's hot.
Yeah, definitely a valuable one, right? Getting that guaranteed legendary weapon at the bottom from the forge is incredibly valuable.
Right.
So that's why we've seen a lot of teams prioritize
And
it.
each one of those biomes has a different sort of experience to go through.
Team Violet taking on the Burial Watchdogs. These guys can be deceptively tricky with their moves. Gotta watch out for some of these explosive pots.
Oh,
Like Uno goes down.
The imps.
The imps and even just the watchdogs themselves. Listen, I'm just gonna say goofy. Goofy mobs.
These guys
and they're
are
so troublesome
They are
to
goofy.
take down.
I've always thought they're like a weird combination of goofy and eerie.
Right?
This
It's
guy,
wild.
I swear the moveset on the Burial Watchdogs is like always tricky. Even though I know it pretty well, it's just like, it's so janky
Because it
with
doesn't
its
seem
movements.
natural.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's one of those, like,
it's like possessed. It's just
Yeah.
I mean, it really fits the art style, the thematic aspect of it. Nice pick off of the camp from T-Bot.
The imps have not given up on
Yeah,
the quest.
never surrender for the imps here.
Let's lock in with Team Green real quick, see what they're up to. Still challenging
And
boss
it looks
number
like,
1.
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, a little bit low on the levels. That Night Boss 1 taking a little bit more time for them, but still recoverable. They're playing it patiently, getting a lot of value off this Warming Stone. Even though they have a bit of health pots to use, I kind of like that efficiency.
I just like sometimes at the start of a fight, I'll just throw down a couple warming stones, you know?
Yeah,
Use
good
it if
value.
you need it, you know?
And I think you make a great point of like making sure you actually use your consumables in a run is so important. It's so easy to, over hold on to those and to keep them a little bit too deep.
Yeah, you don't have a whole lot of base consumable space, so just grab them and use them. They're all
cycle
over
them,
the
right?
place.
And then it's all about speed in Night Rain, right? So you use those explosive pots or that fire grease to clear an early camp a little bit quicker. Maybe that lets you take down one more world boss. It gives you one more long-term buff. So that
There's
snowball
more
effect
fire
is
grease
key.
out there. I promise you. You'll get more.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm a fellow consumable hoarder. Let's see Team Blue taking on this Flame Chariot camp. There's also apparently an ulcerated tree spirit somewhere.
We don't know where it is though. They may have just dragged it around.
Oh, all those mobs cleared
That
out.
was nice.
Yeah, so there's one thing about this camp is that a lot of people just go for the carts themselves and then leave. They spawn in a community of like fire people that just want to blow up. And they are like a total of 10k ruins if you take down all of them. So people that stay in this camp and just like that at a specific angle,
Gets
you
an
just get a
extra farm.
20k rune buff. Yeah, it's crazy. So already 35k runes after level up for Cowboy. That's the effect of staying in that camp, knowing your min-max, knowing where the runes are.
Team Cyan on another very solid run here. Clearing the battle mage as quickly as they can. 2 golden foul foots on distortion. That's going to be a great consumable
Just
for
stacking
getting
the
those
golden
runs
foul
levels
foots.
up. Yeah,
it is.
That's going to be awesome for them to get that maximum possible farm, hit the biggest power peak possible. I mean, hitting level 15, I think they did it both of the last runs. That's like a 1 in 100 scenario. So-
Hitting 15 is a big goal.
Yeah.
So to see somebody do it consistently, again, it's just we're watching masterful play.
It's just unreal the level that these players are already at, and like this is still early days. You already know people are going to be doing some like level 1 challenge run absurdity once Night Rain gets rolling.
It will be absurdity, and it certainly will happen.
I've learned not to
challenges are always
underestimate.
coming. Yeah.
I've learned to
Yeah.
not underestimate the Souls community when it comes to grinding out these ridiculous challenges. For now, of course, our teams are all about competing to take down those Night Lords. Looks like Team Violet, led by Sykkuno, clearing out an Everjail here. Deathrite Bird going down pretty confidently for them. So looks like this run is really stabilizing. Some legendary loot here. 30,000
Wow.
runes. Okay.
That's nice. It's very nice.
That's a nice little bounty.
Wow.
Big level ups for them. That really is a big recovery. You see how big that circle is? Means they have quite a lot of time here to continue leveling up. And a
Oh wow,
Royal
there's a
Revenant.
royal.
Great.
I love it. It's,
What are these
it's like
gifts?
it's like delivery.
This guy's in the
Yeah.
wrong neighborhood, man.
Oh, and he gets marked as that crit comes in as well, so the damage going crazy right now for the team.
Yeah, big hits. It seems like this is this holy implication on the bow is great for the Royal Revenant. Getting aggroed on as the Iron Knight, not what you want, but oh my god.
You know what? They don't care.
Insane hits
This is-
there.
This is wow.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Oh
Pulling out
my
the mace.
God.
Melee Iron Eyes, new meta.
No Duchess involved there either, which is kind of crazy. Almost looks like a restage. Level 10 for Team Violet.
Maybe let's hop back in here with Team Cyan, see how their run's going. I mean, this is another one of those teams, right, that's in contention for the maximum possible points. DPS check now for Distortion 2. So far, he's passed them all with flying colors. And I'm a little bit worried for this Ultra Tree Spirit. Instant ult from the Wilder, getting the stagger. Followed up as well by the Recluse ultimate, ensuring that lifesteal and FP steal on attacks, allowing them to just continue pumping damage. Another stagger. And this is one of the tankier bosses in the game, and it is just getting worked down.
Every single one of these little fireballs does actually proc a little bit of a stagger effect, so the amount of just
And he's just
3 hits coming in,
recasting. This is insane.
crazy, man.
I wonder if he
Man.
pops a golden foul foot here when he takes down this boss, or if they save it for some of the bigger, like the Knight 2 bosses.
I feel
Interesting
bad
decision
for the
point.
tree spirit, man.
Dude, I feel like he's gonna be casting too many spells. Again, these spells can go towards your teammates as well. One cast of them, forget about your teammates, you can focus on the boss because they all just take their time.
The
coming in.
damage!
Yeah.
What is that?
That was a chunk.
Unreal damage. The riposte as well. Big crit from Spicy. One of the other changes in this game is that while your teammates are riposting, the boss doesn't get iframe, so everybody can continue pumping that damage. It's really been designed for that team play experience. And see what they're able to grab here in terms of buffs. Improved sorceries. I mean, that's the dream. That's exactly what you want.
Longbow as well if one of the teammates wants it. Grace available too. The zone will be coming in, so that fight finished at the perfect time. Meanwhile, we'll tune in with other teams all across the world. Maybe Team Gray, who's taking down one castle right now. Bronze also finishing up somewhere in the crater as well, so maybe tapping into Team Bronze is a solution here.
And for Team Bronze, I mean, they're another one of our top contenders here, right? Like in contention for the perfect 3 clears. And getting some legendary runes on the hand of Malenia, that's awesome.
That's one of my favorites.
It's
I wonder,
so good.
I mean, the Water Fountains, I wonder if they're actually gonna, they could deploy this on the Iron Eye for the passive. You could also have it as like, sometimes you might find your legendary weapon, you just say, you know what, I'm going melee. Like, that
you
might be
can
worth
do
it.
that.
She has an S+ scaling on Dex, so like having the Hand of Millennia on her, if you get up close and personal, definitive damage.
And you've got, I mean, we talk about this marking ability as it bumps up your teammates, but it's also a very powerful mobility skill. So a lot of the skills, I think people will find once they start playing Night Rain and they start, figure out their favorite characters, you'll realize that using these abilities, you have so many
another
flexible
auger
options.
invasion.
And this is a big kill potentially for Team Blue. If they're able to get this one down, it's a great find, put them in a nice spot here for that Night Lord.
And I like this. So I'm not sure if Ouroboros or even like on-screen Cowboy dropped this for Scott Jund, but Oro's got a bow on Wilder for moments like these, where there's there's some mobs might not be able to actually swing a sword at. All three players might have bows right now. Yeah, they all have bows. They're wondering Cowboy that dropped them.
Sometimes it's really nice to just have a bow in your pocket,
exactly.
Just in case.
And because things like this happen, you never know what actually pops up inside Night Rain.
Because you don't have to worry about equip load, right? You've got 6 weapons. There's a real argument to having a bit of diversity in the build, to be able to flex as you need for the different fights, and you don't know exactly what you're gonna face, so it might be wise to prepare for many possible foes.
Now watch this power real quick before we switch off. A unifying fate. So for these guys, I believe they get FP out the wazoo when it comes to just their entire power. So beating Augur there as that field boss, we saw what happened before, right? So the Sentient Pest gives you a lot of runes. Augur, max FP. So not sure if they were the team that had the hand of Millennia. I don't think they were, but they have the possibility to get a weapon like that and use that weapon art again and again.
The Night Lord invasions can obviously give you a lot of trouble, but they also give you very significant rewards if you take on the challenge.
Exactly. Ancestor Spirit going down. Now, this was not a Night Lord invasion.
In fact, when I started playing, it was like I'm getting invaded, I'm scared. But instead, today, it's like, oh yes, we're getting a buff.
Let's go. Yeah. Rivers of Blood here as well, so everyone that's kind of beat Elden Ring, I think, has used this weapon at some point to help out in their run.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
We'll have to see where we're gonna go next. Let's maybe check out with Team Gray here, who are down in the crater, taking on a Falling Star Beast, and already the fight looks pretty tough. Afro sends you down for the second time, needs to get res back into this, and level 9, so this crater, really, the hopes of the run rest on their successful completion here.
I love the way they just take this crater on in terms of going for mobs first. They don't even care about the event that's at the bottom. I'm not even sure if they know about the
there's multiple ways to do it.
It's so amazing. I love that about this game.
That's the whole, the map, with the different shifts that can happen with the Falling Earth, it can completely change your run. And it's just because the crater's there, it doesn't mean you go to the bottom.
Yeah.
It depends on the flow.
You might take a totally different approach depending on what you prioritize for the run, where you're at. Personally, I just love the shifting earths. I always want to see, okay, what's inside this one, because although we've seen a bit of craters this time, it's going to be affected by your progression throughout the game. And so for me, it's like, I want to see what's here. I want to see what's new and different. In our testing, we've seen a lot of different biomes, so it's another thing that fans can really look forward to as the game comes out. But right now, Team Gray struggling here, trying to get both of these reses at once. The grab on Evolvin', he's so low.
I hope he's got their ultimate up.
Ooh.
Be really useful now.
He's just guiding. One down, that's a level loss here for Team Gray, so things are looking pretty dark for them there.
It's not that, because they're committed to it anyway. The thing's got like 25% health, right? So they're gonna,
And they spawn right here, which is good.
Now we just have to, what we have to make sure it doesn't happen is like stagger spawning, like dying and spawning and dying. And over with. As long as we got that.
You mentioned that. Well, so Dan, this is something I'd like to call the caster curse, as you're mentioning. Just the chances it could happen when you start to mention it.
And it begins.
And hopefully they'll be able to recover this. I do want to tap in though with Team Cyan, who, by the way, just killed the Magmor in about 30 seconds. And
of course they did.
They this team, they really needed the legendary weapon. Clearly, they need all the power they can get, guys. I mean, and it's showing that this strat really looks solid for them.
Oh my God, we have collapsing stars on legendary mode.
I got it.
At level 13.
It's like deja vu on this every single time. Man, it's oof.
Yeah, it's about to get crazy.
It is.
Great stuff for them. Maybe we can also hop in here with Team Purple. We're gonna take on a gargoyle of their own. See if I don't know if they have time to venture down into the crater here, so this might be a situation where you just gotta clear this gargoyle and get on towards that second night boss. Remember, it's all about being able to defeat Caligo at the end of the run. You're trying to get as strong as you can, but it's also a race against the clock here in the daytime.
There's a Blasphemous Blade as well on Wilder. That's huge.
Yeah, it looks like it. It could be a powerful weapon. And once you get to level 10, we should mention there's also some
look at that.
requirements.
We had there was a dead player there.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
that's
Another one? Dude.
Okay, you gotta do. Are you
Wow.
gonna?
So he has
power stance, straight
four
sword?
legendary weapons.
You could power
Okay.
stance these.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my god,
that
that's
is
so
pretty
wild.
I mean,
is this double blasphemous?
I think you have to do it if you get
This
that.
is just
100%.
swag, full-
How did he get 2? Where did these guys go? This is not the same game anyone else is playing. What
that
is
is
this?
pretty wild, actually.
That's such a sick loadout. It's the dream.
This is crazy. I mean, it's not just Team Purple here. There's many teams that have actually taken down both Libra and Gladius, right? Overall, it seems that there are some teams set up to really do well here when it comes to this third Night Boss or Night Lord today. This tiebreaker is coming up, Jake. It's going to be crazy. This will come down to the wire for all these teams.
With how impressive the results have been so far, I'm almost certain that we're going to see more than one team defeat all 3 Night Lords. Just to catch you guys up, if you're joining the stream, Team Blue, led by Fightin' Cowboy, they're at 3 points. They defeated both of the first 2 Night Lords on great pace. If they're able to take down Caligo, they'll be at that maximum of 6. In the same position, Team Cyan, led by Distortion 2, also at 3 points right now. Team Bronze, led by Duality, 3 points. And Team Tan, led by Lil Aggie. But the runs are getting a little bit more frayed at the edges here on this third run, showing that there's some serious challenges. Like, if we join Team Tan right now, they're still cursed by their encounter with Libra. A little bit of revenge from the last run, and they're going to be on reduced max HP.
I wonder if it's going to end up mattering with, with the team comp already. Maybe it will. Oh, Dancer. Very nice.
Oh, wow. This is scary. Look at that hit. Just barely he has the HP to tank through it.
You've seen
Of
this
course,
team
a
take hits, yeah.
classic here from Dark Souls 3.
Just an OG. This boss ruined my life in Dark Souls 3.
In the best way.
And we would love it. But that's why I love these games, man. And now they get to take it on as 3, right? So maybe be able to split the aggro. One player can focus on the dodging. But those hits are big.
I mean, these are big hits.
They were taking
Granted,
hits.
I think that may have killed him even if he did have a full. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know.
We don't know. That's the thing, though, right? They were taking hits earlier as well. They were using their flasks, so this time
Right.
Damage
the
is
mistakes
solid,
will
though.
be there, but they're
Yeah,
gonna be
this
that
again.
much hit harder. Like it's gonna be tough. Look
Damage
at the
output of
dance.
this
Oh,
group.
the dancer be dancing.
Dance.
Parky with amazing
Doesn't
dodges
even
there.
care. Yeah, it doesn't even. Wow.
Sick dodges from Parky, actually, to
Sick
be able to
dodges.
just, roll through all that. And
Like-
with the low HP too, it's like one of those hits could be deadly.
That is an absolutely fearless Duchess right there.
Yeah,
It's
Stars of
amazing
Chris,
with this
so
comp
impressive.
too because Duchess is able to stay close and personal, looking at all the damage that's happening.
Uh-oh.
Go for those restages. Again, I feel like we're playing with Revenant now. I'm used to these knocks coming in with like these levels of HP bars, so it's not going to be a big deal. Dancer low HP, Parky this whole time still firing on him. As things are going down, we can restage at any moment if we want. Aggie has an ultimate, doesn't even need to use it.
Yeah,
we
the
just
Amazing
tap him
clear
down.
from Team Tan.
the
let's
damage
hop in with,
output is unreal.
Let's hop in with Team Cyan. They're another one of our favorites. I want to see how the build is going. And spoiler alert, pretty good. Recluse, super tanky, and already the Godskin duo is going down.
Here's the Apostle. I really want to talk about and take some time to see these cool new movesets.
There's a lot of time to work with.
Unfortunately,
Take your time,
we
man.
don't have that much
Yeah.
time at all. He gets stretchy with it, and now he's put down just the grave, man. This is tough.
Insane stuff. Maybe, I mean, we'll see what the perk they go with here. Gonna grab a bit of stamina, assist some of the dodging, and maybe now let's hop in with Team Blue, who are also taking on a Night Boss. Another one of our contenders. You can see they're in the top left.
Whoa, look at the top right real quick. Team Bronze already cleared as well. They're already
the Night Lord.
inside looking for the Night Lord.
So it seems like all of our teams here that are tied at that 3-point scoreline are all going to be going on to face the Night Lord. It's Team Blue still has a little bit of work to get through.
Yeah.
I'm confident in them because
I
they've
think
showed
they'll
such
be all right.
prowess before. But this is really going to be down to the wire. As usual, it's going to come down to the Night Lord, the ultimate challenge of every run in Elden Ring NIGHTREIGN.
Yeah, Noble down for some of these teams. The other side of the coin is the Draconic Tree Sentinel coming in with that Royal Cavalry as well, kind of. And the Draconic Tree Sentinel itself is that much more damaging, right? The moveset that it has,
It's
so punishing for ultimate
It's
players.
a spicier fight than the basic Tree Sentinel for sure.
Yeah.
He's a lot of damage all across the board. Really nasty charges. You can see there he's bringing back his friends to get back into the action.
Some of those lightning attacks are so devastating. You see those big hits coming in from the Tree Sentinel against Team Purple.
Let's type in with Team Cyan right now. Look at this Night Lord. No one on this team, on this screen at all, any of these teams, have seen this Night Lord yet. A lot of people playing the game as well. It's one of the later ones. They might have not touched it. This is the first time you guys are going to be watching this as well. So let's see how it goes. This is Distortion's first look at the Fisher of the Fog.
And we can listen in with Distortion as well. They're coming in at this moment of the competition here.
What we think.
3 points. If they can get this win, their fate is in their own hands.
Like total amount of runes gained, or
Oh, they're talking about the tiebreaker, right? That's what they
highest.
These
think
guys
the
are
tiebreaker
competitors.
is.
These guys are thinking about
They really are. Yeah,
Like,
they are.
they came to win, and it is showing here.
I mean, you could tell. Have you seen this recluse?
I've been seeing the spell casting. It's a little terrifying.
It's
I'm like,
crazy.
So that's the standard. I'm a little scared. Okay. But
I just
also-
want to see the reaction. The soundtrack to this Night Lord, the ambiance, everything from start to finish is crazy. Missed everyone
Okay.
this time. You
Okay.
can't see anything, Jake.
It's a very different looking
What's
arena.
that?
It's a fissure in the fog.
Oh my! The core wings, no way.
Caligo, the miasma of night, dispels the fog.
Oh my God,
The
my
damage?
ability does so much damage.
Frost
damage.
Dragon that does so much damage.
We're gonna kill him.
Look at Distortion. He's crushing this Night Lord. That's ridiculous.
But look at this, right? You have to be very careful. Distortion's not going to have as many chances to cast his spells. That tail's active. The maw's active. The wings get active as well. So he really has to find these gaps to use these spells.
That's
And see if he wants to take that casting
See?
spell.
He just calls it as well. That's an AoE. Has to back off a little bit. And these frost kind of molecules get left on the ground.
Creating like a hazard in the arena that you
Exactly.
gotta watch out for while you're evading. And a big
Big
stagger.
stagger.
Gosh.
That's massive.
You know, despite all this, they're still bullying him. He's got a huge health pool.
Yeah. Tapping him with all teams. So the boss actually ends up putting some mist down as well when it comes to that phase
We
2
need to go towards the
coming
sound
in.
cue. It's this way, right?
It's this way. It's this way.
Trying to.
And you can hear a sound cue
Yeah.
of crackling ice
yeah,
from
we
the
found
ceiling
him.
as well.
The center of the
You see the boss,
Yep.
and he is making that ceiling of ice come
That's
through.
sick.
Yeah. They found him pretty easily. If you don't find him, it can be really bad for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because as you can see,
The ice does
the,
crash down.
the
and
sky
yeah,
is falling. Yeah.
If you're not in that vicinity, that does crazy damage as it crackles and comes down to you. So the team understanding the mechanic, but now the boss gets crazy with the soundtrack picks up. He starts to just gain more wings,
Into Mark.
fly up in the air and go crazy with it. Oh,
Well,
big
full
stagger.
stagger.
Hold up.
no.
They're like stopping phase 3 from coming in.
This is crazy. Massive pumping of damage here from Team Cyan, showing the power they've assembled on this build. Level 14.
Another stagger.
Beyond Flash.
It's just chain staggers.
I want to zoom in on Cyan right now, straight up. I just want to see the end of this fight from their POV. Coming in, using that ultimate for the iframes as well.
And they got the curse on
They do. It is cursed.
Caligo, and they're allowed to
Ooh.
just pump damage now, getting those life steals. Still the threat coming back. Gotta be careful. Don't want to be going down and throwing what looks to be an amazing start to the fight.
And so this is the fun part, right?
Pretty good.
It's all the fun part.
He gets fast in this time.
Oh
Just
my
gonna
God.
throw
And he starts flying towards you in lanes, throwing
Spam
crazy meteors of ice. Switching over, you have no idea where he goes. He comes right back at you again.
Great patterns from Distortion here, evading a lot of these attacks, allowing him to continue pumping damage, but showing a lot of discipline, right? Not trying to look for
definitely.
attacks in this very threatening
Exactly.
phase. Now sees the moment to strike and get aggressive here. Takes a big hit though. I mean, you got to be very careful.
Yeah,
We
it is a
talked
big
about
hit.
this is the weakness of the Recluse. I mean, his positioning has been so immaculate we haven't
And
felt it.
He's also stacked a ton of HP on top.
Yeah.
So that really did help.
Level 14, Caligo first attempt here from Distortion. Looking really good right now. The whole team popping off. They're going to finish that one in just a second. Luality also in the business, seeing what they can do. Team Cyan does take
Whether we win,
Caligo
It'll
down.
depend on the tiebreaker. But
True, man.
GG.
Locked in. It's gonna.
I think we
If
did
it comes down to tiebreak,
exactly
we're gonna have to
right.
see if the other teams are
Wow.
gonna be able to follow in their footsteps. But Team Cyan, man, they set a standard here. I think a lot of fans are gonna be wanting to see what Distortion 2 was playing, and a lot of these guys streaming on their own channel. So if you want to see the full runs, you could go to those.
I want to go to Team Violet here real quick. We're going to be seeing this boss for the first time as well in just a moment. I want to see their reactions to what this dragon might look like. So wait for Sakuno. He's like, what's that?
It's different. It's so foggy. All right, guys, it's time.
He sees the dragon walking in.
Going in for the mark.
Immediate mark. They got to stay aggressive. I mean, that's one of the keys, right? With how impressive these bosses are, it's easy to get cowed and to start playing slow, but it's a matter of time, right? The boss is going to keep attacking, he's going to keep pumping damage on you.
Oh, it still
So you've got
hits.
to try to
Oh, man.
keep that aggression on, get those staggers we
I
saw
tried
Team
compulsion
Cyan
and I was
do.
trying to use the other item.
Oh,
You sit
careful.
there, yeah, you don't want to take a lot of frostbite procs. You got to be careful. This bow's actually, I think,
Oh, I can target his leg.
just
Oh my God.
buffed up with holy
Like the
damage as
Zarya,
well.
the head
So
is cooked.
it's not going to do crazy weakness damage policies to the boss, but at the same time, It's just that extra little bit over the top.
He's actually aura walking, dude. He's actually
Yeah,
aura
and this
walking.
boss is really cool when you look at the way it walks around the
Using
map
Hand
and
of
flies
Millennia,
well
Hand of Millennia.
in the different phases as well. It just
Big
goes
stunner, big
absolutely
stunner.
crazy.
And they see if they get the riposte here for big damage. I mean, Caligo still looking very tanky against Team Violet.
Let's go
Trying
to Team
fight
Blue.
This one out.
Gotta look at Team Blue right now towards the very end, going
They're
for
close
that
to a
final
clear.
phase.
Doable. This is so doable. What the
Looking
heck is
for the clear here on multiple teams now. So
Everyone
Team Bronze,
low.
Team 10, Team Blue, all locking it in. Look at Luality's POV.
Oh my.
Dodging, dodging, and dodging. It goes crazy.
On the beaches of Normandy right here, but Team Bronze, Duality continuing to pump that aggression now, seeing the opportunity, looking for that chance to get the damage in, but patience for the moment. Wanted to dodge these attacks, getting those arrow shots in. I mean, the Iron Eye with the ultimate, but the boss looks like maybe, oh no, just didn't quite dodge in time.
It goes crazy. A little bit of bleed proc as well on one of the sides. Again, Team 10 on the top right playing with nerfed HP bars the entire time.
As long as you got the damage output with that team, you know,
Yeah.
it's a problem, but it's not a. They can mitigate it.
We've seen how
Absolutely.
good they are at rolling, right? With the Dancer of the Boreal Valley that they challenged in that Night 2 boss, they really showed their skill. And so the fact that they're staying composed despite taking a pretty serious debuff speaks to their skill and experience.
Oh, high five!
High five moment from Luality. I'm hitting the screen myself. They're
Bandai is
amazing
United.
from her and the
Never
team.
be defeated. Squares, unidos, jamais serão vencidos. Screenshot, don't drop anything.
I love it.
It goes crazy.
They gotta
Now,
get the
These other
screenshots.
two teams, Blue and 10, both
Screenshot,
Iron Eyes have
screenshot,
gone down at least
everyone.
once so far. So Cowboys fallen, Little Aggie's
do
fallen.
it.
For Team Blue, we're almost there. And yeah, Caligo goes down as well. So huge for that team. Now it's just Little Aggie I think we're looking at. I want to actually go to Team Green, full screen, their reactions for this boss. They're just starting it this time.
We need the true stump speech here from Will Neff. Let's hear what he's got for the team. We need the battlefield commander to come out of Will Neff right here as they look to secure this Night Lord.
Now that's a pep talk.
That's a tough one. Get your team on the same aura sphere. I feel it.
Oh my God. Let's see what they're able to do, taking on the Fisher in the Fog. Team Green had quickly become a fan favorite, have found a home in our hearts. Out of the competition for first, but still in the running to drop a Night Lord to fell one here on the Night Hunt.
I'm still really invested in this fight,
Yeah.
regardless.
Maybe we tap back into the comms, see what they're talking about here. And there it is, the reaction. Oh my God, is that a dragon?
He's an ice dragon. Fire does make sense.
So some of the teammates are gonna be switching over to their fire weapons. They actually have that candlestick
Okay, if I can
available as well.
I'm casting my big spell.
Going back over to Team 10 as we will tune in back with Team Green as they fix up all the mechanics. Again, this team taking slightly longer now just because
Yeah,
of the health bars.
this is like the only time something just hasn't evaporated because they have to take care with all the mechanics.
Exactly.
Because they have such small health pools and there's a lot of chip damage in this fight coming in from all kinds of different sources. The meteors, for instance. You know,
Yeah.
You're going to get hit by one of them
Yeah.
eventually.
Chips and snacks for other teams, for them it's like full meals of
Right,
damage. You gotta be
right,
careful.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So 3 of our 4 teams have cleared. Team Blue just cleared the Night Lord as well. So if Team Tan are also able to clear, it's going to be going down to a 4-way photo finish tiebreaker here.
Gotta
Incredible
check it
stuff.
out. Gotta see what's good. Team 10's gotta make it in. Purple still rocking it. They're not inside that race though. Violet as well is kind of falling out of it. Looking for 10 to make it in.
Oh, that's going to be a nasty frostbite.
Big frostbite. Caligo's so low. I'm not sure what Aggie's saving this ult for. Here it
Here
is.
it comes.
The stagger could be big, an opportunity for damage.
This is
Oh,
a big one.
no crit though.
Oh, they got Duchess over there.
They're low on resources.
No
they need to be able
flasks.
to punish that damage.
Let's zoom into Team 10 here real quick. Let's see if they can take this one out.
Very clutch moment here in the team fight.
Coming down to the line here.
They're used to being one hit though. No strangers
True.
to it.
The warming
Big
stone
tail
give them a
slap.
buffer.
Oh! And look, the teammates so far away. This dragon just targets you from across the map. So Parky, Chris, Parky down.
whip.
It's up to Chris. Chris might have to go for Aggie here. He is just one bar, but you got to make it way past the dragon. Go past those stalagmites or tights, whatever it is down at the bottom to get to this Iron Eye. It's
got
a
the
Duchess
stealth.
invisibility.
The
Yeah,
Duchess invisibility
it's
coming in
huge.
clutch.
So valuable right now, right? Giving you that opportunity to res. Now Lilagi is going to take the full ire of Caligo. Gonna need a dodge attack. Crucial dodge there. They're trying to just pump damage on the boss. Got to decide now. Tough call. Do you want to try to res Parky? Do you want to try to just pick this one out?
He's actually on the actual limit of the map. He's backed all the way up, so there's nowhere else for him to go. We have to look at the Maw of the Beast and fight right now. Maybe just focusing on getting Parky back up. Got to be careful of these ice shards down below as well. The Dragon's up in the air.
They're all up.
He's about to race in.
Still is a scary damage chase from the boss. Hard to deal damage in this moment.
Oh my God.
Just trying to evade these attacks.
Dive number 2.
One more opportunity to deal damage. It seems like all they need.
Dive number 3.
Here we go.
Oh, they have to make it past this entire field to deal damage. Oh my God.
That's a lot of rocks.
They're still up, though. They're still up. It's still chance.
Frostbite coming in.
Big dodge from Maggie.
Okay.
Here we go, here we go. He's still paying attention, still just waiting on top of one of these warming stones right now.
Yep.
There's the mark.
Little bit of a mark coming in. Caligo, low HP, almost down. Tail slap.
Get the repose,
Huge stagger.
Kill him.
And he's down.
Team Tan. It's going to be the four-way tiebreak here in the Night Hunt.
33% health debuff.
Yeah, I mean, that was the most grueling, gruesome run we've ever seen.
The glass cannon even glassier.
Yeah.
Team Purple trying to get their win as well. Caligo starting to drop low. It seems like all our teams are really rallying here in this Night Lord. But the big Frostbite proc on this Zentreya knocks her down, needs to get Rez back into the fight if Team Purple wants to close this one out. Caligo is low, but he's not out.
This Dragon has so much HP, and although the mechanics are very readable, can force you into some very sticky situations and will build up that Frostbite as the fight goes on. This is one of those fights where, yeah, you truly see a lot of these wipes happen in the last 10% of this Dragon's HP bar.
Yeah, you got to be careful with resources running low. Those Frostbite procs really do start to bite. No pun intended. Team Green and Team Violet also with quite a bit of HP bar to get through.
Nice Duchess restage coming in on that big crit hit after the fact. The power stance, Blasphemous Blaze there.
Big grapple in.
Big jump attack. Frostbite being taken. Big ultimate from Wilder to stop the breath. After that, straight towards the face with the Blaze. Not going to be able to see it. To the core.
For the
entire team's there.
They got it.
And he flies in the air, though. They got to wait.
Maybe
but they're healthy.
Maybe they
They're
don't
in a
got
good
it.
spot.
Two of the team has no flasks.
With that power stance can't lose. That's what I'm saying.
True.
Too much aura.
Pure aura here on Wilder with the power stance.
Team Purple's in there, still looking for it. Team Green doing their best to lock in with it as well. A little bit of Frostbite. Have to just get past this little crazy section. I don't know what Caligo's aiming at, but it's a blast for Team Purple.
Come on.
Almost there for Zentreya. About to do it.
Man.
Just a couple more hits.
One good
One
power
jump attack.
stance, you know?
So close, Caligo. Tanky
man.
foe needs a couple more.
Please.
Wilder trying to get it done with the double
So
power
close.
stance.
One more.
Oh no.
No way.
One.
The double power stance. Okay.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Impressive stuff there.
Oh my God.
From Team Zentreya. Night Lord is felled.
We got Team Green now to lock in with as well to see
leader's rising.
exactly how they're taking down Caligo. They're doing some good work as well. This Recluse locking in. Team Violet also in the business too. Both have very similar HP bars. Who do you guys think is going to take it out first?
I'm going to go with Team Violet.
Team Violet? What about you, Jake?
It's close.
Heart
I guess
or mind?
Violet. I'm just a green believer, man. I'm on the green team, baby.
Green's
the team I want to believe.
Yeah.
I choose to believe.
Wolnev trying his best Saikuno. Low Rocky with Gladius, but after that, the bosses haven't looked good so far, so we're looking to see what he can do here against Caligo. Nice stagger. It's a huge one where you can actually find a crit. This is where you deal all your damage as much as you can. Crit hit comes in as well. That HP bar barely even moving at the end, though.
So he was able to finish off at first. If they're able to win, right? I mean, Team Green's got some very low players there. Got to be careful on the Recluse. Not much of a defense, and at this moment, any hit would be enough to knock you down. Those ice boulders are threatening. Violet takes it down on Saikuno now.
Uh-oh. Trouble in paradise for Team Violet. Resources running low, and you called it, Jake, on Team Green.
Again, this is an endurance fight in some ways.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, the dodges need to be perfect. Okay.
Like
Wilnev goes
even
down.
when you get them, you know the mechanics by this stage of the game.
You gotta lock
But
in,
execution is challenging.
It's so tight. These massive AoE attacks.
Literally just frames of dodges you need. It's so wild. Whoa,
the
nice
ulti
iframes. Huge. And now everyone gets their HP back the more they hit this dragon.
Yeah, they gotta hit him though.
Yeah.
It's crucial though at this point with low resources,
Definitely.
right? This gives you a chance to get a little bit healthy. The Caligo's evading a lot of these hits.
Yeah, so Wolnev able to heal his teammates up, but He doesn't get anything from his ultimate, which is unfortunate, except for the will to live longer. Meanwhile, Team Violet taking their time, staying across the map. There is a little bit of damage fall off for Iron Eye's bow from this distance, so they're taking their time with this one, playing it very, very safe.
Guys, I feel like I bet on the right horse here. Team Green, come on. You got this. Ooh, another down low. It's going to slow them. I mean, that's the issue with the Recluse, right? You take some hits in this long endurance fight, you start going down.
And especially when you're down to the 3-pip wheel, that's a whole effort to get you back into the fight.
Your horse lost a leg there, man. I don't know what I'm looking at here, but it's a little bit sad.
Lock in, all right? I still believe.
This is tough.
Team Green, the Guardian, maybe with the Guardian ult, if they have it, they could use it to get him back up into the fight. So hard to get this res off, though, without an ultimate. The triangle.
Iron Eye can't get close, has to play it careful as well. You can see all the shards that come in. Huge bow shot, though. A little bit of stagger buys them time to get Wilnef back up in the business.
Still, they miss an opportunity to deal damage, and Caligo not going to stay on the earth for too long. This is a key moment in the fight where you do have that chance to start striking back. Sykkuno goes down again for Team Violet. They need to stabilize here. That's a 2-bar down for them.
Still locking in with it, Team Violet. We're trying to see what they can do. It's going to be a tough one here.
They have a nice opportunity to res, though, in that moment where Caligo's flying away. It's just a small moment of respite where you're able to strike back and make this a competitive fight, get your whole team back up into the engagement. Team Green doing much the same. Looks like they're very low on resources here.
Ooh, that frost
cast through. Oh,
and the wing. Team Green losing 2 members so far.
Uh-oh, guys.
Down to just the Guardian. I believe that's Myth.
We need a Guardian ult
down.
when we needed him most.
Guardian ult will do it.
Yeah.
It'll bring them both back.
Does he have it is the question. They are grouping up for now. Myth has not used his ult from what I've seen so far in a hot minute. Has to be careful getting close to use that ult, though, with all those ice shards in play.
You got some range. It's got some range. If he's got the
dodge.
ult, if he's got the ult, now's the time.
Team Sykkuno still struggling to do
There it is, the Guardian ult.
Both players back up. Myth, huge play.
Oh, but they're instantly getting breath.
No.
Myth died, but that's still, he's only his first down, so Myth's been playing really well in this fight. Should be able to get back up, but these are big hits coming in from Caligo. Both teams now, the run rests on the edge of a knife.
Just want to get Myth back up here, get 3 people. Oh, Lil Neff going down while going for the res. All
Team
3
Green.
teammates gone. Team Green going to fall. Now it's all eyes on Team Violet. The last one here in the night hunt. Looking to see if they can cross that line, take down Caligo, take down one more Night Lord.
You know, sometimes that last 10% of that health bar is the biggest part of the health bar.
Feels like a half sometimes, and getting a res would be nice, but they've got to start working on the health bar of Caligo.
Uh-oh, if you don't hit that health bar, yeah.
Is this a chance? Maybe they can get him up while he flies, but they're so scared. I mean, they're worried about going down and losing their Raider, their Executor here during this ranged attack.
And they even have to be careful when they res him, because if they do it into the breath, like it just happened to Team Green,
he just goes over.
Yeah.
It's not a great time.
I mean, look at this. It's like an AC 130 type runs coming in from the sky. There's no way you're going for reses while this is going on. If your teammate's saying, trust me, bro, I'm safe, do not listen. It's not the case.
Nobody is safe when Caligo is on the field. They are able to res, though, getting the Executor back into the fight. And maybe with the 2-man effort, they get up with the breath attack comes in. They both take big hits. Executor needs to clutch this one out, has to dodge perfectly.
He's gonna breathe right on him.
There's a lot of back rolling going on here. I love to see it.
He's back rolling into ice shards though, so his frostbite has to have been built up so much. This dragon is just kind of laughing right above both bodies as well. It's crazy.
So desperate for Garek. He cannot afford to take a single hit here. Has to be clean, and there he goes. Team Violet.
Team Violet. A close one.
Oh, he had the res. He had the second life.
Okay, we keep it going.
It's 20%.
Taking more damage.
Okay.
Maybe if he has the ultimate, the beast form could be powerful, getting people back in.
Yeah, the beast is really good for that.
And Caligo's giving them a moment, but the frost breath?
Every single point of damage they've done to their teammates right now has been damage they haven't been pushing on the boss.
It's 100%.
The boss health bar has not moved in a long time.
That's why, again,
stagnating.
I've seen
that's
the
why
hour.
that part of the health bar is the longest part.
I've seen the hour hand of a clock move more in the past 10 minutes than Caligo's health bar right now. Team Sykkuno, Team Violet needs to push it. Another down. Now it's up to the Wilder. Raided's up in the business. Not sure what he has left. Maybe he can pull his teammates closer and further away.
We're gonna have
Seeing
to
what's good here. I mean, this is just nuts right now. Team Violet still rocking forward. Another run coming in.
They're
And
not
he did get
giving up.
Garek up. It's not done.
They're refusing
It's
to
not
give
over.
up here.
Oh my God.
It's not
This
over.
is colliding with Garek, and he doesn't go down.
Resources
This
are
is
so low.
crazy.
They're 1 HP on both players.
This has to be the worst airport on planet Earth, I'm not gonna lie, or wherever this is. I mean, no traffic control. This dragon lands exactly where he wants. Dude, another down.
It's starting to get really scary. Now all the downs are at 3 bars.
When you get to this point again, you're no longer fighting the dragon.
Garek, you gotta
You're
solo
fighting-
this. Garek, you just need to take matters
Harry mode.
into
Let's
your
go.
own hands
Come
here.
on.
I would love to see that. You know, I
Ooh.
haven't seen a whole bunch of
Harry on executive?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
seen a ton of it today.
Listen, you look at the sun, you stare straight into it, and you unsheath your sword, right? Like, take on a planetary problem here.
Oh my God, the breath attack.
Okay, out of range. Caligo gets closer.
Oh, the beast form.
Iframe, straight to his
Beast form has
teammates.
come
Getting the
out.
heal off the beast form, going for the resurrects.
The big hit. Oh.
Does it?
Looks like it hit, looks like it hit. And back into the regular form, doing what damage he can. And if he's able to get his teammates back up in this moment, this could be another shot for
Dude,
Team Violet.
This is a 7-season anime, man. What am I watching?
This is a team that refuses to die.
They won't give up. I
All
respect that. They want to get some points on the board here. Teams like Kuno.
7th resurrection arc happening here. Can our trio take this down? The protagonists of the story.
They can't go down here. They need to be at full strength when Caligo lands after this flying phase. This is a full pressure moment here for Garek and the gang.
It'll be a huge opportunity if they can survive this to the landing.
Maybe they can talk to Caligo at the end and ask him to change
Ultimate from
sides.
Sykuno.
Big
with the
hit.
stagger. Where's
Frostbite
the follow-up?
coming
They need more
in.
damage. Oh, the frostbite
Oh,
proc.
no.
It's not going to take him down yet, though, right? So it'll affect his stamina, it'll affect his HP, but past that, here comes the damage.
He's
Seems
so
like Kuno.
tanky.
That's
Oh
damage.
my God.
That's damage. He has been hit.
Little by little.
And we're down again.
See, trades like that. you know,
Renewed for another season
down,
right now.
Garek.
Yeah, this is
we're
crazy.
getting another season.
Can
Yeah.
Garek do it again?
Another season comes in, the animation kind of falling off, but the set
Oh my
pieces
gosh.
still look good.
This Garek is doing a lot
I
of
want
work.
Garek
out
on my
there.
team in the ranked games,
Oh,
but in the
Oh
end,
my goodness.
wait. Oh, no, never mind.
Yeah, there-
the war
another
up
one.
is-
They have another
Another one,
one.
yeah.
if he had another resurrection, we're cutting away. guys.
Garek had
I'm
a
sorry,
son,
we're
and his son has to
we're
come back
cutting
and
away.
res his dad.
Yeah,
like,
exactly,
it's crazy.
exactly.
Oh my God. So close. These guys having such a, just, I think, the most phenomenal, crazy length of a run we've ever seen.
Wild stuff there.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, just such a great diversity of experience of the whole run.
Yeah.
And then just to see all the different kinds of ways to fight Caligo, who did end up winning against some of our teams.
Yeah. I mean, losing seems fun there, Jake. I'm not going to lie. Like, that's a story. That's a story to tell.
Like-
Especially when you beat Caligo one day. You're like, remember the last time you faced him, we like died 5 times? Like, it gets crazy, man.
Garek was doing God's work out there. We got to put some
Yeah.
respect on the name.
Mad
Really
props to
impressed.
Garek.
Like, I want that guy on my team when I queue up to start playing some Night Rain. Somebody who will not give up, who reses the teammates time and time again with those clutch plays. Like, that's a team that you give them one more run at Caligo, I think we see a very different outcome. They could really grow as a group. But across the board here on our event, all of our teams put up in masterful performances. It's gonna be a 4-way tiebreak. We're parsing that out right now. We're coming to figure out who our winner is. For the meantime, though, let's take a look at some of the highlights here from round 3 from all of our team's wonderful Caligo runs.
Absolutely. When we look at the highlights so far from this Frost Dragon, we had some host invasions or some Night Lord
did.
invasions coming in.
We had
which
a
are
surprising
crazy.
amount of Night Lord invasions,
Yeah.
some of which were very impactful to the run.
Yeah, absolutely. It goes genuinely wild. So Team Gray here had a really cool run coming through. Lots of ulcerated tree spirits as well. I feel like the deeper we went down the Night Lord list too, the more variation we had for some of
Absolutely.
these people on Night Boss 1, Night Boss 2. It went crazy.
Seeing the dancer.
Yeah, I love to see the
How
dancer,
cool
yeah.
was that?
Dude, seeing Lil Aggie's team on 25% less HP the entire time,
Yes.
or whatever it was, that was crazy, right? That was Libra coming in.
We didn't get to see them tell Libra to,
Yeah.
because Libra comes and he's like, pay me or bad things are going to happen to you. And they're like, I'm not going to pay you. And guess what? They
There's a
paid.
bad thing. Yeah,
They
they paid no matter what. The cool thing with Team Gray that I like the most is that they actually switched up their comp coming in to this third session, right? This was the double, like, Katana, double Executor team that we were watching. At the same time, they rock in now. Afro Senju comes in with his team, Balvin, and they look really good. They had nice vibes. Fought that nice boss. I didn't get all the way through, but at the same
that
time, had a
round
really
was
good
so
good
sad,
time.
bro. The ship was sinking.
I'm a fan
from the
of
beginning, bro, and I was trying to be
Afro Senju, man.
positive.
He was locked
I was trying to
in.
be
He was
positive,
giving us
but
some
it was
huge
like-
moments.
Yeah.
They did their best to try and clutch out, but
Oh, we
sometimes
didn't even get to see
the
that.
run
They
falls apart.
fought the Grafted Monarch. He's
Oh,
got
that's crazy.
He's got a new limb now. It's quite fun.
He's got
That's
a lot
really
of those.
fun.
He's got a lot of those limbs in the bag. Team
Yeah.
Blue Let's see some highlights from their run.
Yeah, we had an Augur invasion.
The Augur giving you FP like crazy.
These are Night Lords, but they're very different than the ones that you're going to face when they're the main target.
Still scaled for a world boss appearance, but can be super powerful depending on the build you end up running.
Yeah,
Team
it's the spirit, and I love having Iron Eye against that spirit. You kind of just snipe him down for the ground. Hate when he starts to run. Saw the Godskin duo in full form this time, and they have a brand new moveset, which is crazy.
I'll tell you what, today has made me want to play Iron Eye a lot.
Yeah, lots of just shooting, lots of damage, and I like Team Blue's run on Caligo as well, because this wasn't the Team Blue we were used to watching, right? They were very clean, high levels, fast runs. This time, it just seemed like, you know, they struggled just a little bit, and just Caligo took that damage.
And I wouldn't even say they struggled, they just didn't evaporate the boss.
My bad. They weren't perfect. My sorry, you know? Like, it goes, okay, Cowboy. So that's not fair. They're playing with 5 teammates in total. You got Cowboy, his 2 teammates, and the guns. That's not fair at all. Someone's gotta check that.
That's right.
You gotta check the rules on that.
Team Bronze, I mean, just 3 immaculate runs back to back. The coordination was on fire from this team. We heard when we tapped in with Loudly, just constantly cheering the team on. It's clear that they really brought that team spirit, and really is the dream for Elden Ring NIGHTREIGN. You're able to hop on with your best friends, play these runs, get a unique experience every time, really playing the game to perfection. I mean, another masterful run here when they were able to take down Caligo. The Magma Worm able to get that, you know, legendary weapon upgrade at the bottom of the crater, so powerful. And they had their own Dance of the Boreal Valley to challenge.
Yeah, this thing was nuts. We saw some crazy dodges over and over again.
Look at this damage. I think we did.
This is why we didn't see this. Never mind.
That's even more damage than the Duchess double Iron Eye.
Yeah,
crazy.
And they locked in with Caligo. No question about it.
Level
went down.
15. Oh my! Another level 15. I'm blown away. I've seen like that one time.
If you get to 15 in any of your games, that's a really big achievement.
Yeah.
Yes,
in fact, that is an achievement.
I think it's an achievement.
That's literally an achievement. And just to see it perform so effectively here over and over, it's just a testament to these team skill.
Yeah.
Team Cyan, another team that I know won a ton of fans today. Incredible performances. Whoa. Distortion set the standard on the Recluse. I mean, we talked about this character a little bit, you know, in the prelude to the show, but Distortion really put on a show that exactly what is possible with this character when you really are getting that build online, when the team is all playing together, coordinating, getting those damage phases in. I mean, this was an incredibly fast Night Lord kill.
Listen, for Distortion, exclamation mark breakfast, exclamation mark like, what time do you sleep? How many times, how many swishes of the brush do you have when you brush your teeth? How is this guy built so different when it comes to approaching games like this, solving them before they even come out, man? It's actually absolutely insane. Cyan, a shoo-in even to be here inside this tiebreaker. It looks just nuts. Moving on from this team, though, they made a record pacing of that. Team Purple locking it in. Lots of content from this team today. They were looking really good from camp to camp.
Yeah, and they were able to run it back and still get some very solid runs in, despite a couple of setbacks throughout. So an impressive performance from Team Purple, taking down this Magma Worm here at a relatively early level, making mincemeat of Valid Gargoyle. And I mean, come on, the power stance on these legendary weapons is crazy. I've never seen that.
I haven't either.
Yeah, actually. And so we didn't get to see too much of the Draconic Tree Sentinel itself, but man, that guy just packs a wallop. A lot of teams had to face him. Go back over to Caligo. Again, this team had so much fire damage, and that's a really unique thing against this boss. You end up just chunking him down again and again. Candlesticks, the Blasphemous Blade on power stance. You're just doing jump attack damage like crazy, weapon art damage like crazy. You barely even see him in the second phase.
If you got Blasphemous Blade power stance, do you really need anything else?
No,
you're good to go.
You don't need teammates even, I feel like. You can just do that all yourself. So, Aura of Oppose there by Wilder towards the end. Looking really good.
Yeah, a great set of runs there. Team Tan as well. I mean, let's see some of the highlights from their run. Oh, that's a little warning sign they get on the drop in.
Oh yeah, this is where they met.
Libra asked for a deal. This time you can't refuse so easily.
Yeah, this is tough. And they
Libra
all
got revenge.
Libra
from the last run.
This was Libra's revenge.
He got his pound of flesh, but Team Tan still recovered, right?
Did.
So impressive to me that even on a glass cannon build where you're very close to dying in one hit, with that reduced HP, you pretty much died at one of these powerful hits from a main boss. And the fact that they were still able to deliver a winning run in the Caligo fight, so impressive. I think fans of Lil Aggie won't be disappointed by this immaculate run that the team put together.
It's just absolutely insane. They had to play perfectly. They still went down and made a few mistakes, and at the end of the day, just ended up popping off. When it comes to Team 10, possibly the team to look at when it comes to perfection when playing the game. And again, Caligo down big achievement.
That team comp
That's it. Okay.
is the best.
It might not be the smartest thing for me to do. That's
But
what I'm
you
playing.
wanna try it,
That's
yeah.
what I'm playing this week.
Absolutely. Team Green not locking it in. Team Heart, we kind of renamed them to. Team Soul for you, Jake.
Dude, I love these guys.
Yeah, they
were-
face Augur as well. Things look so good.
This is like, honestly, like, I'm gonna be real, dude. This is where I'm at in the game. Like, I'm not gonna win every run. I'm not like some of these insanely top tier players that we've got here in the competition, but this just shows some of the passion and the excitement. It makes me wanna hop in and play with my friends and see what happens in any kind of run. Try to put something strong enough together to have a good shot at taking down the Night Lord.
Absolutely, and they took down gargoyles on multiple runs. They were kind of transferring and looking at what's happening inside the crater. Faced off against Freya. I think this is one of the first times you saw Wolnef using Recluse, and he was doing pretty well.
And looked
He
solid.
was.
Yeah.
He was.
Any other Night Lord, I feel like, too, on this Recluse, I feel like it could have been a pass, right? Like, if they were facing Gladius, maybe even the Sentient Pest, could have done a really good job. Against Caligo, though, it's a tall order. You got to bring your absolute A game, right? So that's a cool thing about the game, too. Again, a roguelike type of game. You get in, you learn about your enemy, you go and redo the run again. You fight more bosses, new bosses, and you try the Night Lord.
You're gonna have different challenges every time, but also
Exactly.
different opportunities.
Yeah.
So things will fall into place.
Yeah, and then this is Team Violet as well. Team Anime, I guess, is what we want to call them, or the team that lasts the longest time. What they were doing was crazy, Jake.
A team that would not fail, that just held on for so incredibly long in that fight. Here's their road to get there, how they were strong enough to be able to push Caligo to its limit the way they did in that final engagement with the Night Lord. Making mincemeat of this Deathrite bird, showing a lot of confidence here. But of course, you never know how the run's gonna go until it really gets down to the Night Lord. You might think you're powerful, you might start to feel pretty confident. The Night Lord can snatch that away.
Yeah, and this is just nuts what we saw from Team Violet. Sky is crashing down.
Dude, what
doesn't
the
matter.
heck?
Having a fun
What
time.
the heck?
And then, yeah, their multiple season arc getting extended by one season by Garek.
This was definitely a full season.
Yeah.
Like there was drama, there was
was drama,
passion.
yeah, literally.
The whole thing was there.
Flashbacks, everything. And finally, they go down. Again, while we were watching these highlights, we saw, multiple teams get that win over all three Night Lords on the day.
Four-way tie.
Four-way tie. A big tiebreaker up in the business, Jake.
Yeah, we're gonna jump in to the scorecard. We're gonna break down how we're gonna break this tie for y'all and eventually announce our winner.
So
this is the score
what it
breakdown,
is,
right?
yeah.
This is the tie break now to release it to everyone. It is the team with the most runes at the end of round 3 here. So that final round, all these runners, all these teams were able to put together 3 successful wins. So they're gonna be coming down to how good that last run was.
Yeah.
How many bosses did you clear in the overworld? How quickly did you move? I mean, that's really we talk a lot about the Night Lords, but we really need to talk about the whole spirit of the game in Elden Ring, NIGHTREIGN, which is trying to clear through those overworlds, get your build rolling, get as many bosses down as you possibly can so that you are at full strength.
Absolutely. Let's talk about that full strength. Let's talk about the 4 teams. So first off is Team 10. And I say first, but I mean 4th overall with 1,160,227 runes. So that's a little Aggie's team.
They took that death to Libra, right? They
did.
recovered the run impressively, but it was too hard for them to keep up on the rune totals after taking those early deaths with some of the really clean runs that we saw elsewhere.
Yeah, it's lost runes, it's lost time.
Yeah.
In the number 3 slot,
Team Cyan, led by Distortion 2, put together some really impressive runs, immaculate performances with 1,436,000 runes. A great showing from them, but it's only enough to land them that podium finish in 3rd place.
yeah, 2nd place overall is Team Blue, which is fighting Cowboy as the captain. 4,174,174 afterwards. You can remath that, but 1,704,174. It's crazy.
That's a lot of runes.
That's a lot of runes. Now,
All these teams put together impressive runs. All these teams put together an amazing showing. But our champion here today is going to be Team Bronze, led by Duality. 1,761,000 runes total. An insane performance. I believe they hit level 15 in that final run of the day. This was a team that was so fun to watch. Every time we tapped in, they were psyching each other up, playing towards that team spirit. And you could feel it. You could see it in the success of their runs.
yeah, it's absolutely crazy. 60,000 runes of a difference. Dan, that's like an ever jail for the whole
that's
team.
That's less than an ever. Man, that is.
It's crazy.
That's close.
Yeah, very, very close. It could have been a different night boss. It could have been stuff that they didn't even plan for. But once again, congratulations to all 4 teams. Big congratulations to Team Bronze, Luality. I think we have Luality on interview right now as well. So, Luality, what is up? How are we feeling? It's just crazy when we come to what we look at today, Jake, in terms of what we saw.
Yeah, I mean, it was an amazing performance from them across all 3 runs. So incredible consistency-wise. Luality, I think we have her here with us now. Do you hear us, Luality?
Let's see if he's here. Luality will appear in a second. Jake's using his spell casting. There she is. With this, such a cute, is that a dog in tow or a cat? I'm not even sure. We'll see what it is. Luality, how's it going?
It's a bunny.
A bunny!
Bunny.
Jake, you got experience with that.
Wait, my girlfriend has a pet bunny too. I'm such a fan. Luality, I was a fan through all the runs. I'm an even bigger fan knowing now that you have an incredibly cute bunny. But I want to talk today about your teammates, these incredible people you brought together. How do you know each other? Like, how did you bring this squad together to get the win here today?
Listen, my audio is a little bit delayed, but hopefully this will get just right. So I met Gino Machino before he started streaming. I was a full-time streamer at the time. He was part of my community. And it has actually been so rewarding over the years, see him grow, because I remember when he had just started streaming and he had like 5 years. I was like, this is the best player that I've seen play From Software games. You need people need to know about him, you know? So over the years, seeing him grow has been fantastic. And CPD, or CPD, however you would like to call him, I met him in the Twitch Rivals of Elden Ring. And it was me, CPD, and Technique. Technique had only played Elden Ring once, and CPD was an absolute sweetheart. He had all the patience in the world to teach us everything. And we stay up late at night, you know, learning things together. And it was just lovely.
Absolutely amazing. When it comes to just like playing here today as well.
I thought they would be great people to bring along for this.
Amazing. I love that. When it comes to the actual gameplay itself, did you guys have a lot of planning going into these like big Night Lord fights, or was it kind of just vibes, see what you want to do? Like, were you the leader overall when it comes to what we saw? We'll see if the delay hits Luality in a second. Nice, she's good.
Could you repeat the question?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. When it comes to like how you guys played taking on these Night Lords, did you guys have a plan coming into things, or did you just kind of vibe it out, play off each other? Like were you guys talking a lot beforehand, or was it like you being the leader? What was the plan overall?
It was always teamwork. Even as we were going around the map. Even as we were going around the map, we all kind of like learned together what was the best, and then we would just make decisions on the stop. So, you know, on that, it was just teamwork. It was lovely.
Nice. Absolutely amazing. You guys did such a good job. Now, when it comes to prizing, I know you have the best prize in the world when it comes to the bunny right there in your arms. At the same time, there's something, you know, all your team has earned right now. You guys have been playing with them for a little bit in-game. It's going to be even cooler if you can see the stream to have them out of game. It's the replica items from Guardian and Wilder. What do you think about like this grand prize of these weapons being able to be held by you guys in real life?
That is amazing. However, we are probably going to need to fight each other, maybe rock, paper, scissors or something, to decide who is going to get the sword, because that's the favorite. And we'll see what happens then.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think about these items, Jake? Like,
I'm such a fan. I mean, these things are pretty hefty. They're pretty solid. This is going to be so incredible for like the background of somebody's stream setup, or you know, to be displayed in your home. So I could see, you know, it's just going to be awesome. A great prize for you to look back on this incredible, successful run. We just want to say congratulations again, Luality. It was awesome to watch you guys play. We could see the team chemistry between you and your teammates, always, you know, hyping each other up. It made it really fun to follow your run. So thank you so much for competing and for showing up, and congrats again on your win.
Can I just say one thing, Esther?
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wanted to thank the people in the background of this event. They have been incredibly helpful whenever we had questions, whenever we had technical problems. And I hope I'm saying this for everyone that participated in this event. But the people in the background of this event, they have gone above and beyond to make this work. Getting all of this set up and all this running together, you guys have done a great job. So thank you so much for that.
That's so kind of you to say, Luality. I mean, the team here was really put their heart and soul into this event. I know all the fans watching at home, I mean, we couldn't have done it without you either, right? Like all the excitement around this game, around Elden Ring NIGHTREIGN. And of course, the game is releasing very soon. You too at home can hop into the action on the 29th at 3 p.m. PST. It's dropping on Steam. And at 9 p.m., it's going to be dropping on PlayStation and Xbox. So everyone's going to be able to get into the action very soon. We know there's a lot of content to look over, a lot of VODs to check out. You can see who played your favorite characters, who you want to see in a little bit more detail. I know everyone's going to be diving into that as they wait to hop into the game, dissecting all this footage on Reddit. But none of this would have been possible without the incredible support of the fans here of Elden Ring NIGHTREIGN.
Absolutely. Thank you again to Team Luality, who was playing with us today. Thank you again to Dan. You were absolutely amazing, my man.
Double Duchess Iron Eye this weekend. Buckler Perry.
Yeah. When it comes to the game itself, the standard, deluxe, and collector's edition are also available. That pre-order bonus is also there for the gesture. For everyone playing and watching today, what you watched was like a river, a raindrop in an ocean, maybe even a planet like Neptune of content that's available inside NIGHTREIGN. Get the game. I want to see you in there. I hope you have a really good time, and good night.
How can you see into my eyes like open